What's up, y'all? This is a very like abrupt start and end or start stream because dinner was late, but different stream today.
Right, leading up into the end of
doing an FNCS grand stream. I usually do one of these every season. I need to get a lot because like I needed like do like a lot because I was going to and I didn't.
The only thing they care about that in-person event in Leon. Oh my gosh, they gotta be nervous, and I'm a little bit nervous too.
Bro, right? It's like, oh
yeah. But FNCS Grands.
Yeah, let's go ahead and get as close to first, get a bunch of money. No,
what's up, y'all? What's up, Cozy? What's up, Caleb, Nightmare, Mateo? Remember me again? How would I forget you? It's been one day. Alright, I want to do a prediction. I want to do predictions. Even though it's kind of hard because this is like the leaderboard. Kanata in second, that's good. I like Kanata. I hope he... well, I would hope that he wins, but... is there... I want to find the leaderboard. I mean, not leaderboard, the, map. 1560 kill, W, Nightmare. I don't think that's supposed to happen. Is Fortnite live on YouTube? Because I might honestly just go to that. Because it's going to be a lot less ads. Yeah. Okay, let's just do that.
The amount of eliminations that they're able to get, Vivid, the story of the rivalry between
there's gonna be less ads
might be reaching its conclusion.
I know, right? That's what we've been leading up to that, right? The whole entire season, then the whole spawn thing, and then it didn't even happen. And right now, it seemed like there's a sizable lead. That is it really worth talking about that fight anymore? And you want to know something, Kelly? I think it's very worth it. For me personally, today I'm going to talk about Acorn, Pollo, and Agers yesterday. Those first two games, absolutely incredible stuff. So much so that we saw a social post. Resub went out and said he was like, "Oh my gosh, are we about to see them win 12 out of 12?" And then quickly after that, potentially a little bit of a caster curse returning from Reese right there.
Thanks,
they
Reese.
went down in game number 3 very quickly. Game number 4, in the middle of that game, they went down again, and it was just like, oh my god.
Yeah, weird stream today, y'all.
We're all just like, wow, we're gonna have a 2-horse race throughout the entirety of this FNCS, right? And then game number 3 and number 4 happened. How did that happen? Games 1 and games 2 looked so good. And of course, they bounced back in games number 5 and 6. They did well. They kept themselves in contention. They're sitting 4th on the leaderboard right now. But Kelly, those games 5 and game 6, I didn't like them. It didn't look like they were right. It didn't look like they were the trio that we saw in games number 1 and 2. And honestly, justifying it myself, being an ex-professional player, was like, well, mentally, they're probably chalked, right? This is like, wow, this FNCS is absolutely gone. We gotta fight Peter Bot in these little like rat spots. He's hiding around corners and everything like that. Like the FNCS has done it, and so much so. Not to mention, we're blessed, by the way, right? We got Aussie Antics. He's down there in the mix of things. He's in the Big house where Acorn, of course, lives, and he got a chance to do a little interview with Acorn right after the games ended yesterday. And he was like, what's going on, Acorn? Like, how are you feeling throughout the day? And he was like, listen, after game number 4, I just wanted to land on Peter Bot. Like, that's all he wanted to do. And to me, I'm like, yeah,
well, I don't know where the drop
map is. Mentally speaking, it didn't really look like they were in it in games number 5 and 6, and that kind of backs that up for me. It's like, how
I want to see Aussie's reaction.
Returning to fighting one of the best trios in the game when there's still so much to play for, right? You're kind of not worrying about your own game plan. You're worrying about landing on somebody else. So for me, Kelly, all I want to see today is a nice, clean mental reset. I want those games 1 and game 2 Acorn, Pollo, and Agers back, and I think at the end of the day, we're going to have a 2-horse race.
It's really interesting, the dichotomy that we saw from their emotions impacting their gameplay throughout day 1, where I think there was a little bit of overconfidence after games 1 and 2, where they kind of made some, I don't want to say rookie mistakes, but they were just misplaying in games 3 and 4, and then we saw what emotions impacted them in that way negatively, but they are so smart. We were all just like,
wow, we thought we were going to have a 2-horse race throughout the entirety of this FNCS. Absolutely incredible anymore. And you want to know something, Kelly? I think it's very worth it. For me personally today, I'm going to talk about Acorn, Pollo, and
W Vivid, back my boy up. Do it. Do it.
Oh, we about return very quick. Oh my gosh, like game number 3 and game number
And who's gonna call land
Okay, well,
Opinion,
whatever.
and
They lost
and
it.
if I'm wrong,
It's
feel
fine.
free to let me know I'm wrong. But the fact that all of these trios are kind of
I don't know. I mean, I assume that like Pete will win. Poyo probably finish second, Kanata third, and Flex fourth. That's kind of what I'm. Do I need to? I think everything's good. Yeah, I think we're good.
You should expect a trio to be like, oh, we know they're gonna go there. We know they're gonna loot here. They usually hit this place. They stop there. We can try and catch them off guard, and that's what happened. Now, of course, in the moment, Acorn's upset. He's frustrated. I get it. That's passion, baby. But do you think that that's right? That Peterbot's playing dirty, or maybe is Peterbot trying to play to win?
No, I don't think that specific play is dirty at all, right? They went ahead and bought a view. They know how they played that specific island spawn. They went ahead and played around it, and they
This
picked up
game's not
some great
until
eliminations
8
of it.
minutes.
To me, I think that's clean play for them. But you want to talk about clean play, Kelly? Why don't we go ahead and talk about the eliminations from Agers, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the elimination leaderboard from day number 1. No surprise, we see Peterbot at the top right there, but Agers, in second place. They're actually tied. 19 eliminations to 19 eliminations. Now, Kelly, we know Peterbot played out 6 games yesterday. I just talked about how games 3 and 4, they were not so good for Acorn, Agers, and Poyo. They went down early. So you're telling me right now that Agers is tied in eliminations with Peterbot after effectively only playing 4 games? This is why I'm excited, right? If this trio plays 6 games out today, I feel like they could really give a run for this FNCS win.
I will say, I think part of the answer is actually on the screen right now, where we can see Cold, Peterbot's teammate, is with
What's up,
17
CR7?
eliminations in 4th place right now. So I think when we look at a trio as a whole, Peterbot's trio with Cold and even Ritual are able to all provide eliminations, whereas Agers was kind of carrying the team a little bit yesterday. But so many incredible teams that we have to talk about.
Eliminations?
Zeke, there is just so much that we have to go over in so little
Agers,
time before we get
Muzz,
into
Cold,
game number 1 of the
and
day.
I know, there's just so many things to discuss. First, though, why don't we go hang out with our casters? You know them, you love them. It's Monster Face and Jacob PR.
Thank you so much, Zeke. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about, a lot to look forward to today, Jacob. We've had a wonderful start to the tournament, but now things are really going to turn up.
Yeah, I had one wish. I had one wish going into this FNCS.
I don't know, maybe I just go to Twitch because like
and
quality is
so far,
probably a lot
I think I've been
better.
gifted it. I thought a 4-horse race going into this, and now it's looking like the top 8. Everybody have a chance to win, and it shows to show one mistake, Monster, one bad game could cost you it all.
Or one good ambush from someone like Peterbot, who clearly has showed he's willing to take tournaments into his own hands to win and take home the trophy. I really just want to see, has anyone
Alright, whatever. Let's just do this.
But at the end of the day, first place global championship subscribe. Let's go back to Zeke, Kelly, and Vivid to see what else they have for us.
Bro, MDF's like reading my mind, right? Like, when are we gonna give Peterbot a taste of his own medicine? When are we gonna do that, lobby? Okay, everybody, we land on Peterbot. Okay, all of us, we're okay. Let's talk about, Kelly mentioned a lot of trios. Mentioned trios that could qualify, trios that could come up big here in day number 2, and of course, this is a new day, right? So just forget about everything that happened yesterday. Let's just look at these numbers and start preparing for it right now. 2nd place, Rapid, Kanata, Bolt. Oh my gosh, these guys were going crazy yesterday.
Fuga, Threats, and Graze and
with
Fit.
11 eliminations, and they're just trying to play consistently. They did not have a single game outside of top 8, which is crazy. Obviously, eliminations maybe just a touch on the low side, but I'm so excited to see what they bring for us here in day 2.
And what they brought for day number 1 was really incredible height control. We saw them actually getting chopped by Acorn's trio in an earlier game and have height stolen away from them. And the adjustments that they made for that next game to control height was so impressive. In game number 3, we see how high up they build their high ground, and they're using metal and brick mats the entire time. They make these connections throughout all of the zones. They have 3 different connections, so no one is able to chop them. In fact, people are looking up and not even attempting to get eliminations on them. And although you might be asking, well, what about the refreshes? Well, you can see Bolts right there using the bird form to be able to go down, get refreshes, and then quickly rejoin up with Rapid, Bolts, and Kanata. It was one of the strongest high ground controls that we saw all day, and I think we can expect
Who's
a
gonna
little
finish
more
second?
from them
I would
today as well.
assume what?
Yeah, I want to go ahead and correct myself earlier on because I was like, oh yeah, I think we're going to have a 2-horse race throughout the day, right? Peterbot versus Acorn, yada, yada, yada. David, be quiet. I meant a 3-horse race because I also believe that we're going to see by the end of the day that Kanata is also going to be in the mix for that FNCS win.
I mean,
Kanata,
what's the third? Is the third team Aviv, G Money, and Rise, or is that now a 4th horse in the race because these guys are not that
I was
far
thinking
behind,
this leaderboard.
right?
Who else
I
am I
mean,
missing?
372.
Oh yeah, they're
and really,
third.
their
Wait,
only like quote unquote
what is
bad
going
game
on
was
with?
that first
Oh,
game where they
man.
placed 14th with only 1 elim. But every single game after that, a similar situation, right? Only one other game outside of 8th place, and they had the eliminations, right? So it's interesting. We have on one side great placement, a little low on elims. On the other side, high elims. You know, pretty solid placement. I'm excited to see once again what these guys have prepared, because if I'm wrapping count on bolts, I'm thinking, yo, Big Cheese, Aviv, G Money, and Rise aren't that far behind, man. We cannot make a mistake.
Well, you know what Aviv's trio has prepared is kind of a simple answer, and that's these mid-game objectives. We saw in game number 4, the game that they took the victory royale, that not only were they able to get a spire, not only were they able to get a shrine, but also the research lab. By zone 7, they had full capes, exotic pistol, 3 purple rifles, a legendary pump, heals, and near full mats. Being able to put yourself into such a positive position in the end game allows you to kind of go on these incredibly aggro, low ground games and get all those eliminations, which are going to shoot you up the leaderboard.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about global qualification spots right now. Only 30 points trailing behind Rise's trio right now. Booga hot on their heels.
So, yeah,
kind of
Booga
global
Craze.
qualification spots. I mean, Kelly, we came into this weekend saying that there are 6 qualified teams playing this weekend. Those spots could roll down all the way to top 8. No, it's 3rd right now, right? Those qualified teams are not playing as good as we thought they were. So right now, Booga's sitting in 5th place. Not necessarily in that qualified spot, but I think he is close enough to definitely be in contention.
Oof,
What I
and
think
to
right
end
now.
the day with a victory
I wanna
royale
see
is
what
definitely,
other
we're talking
teams.
about
I
mentals.
know
That is going to put you
Boo
in the
Chris
perfect
threats.
mental
I don't
state
know if I
for
wanna
going
put
into
them in
game number
6.
or day number 2. And we know who has the best mental state right now is Craze, because he was going absolutely crazy on the low ground yesterday. Threats and Booga had a perfect pickup with this player because they fit so well as a trio, but they just need to make a few more plays, maybe get a few more eliminations to be able to get that global spot.
You know, Kelly, though, if we're talking about crazy plays, Muzz, Shadow, Sphinx, right? I mean, come on, man. It's Muzz. They're in 6th place. I mean, look, guys, I feel like at the end of the day, this is going to be a very, very close race. And again, because it's so close, if we see any of these trios in the top 6 fall, that's just going to give that much more room, right? Someone else is going to try and step closer, really shrink up that leaderboard. I'm pretty concerned for a lot of these players. I mean, if we all decide, hey, you know what, Peterbot's our target today, let's just go ahead and land on him and slow him down.
Pond.
You know, we could see even Peterbot fall at that number 1 spot. I don't know.
Listen, Zeke, if you're concerned for players, you need to be concerned for Skittles trio, because they are getting absolutely walked on in resistance space. Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow say, you want our POI, you have to take it away from us. And they're just showing how well they do in the early and mid-game fights, just beaming Reed from so far away. This is the Muzz we know and love.
Typically, when we look at a contested trio, we're like, oh yeah, they'll make it to the end game about 50% of the time. Muzz was like, nah, what about 100% of the time? Did not falter a single game yesterday. Made it to the end game, won on spawn every single game. I want to see more of that from that trio today.
Okay, guys, day 2 teams, day 2 grand finals. What do we expect? Is it Peterbot? Is he gonna walk away the win? Is someone else?
I don't know. I want to go with Poyo.
Zeke, you know what I want to see? I want to see the best Fortnite these players have to offer.
I think at the end of the day,
I want to go with Kanata. I really do want Kanata Rapidable to win, but
Kanata, who's going to win?
Poyo with Demons Uncon.
All right, guys, it's time. Get ready for some peak Fortnite here in NAC. Casters, let's find our seats on the bus, because game number 1.
Why Twitch? Why?
It is time right now, Monster. Game number 7 is about to be underway, and our analysts kind of laid the foundation out perfectly. There's first place spot up for grabs, $180,000, 2 spots for the global championships, and a life-changing out perfectly. There's first place spot up for grabs, $180,000, 2 spots for the global championships, and a life-changing amount of money all the way down the leaderboard.
Yeah, definitely. And if EU was a sample of how exciting things are going to
Mr. Savage did qual in, so that's good.
Because game number 7 is here.
Frodoxy won, but
all right, enough's enough, Jacob. We get to get on this battle bus and start this finals off with the last hoorah here.
you know, to really kick things off, let's put things into the picture here, right? Let's give the bigger picture. Why don't you update the fans at home what they missed yesterday, right? What's on the line here?
You guys missed a movie yesterday. I don't know why you guys didn't get your tickets, but I'm glad you're here today. Peterbot, Cold, Ritual, throwing almost everything at it, from launching themselves to the north side of the map, going to Foxy Floodgate, sneaking up on Agers, Aviv, G-Money, and Rise, uncontested to start the day, contested through the day, still ending up towards the top of the leaderboard. Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts consistently going for high ground. I think I've never seen an FNCS where they're literally throwing everything they have at their opponents to try to take that top spot.
And they're giving themselves a real chance at the big prize here. And that's what makes this so exciting as we're watching them quite literally find consistency. You know, one of the big things that I wanted to note yesterday was the fact that it's been a while since we've seen even a Kanata or Acorn have such a strong, consistent day one. These are teams that have typically had their overall performances come back in a day two format, so we know they perform better on the second half of these types of tournaments, and that is what's going to be really telling here today as we start to shape things up here. And then there's just the global spots on the line, right? Kanata said it best in that interview. He feels like it's a shoe in. He's got this. He's not even thinking about not attending globals at this point, and I kind of believe him at this point. I'm really feeling like his confidence is there, and it's absolutely showing.
Yeah, and their gameplay, ever since that team formed, has just been out of this world. Well, let's switch gears for a little bit. A team that honestly has had a bumpy road through and through.
These are
to drop spots, their group stages. Everybody thought
they're
this
my
team was
predictions.
a lock to make it into the grand
You can't make it
finals
any bigger, but
unfortunately they did not make
Peterbot,
it.
Cold Ritual most likely win.
They were first when LCQ opens were over. They won the first game.
I will show that again
Of game
quite a bit
They
probably.
just claimed this drop spot, but not anymore. No Skittles, no Bryce, no
Yeah.
dash over on that side of the map.
It sucks that Reed Cooper and Curly have not done great, but I hope they still get top 10.
Probably the biggest
But
underdog right now when it comes down to, you know,
what I'm
again,
thinking.
fighting for globals right now, giving folks a run for their money, keeping eyes on that prize here. Aoxypex and Jojo Fishy, after a strong day one, this is looking like a huge ambush waiting to happen from both sides as well. Look at the pre-edit on Enough's side there. He's got the half wall made. Aoxy must have felt like something was up though. Someone took a step too much there for sure.
I almost feel like maybe, just maybe, he saw the eraser at the tip of the pencil around the corner. It's like, nah, I'm not getting erased today. You're not rewriting my story. That's up to me. Jojo Fishy, Pikes,
These are like the
Aoxy,
two bottom
don't
teams, I
get
think.
it twisted, because this was a team at the beginning of yesterday. They were actually putting up a little bit of a fight. Third place, 11 eliminations, but they have to go through fights like this. A contested mountain, a little bit of a 50-50, and it's kind of hard to come out on top. Consistency when you're in that type
And
of
we're
scenario.
surge trading. Let's
most
go.
Definitely talk about those consistent trios though. Here's a look at, again, coming into
Bruh.
the day, our second place currently standing Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts here at the Crime City. Set up, nice little triangular hold on this overall section here, and just doing what they do best. But it's the end games. It's the end games that are really getting these teams and really showing the difference maker.
Here we go.
Standings here.
We're just
Quick stat
showing
shows that
the
Kanata Rapid
surge
City
trading
maintain a place in top 8
and
every
not the
game,
fight
so
that was
clearly
happening
placing
at
points
the event.
is their
Oh,
formula
right,
to
okay.
success.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of looking at the leaderboard, the only reason why they are in second place is the eliminations that Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual are able to put up, 30 to 47. So there's 17 eliminations worth of points that Peterbot and Co have.
Yeah,
over
early
them.
game is really boring because people just build like giant bases and they just shoot at each other and just get their health back. Because
to start the show, Kelly, Vivid, Zeke,
what people do now.
19 eliminations for Agers, both him and Poyo in the top 10, I believe, 4 eliminations. They're accumulated a good amount of damage. It's just about the mental game that we feel like kind of went wrong after being contested, after being
Poyo,
surprised by a few
Acorn,
tricks.
and
It's not
Agers
hyping
being
yourself up to
uncon
pull yourself back.
demons
We're talking about this team being a
domain
day
is
2
kinda
team,
crazy,
and
I'm
they
not gonna
put
lie.
themselves in contention with their
Have
performance
them
in day
at
1,
second.
even with those 2 bad games.
The 2 times they weren't in the lobby, the other games were first, 4th, and 5th. Absolutely
The thing with like Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, I feel like they're so consistent. Like I feel like they do. I feel feel like they're very consistent. I think right now they're in second.
Booga Threats and Craze, though, team that is
There's no multiplier on today either, by the way.
positioning. Everyone wants to see Booga make that wall
So we're shooting.
out the tunnel.
But yeah. Because Poyo, Acorn, Acres. I'm pretty sure they got 2 wins. Like the first 2 games, they got 2 wins, and then they were like didn't even get like anything. The other like games, so they're not. I don't know. It's gonna be.
Game 5, but what a way to
I don't
redeem
know.
themselves
Yeah, here's the
to
leader
win
one.
out in the final game of the day and keeping the Booga threat streak alive. I think it's like the last 4 majors they've won at least 1 game on day 1, keeping that consistency intact. As Skittles price down.
Crazy how good Booga fits and Crazy. Crazy is really good, but
not too far off.
I guess they all are.
I want to see what are they waiting for to open up on Monty here, as they're just tracking him, waiting for that perfect opportunity. They might have let it slip away, but
Well, this is.
even if
Wait, this is Skittles, Bryce, and Dash. This is the people who conned Muzz, but now they're down there.
they jump on one,
And Monty would be the one, exactly that, because he's the one. You see his 2 teammates already in the tower. They're getting their Storm Surge, kind of the typical setup you see for a lot of these bases. Monty's down below, though. Monty's job right here is to find heals, farm up any mats they use to make this base, and just make sure when they finally rotate out of this location, they're max mats, full health, all the resources they need. But he's also the one that's in a risky scenario.
Good
Curve,
job.
Josh, and Tyler talked about them as being one of the teams that kind of contest Rise, G-Money, and Aviv. It seems like they found a new spot to land at today, Shogun Solitude, and it looks
So
like it's working
Visuals
out
trades
for them
with
at the start of the
Poyo.
game.
Huh.
shout out to Visuals running that face cam for the broadcast. We love to see it. Gotta celebrate those that are giving us a nice show here. But for the game kickoff, it's all about finding that surge, getting into these early game battles here. Gary, Angel, and Aimred doing it once again. Aimred's team just haven't caught a break in the early game. They are consistently finding themselves in some type of situation or another, whether it be on the north side or now here on the western area of the map. Micro adjustments seem to be kind of at play here for day 2. So far, so good for them, though. They do get this initial elimination here.
Blake just killed both. They're trading now, so
loot off your fallen teammate,
not gonna
knows you
do
can't
much.
be the hero, and immediately tries to kind of disengage, create some distance using that misform. But there's only so far you can go with that team on your back.
I don't even know either of these 2
Gotta wait
teams.
for
I'm
the
not
next
gonna lie.
shard. I think it's roughly around 12 seconds in between usages. There goes his second. He's going to be on that countdown yet again. But since there's no mobility on Gary, Angel, and Aimer, they had no choice but to let him go out.
Ooh.
Maybe they'll see him later, but all they know is they have to focus on their own game.
This
plan
isn't
here.
search trading. This is like full fighting.
It's an early game
Uh-oh.
fight here for Clicks, Pigs, and Yamzo right now. Yamzo leaving his team to it. He's the first to go ahead and back off now. Seems like they're a little too base down, though. With the zone ending right on top of them, I'm assuming they're thinking, yeah, well, let's just go ahead and get a move on. We'll find plenty of opportunity to come here.
Yamzo has
One of
pretty
those
good
north sides,
loot.
like you're saying, and it's kind of seen the switch up of the strategy throughout the day yesterday, depending on if the zone was towards the north or if it pulled towards the south. They feel a little bit more confident to take some of these early game fights because of all those teams towards the south. They're going to have to rotate north. The teams that are landing near them in the zone are not feeling as pressured.
Ooh, Pete only
Try
has
to go
green
for any
loot.
eliminations
Has a lot of
early
minis.
other than them. As we tune in, Cold is all
He about had the
down.
most points
Don't know
clutched
exactly
as
what
a
happened in
solo
this
on day
situation,
1.
But they're gonna waste no time trying to get this Spire first, eventually trying to go back for that reboot onto Cold. But they need to make sure to get as much
Wait,
of this
what? Cold
XP
is-
as possible,
Cold died?
much of this loot as
What's up,
possible,
Mason?
because the chances of
Wait,
more
Cold
teams
died.
trying to
Wait,
rotate
what?
in, especially if they saw that Cold go down or high.
Yeah, they're
How did-
picking up that B rank.
How did Cold die?
I didn't see anything in the feed, so I definitely missed it. But they shouldn't have any problems picking up Cold here and kind of get.
Cause like usually when people like search trade, they just res. But like what happened? What happened to Cold? I mean, I guess it doesn't matter because well, they're not really like they're not fighting, but like that's weird. I also don't know what to put the volume on because I don't know if I'm like too loud or if the game is too
Yeah,
quiet.
you gotta see it. Like you were talking about the XP, every single one of those NPC eliminations. You see the super.
Ooh, they got the pistol. Oh.
Little, basically got a full rank and some off of that. And now you're seeing the pile of loot. They can pick and choose. What do you want?
That's
All right, I'll
really
take
good
this. What
for
do you want?
fear.
All right, I'll take that. I'll trade you this. Ritual just
Ooh,
making
wait,
sure
Kanata and
Kanata
Bolts are up
has
there
a
on that mountain.
comfortable loadout
Uh-oh.
For the most part. That's also how they're getting their mobility throughout most of these games, as long as that Spire does
That
land
could
there.
be
Diego
problematic.
plays Oliver OG. We saw them early on in this game, firing shots, trading back and forth with Kanata early on, and this is kind of what their strategy
How did
has
Kanata
been
go all the
throughout
way
the
over
day
there?
for Blake, Diego, and Oliver. Kind of stay in the zone, take advantage of some of these teams that are overstaying their welcome this far back. And since they have an
Can we
abundance
switch
of
back
kills,
to
since they
Pete
have
and
that early
Gold?
game surge, they have a little bit more
Like
flexibility
Pete and
versus every other team that's roaming
no.
around right here.
I can set up right here where they are in between so many teams right now. A few that are in front of them, some to the side, others lurking just to the west here. Oh, look at that. Bryce's trio is going to be one of the few that are going to be early to the next safe zone here. It's a good update for us, though, Jacob. Catching G-Money, Rise, in a Aviv situation, as we all know. They are surprisingly in a race to the top.
Yeah,
Ooh, Curly.
I believe
Curly
they didn't
down.
have too many bad games yesterday, just one. And it was the one that kind of started it all. Their run.
Ooh, Clicks,
14th
Higgs, and
place, one
Ianzo coming on
elimination.
over.
Since then, every single game they
This
had
is Muzz's
was
team,
inside
too.
the top 8, including one of the wins.
Muzz,
Bit of a
Cooper,
breakdown to start the show,
and
but as we tune
Clicks
in,
is the same.
Muzz
Wow.
is down. Sphinx with one elimination. It looks like Cooper is over there. Not sure if Curly is the one getting rebooted, but it is. It's Reet making sure they get that one off, but his time is limited. They build straight up. They're making sure they collect that elimination, but a third team, the third party from Clicks, Iamzo, and Higgs, they get a good amount of damage onto Shadow.
dash.
Knowing they're only
Oh,
a duo, a mistake
falling
has been
apart.
made. Higgs goes
Higgs.
down. That's a huge wrench in their plan.
Not gonna lie, love the Superman laser here. That's
Wow, the
perfect
quality is
to go ahead and
terrible.
Pull that pressure off of Higgs, who was almost fully eliminated there. But how quickly did that just all unfold here? We have seen this fight almost break out multiple times now, where it's not one team, it's another lurking on the kind of opposing trio, just looking for opportunities.
I think yesterday was kind of very, very telling. We saw good portions throughout the game where there was a wide open space from the bottom of Flooded Frogs almost all the way to Lone Wolf Flare, an equal distance to the east and west. So teams at the north side of the map, Muzz's team, Reed's team, Clicks' team, they're not having the same type of luck they had going into this event. So they had to change up their strategy a little bit, and you're seeing it play out with a little bit more aggression in certain areas. Trying to attack where they can, but all three of those teams are near the top of the leaderboard, most of them inside of the top 10, and have a contention for the top spot on the leaderboard. Granted, some might be praying for the Peterbot downfall because he is so far ahead, but sometimes you might have to take matters into your own hands.
Yeah, he's gonna need those eliminations, right? They got a lot of runway to make up for work there. Especially looking at how well FaZe
Quality is so much better on Twitch for some reason.
Not only clutching
So,
up for his team, but he was up
the
there
ads
amongst
get weird, but
overall, like, best individual performers
whatever.
and what he was able to contribute to.
500 above. We have been surge trading for the last like 10 minutes. Bruh.
496 damage. Most of this, honestly, coming off the back of Braids. We were talking about the damage numbers over towards Flock. Foxy is the #1 damage leader after day #1, putting them in a good position. And they don't have the same pressure versus some of these teams because they already have their global championship
Rise,
spot
G-Money, and
locked in.
Aviv in this
Close
fight.
call here.
Ooh, G-Money is the
Rise, G-Money, and
outlaw.
Aviv, though, one team rotating right above them, another team right towards their east, but they're using this time still trying to accumulate the surge. Even though they're
Pete, Ritual, and
1200 damage
Cold
above
still
the
hasn't
threshold,
rebooted.
they
Oh,
know
there's
how
the
easily
team on him.
quick that can change.
That's not
Yeah,
Kanata's
look at
team
this.
either.
285 below, no cold, so this could be a fight for
Yamzo kill
really the
Shadow.
whole entire tournament right here. This could be the difference maker.
Yeah, this could
Peterbot
be.
Ritual looking to cut off the weakened team, trying to get them in the middle. This
Ooh.
is just textbook positioning here, but time to perform. If they don't hit the tags here, it's only gonna get
Why haven't they
worse.
rebooted Cold? I mean, I guess they couldn't because Kanata was kind of on
Getting
him.
worse in its own right because that third-party team up above is slowly but surely trying to look over in this direction. A lot of places to hide going into.
I wonder if that
boxcars,
team above
you
is
have a chance to try to
Strata.
sneak up on the Golden, Mason, and Chimp here as well. You see them trying to go back into the space that they got early
Three
on.
teams here, and then the one team up on the
Almost
mountain.
looking like they're disengaged out of this fight. They probably got notice of the zone pulling far away towards the east.
Ooh.
And they probably probably got
Oh,
a feel
Storm
of what's going
Surge.
on right now, and it does look like Surge has activated every 7 seconds.
This is
Now
bad
Ritual
for
Peter have officially
Heat
been
and
put on the
Ritual.
clock.
And you know they're hearing that shield break from
Clicks-
the Storm Surge.
Clicks
That's gonna
went
be
down.
The telltale
Clicks got
sign
fooled.
For the bottom trio.
Uh-oh.
And the bottom trio has to know it's Ritual and Peterbot pushing them as they're in. You mentioned it yesterday, but their signature skin. This is usually how they start the tournament off. So you know for certain this is Peterbot and Ritual here, but very rarely are they below the Surge. So there must be just so many questions being asked and thrown about with these
I want to
trios.
see if like the audio
Luckily
is
for
like
this moment,
I
it
need
does
to turn something up
deactivate.
or down.
It got below the number of teams for that zone, but you can see instantly pops
Oh
on yet again,
my.
and they're further below that damage threshold than I feel like they have ever been in an FNCS finals, or at least in recent memory. They're really going to have to figure it out, but they do have time. You see, as we tune into Kanata Rapid and Bolts, where the zone is actually going, it's not too far away from Brutal Boxcars. So in that 1 tick damage zone, it is going to continue to stay that way for at least one more.
Like the positioning here from Kanata Rapid Bolts. They're just gonna base down,
I think
kind of
we're
chill out for a
good.
second. Yamza though playing deep in the storm right now. No Clicks and Higgs. Things
Wait,
just
Yamza's the only one on.
for this team here.
Oh.
Not looking good by any means, but hey, Yamzo's still got a chance to go ahead and
What's up, my
recover
darling?
and remain in the game. It's a nice little rotate here for Naporta. Gonna give him some distance, but there's just so much happening in this northern area.
Like if anybody can do it as a solo and get his team back up, it is
Peter
Yamza,
killed one.
37 solo clutch points yesterday, keeping them, I believe, over that 200-point mark. But it's just got exponentially
Yamza
harder
just-
with the time that
wait,
passes.
Yamza's
He still
doing-
has to worry about Storm Surge. He has the surf cube, but he's literally just surfing up and over.
Yeah.
It could be a good opportunity with now 2 teams distracted for him to try to make that attempt to go for the reboot card back. Booga Craze threats always quick to rotate to the zone, and honestly, the only time I feel like they're not quick is when they're rotating to the slow side, trying to give themselves that
Ooh,
better
Mud,
advantage.
Shadow, and Sphinx are fully gone.
The update there, Mud Shadow Sphinx officially eliminated.
Have them
Sixth
in
place
7th.
team, allowing the rest of the top 5 to
That kind of works.
somewhat maintain the lead at this current
Again, these are my
time here.
predictions that I made.
Ritual Peterbot. Make it
I have
out
Pete
the
winning,
storm.
Koyo, Kanata,
They
G1
seem
Res
to
of
have
Beef,
gotten that
Flicks,
elimination
Pigs,
right here.
Yamza, Booga Craze threats.
They
They're
are
actually
right
doing
on the
really well.
team.
They're like in
Mason,
4th
they were
right now.
fighting in the
Booga
storm.
Craze.
They make it to the next area. Take a look at the highlight here as they come on in. Was that off the chin? Straight into the box. Wrap it up so quick here.
A lot of good
Storm Surge
teams.
is- I would say it is, but
Booga
even
first,
with that
wait, what?
elimination, there
No,
were still
fine.
377
Booga
above
is
453.
in
They
5th
essentially
right now.
2
I have
plus
them
eliminations
finishing
worth of damage
6th.
here. They have 2 players right in front, but I'm sure that's not going to be enough overall. They continue to trade shots down onto 1. They do get the wipe, but exactly as I said, they're barely above that damage threshold, 51. So they can't feel.
I don't know.
confident
I don't know
now.
what's
They
going
can
on with
feel the
Cold,
pressure
because Cold
alleviate,
can't
but
get
they know
rebooted now.
that's going
Like,
to switch up if they don't continue that
they're
upward
just gonna have
trend
to
in
be a
damage.
duo the whole game.
And King team know, Oliver's team know, Reek knows. They know exactly who is in the middle there. The feed lighting up. They can hear the shots. That's going to be very interesting.
Acorn,
Ages
Koyo.
Acorn make an early rotate here. Giving up their positioning to go ahead and play a little bit more center. Possibly targeted. Maybe someone broke their base from below, but clearly something
They're going
was
early.
sitting right with them on the previous spot now. And look at that. Off they go. Straight early rotate to the new zone.
It's weird about Cold. I mean, I would have tried to get it off at box
Back
cards,
into the
right?
mix. They don't have the luxury, the time really. to
Yeah, they don't
kind of
have
wait
Surge.
around.
This
They
is like,
have to
this whole
fight
game's
here
been
now.
kind of.
And on the flip side, though,
Hasn't been a
with
great
being
game
down
for
as
them.
early as he has, a monster, there's no team in this
Yeah,
lobby
can we get a
that's going to
replay on
get
how
this
cold that-
type of situation
like,
ever again with them going
broadcast,
down. I
hello?
don't even know when he kind of disappeared out of it overall, but they're a duo. They gotta take them out. They gotta cut down that 53-point lead. And I don't think anybody has been in a position to start to feel confident. They've been through 2 different teams so far, Chimp, Golden, and Mason. Now this team, full trios in a 2v3 situation, fighting with Surge on their backside, 110, down to 81. They're starting to fall below the damage threshold, and a max pull for this next zone. If they figure out a way out of this, I'm not sure anything's going to be able to stop them in this game.
Yeah, well, clearly they're going to be able to make the rotate, but the damage is obviously going to
This
be
is a bad
extremely
rotate from
concerning. But
Peterbot
look at this, Peterbot making the call like, wait, if we go through this tunnel, we lose all the time on the clock, right, to fight, but we can go up and trail that other team instead. They are going to stay down low.
Oh,
And
ooh,
look
we
at
needed
that.
to hit
There's
that.
a team waiting on the other side.
250
of this
below.
mountain.
Wow.
183 tag. Ritual's got to either back up Peterbot here or something, but Peterbot clutching in when it matters most, finding a little bit of damage. It's still
This
not
is bad
enough.
for
It's actually
them.
Reach Trio
Cold.
who's on the
Cold
other
soul.
side here. The damage being dealt. Everyone's kind of feeling it here on the lobby. Peterbot
Dire
Ritual go up and
situation.
out the town. Look at this.
Pete has like no mats.
258.
Ritual goes down.
All or nothing.
Ooh.
50-50. Ritual is going to get taken down. Peterbot now with his back up against the wall at 269. Falling further and further. 306.
Alright.
It gets worse. And
Biggest
now his
sell of all
last
time
usage of that
from
misform going to be used. He dives straight towards a whole nother
me. I
team.
can't really do
Damage
much
goes down below.
instead.
His only chance, he gets sprayed on the
Maybe.
other side. Active Surge as well. First
course.
elimination.
Never
Siphon
mind.
is literally keeping him alive, while Storm Surge and the damage from the storm itself is eating him.
He's insane. Even though.
Okay, never mind.
Even though he's holding on here. You can see he's got that warrior spirit. He does not give up at all. Fighting through and through to the very end. It's Curly's Cheerios below him now. He's trying to think back. Did he miss any loot? But it's too risky to go for it. Now going for the scout here. The download of the information. King's Trio makes a move here. Might be time to rotate, but he needs some type of mobility. It's only going to get tougher and tougher from here.
Great Curly
Top
Cooper.
15 placement points as well. These are
Yeah,
all very
Jersey goes down.
critical
Donnie.
opportunities for Peterbot to
Hi,
stay
Donnie.
in the lead.
Hi.
Cooper, Ree, and Curly though on the move now. But there's still a chance, right, for the rest of the lobby to break away.
And this is their chance right now. You
Oh,
see,
look at
they're
this.
taking it, but the flank coming in. They're lurking
What?
on the backside. Visuals, Braids, and Minish.
Next.
Acorn, Agers, and Pollo. A battle for the high ground is going to begin, but Agers
Oh,
on
man.
the flank dashes onto Visuals, gets the knock as Acorn shows up to help save the day. 931 damage above the threshold before it does deactivate. Did everything they needed to do because the remaining players of that trio just gave it up. They have no hope because they're outnumbered.
Yeah, that was
Acorn just on his
visual
old
breeds in a
man time,
minute.
you know, looking down, connecting his base, you know, playing block
Acorn
building
on
up
height.
top. And then Adrian's like, bro, what's going on, dude? You got 2 or 3
Nada, full
people
trio,
on
full
you,
health. Chug
and it
Jug.
saves
Nada
him
doesn't
the
have a bird.
day. My
It
gosh,
sucks.
that's
Ooh,
gonna be
Pete died.
quite an opportunity for them to look back on and
We got
kind of
Pete.
reevaluate.
I did see
Man.
on the feed that Peterbot did go down about 15th place. So we talk about placement points
Wow,
coming
that's
in, that
not
being
good.
the tool as a solo
If
for him
Pollo
to
wins
try
this
to
game,
keep
I think he
that
takes
lead
first place.
intact, but only getting 15th place. That's only 2 placements
Yeah.
worth of points.
And like
So
Peter
there
had
is
like a
lot
really
of
big
time and
lead
effort
before
right now for any one of
Subcavante.
those teams below
Yeah,
him
like he had a
on
really
the
big
leaderboard
lead
to
before,
start
but
to
now
close the
it's
gap,
like
or even better, take the lead after this game. 4
going down
eliminations
to
so far
15th.
for Aegis, Acorn,
They have
and
4
Pollo.
kills too.
They're definitely in the position on the high ground as it
And
continues
it pulls
to move
back.
up the
Oh,
mountain.
this is the
Everybody
freest
down
win
below
for
is having
them.
to spend every resource and material
Literally went
just
from
to get that
over here to the mountain, then back over the mountain. Like everyone started here, went back, went back. That is,
their chance to now officially close the
I
gap.
mean,
But what
the
happens
freest
when
win for
they
Acorn
end
and
up
Pollo.
taking first, if they
Majors.
can't take first, is they are gonna put a target on their back, and that's where things are gonna have to get even more difficult for them.
I mean,
Taking
like,
a lot of damage here. He's gonna be the first to get knocked here. Kanata drops down into the
what
box
can you
too
do?
fast, and then
Like-
caught up as well. And we might have spoken a little too soon. Bolt's only in 13th right now. He hasn't really earned much. Talk about not necessarily taking advantage of the opportunity presented here and now. It's Agers, Acorn, and Pollo who are doing the most with this chance here.
They're immediately, we saw them below over 100.
Reed Cooper and Curly are doing pretty good right now, though.
Themselves closer and closer to the driver's seat. Just terrorizing any team trying to make it up that mountain because it not only goes up, but it goes over towards the other side. Got to make sure you plan ahead, and that's exactly what they're trying to do. They go ahead and let Cooper lead the charge. They drop down a few labors to make sure they're not that instant target.
Bolts
by
is
the
still
high.
alive.
Bolts by himself, though. Kelly talked about the resurgence, the new Bolts, almost like the NA
Ooh,
West
Praise goes down.
Championship winning Bolts back at it, and this is a perfect time to prove himself. At least 4 teams worth of placement points, now 5 as he gets into the top 8.
Took a couple seasons off, but clearly couldn't count him out. He has been back in prime form here.
Mm,
I like the little play
Bolts
here to dip back into the storm as the zone bounces back, trusting that
Bolts
things
is
are going in his
cooking.
favor, and he does have that
Braids
misform
is still
to go
alive
ahead
somehow,
and
too.
escape out and this is a clutch coming out of him.
It's going
right
back
now
to the mountain.
13th when his team fell
What
down,
is this
now into
zone?
7th, and he's still pushing through. Can he find an impact elimination? Looking at things from the background, though, high ground is sitting super pretty. Cooper Reed and Curly trying to take advantage here of the opportunity to just rack up eliminations. That's the name of the game right now. Meanwhile, Cam is getting active in the low ground.
Yeah, you can see, Donnie, there's not too many full trios left in this game. But Zeke's wandering around.
I mean,
He has
like,
180 on the Chug minis as well. He just needs
how
to
does
find
Poyo,
a way
Acorn,
to
and
let
Aegis
the
lose
dust settle
this?
and
Like,
get those heals off. But there's players above them. There's players down below. One of them being a full trio right here before our very eyes. They're looking for that opportunity.
They're jumping down.
Contested as they're dominating the low ground.
Yeah.
You see them creating more space. As
Need more
Aegis and
kills.
Poyo have dropped down low. Now they're playing disruptor. They're
yeah,
making sure
both
nobody has a
both
chance
still
to
not a
heal
bad
off.
game.
Just caught boats right there and shut them down. Sent them back to the lobby. Top 5 now for Curly Cooper. Back into the mountain this endgame goes. This is quite a zone.
Yeah, this is a
ending here.
terrible
We've never
zone.
seen one. Meanwhile, Mistform plays, or Med plays way deep into the storm. Donnie with the
We had a good
jumping shot
pump.
there onto
I mean,
Cooper.
it's not gonna matter. It's
Find himself
gonna keep
elimination.
pulling.
Cam swinging around the
No,
outside. He's
quite,
just a
but
huge upset kind of being thrown into the mix here. Low ground now, trying to kind of gather his bearings. Downloads what he needs to. Puts down Reed. That's the siphon to keep him in the game. And
Flicks.
he's just fighting for second here.
It's that
And there
Burger.
it is, Curly, the last alive. But Agers
Yeah, I
on
mean,
the
that
line
was
as he
the
closes
easiest
things
win
out
for.
with a 14 elimination victory royale.
Wow, I mean, like,
11 for Agers by himself.
that was
Monster,
the
that
easiest
brings
win
his
for
total
Poyo.
eliminations in FNCS to 30 as an individual. And let's talk about Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual by himself going down early. That is the biggest thing because that is the opportunity they needed to close the gap. They were almost 100
Yeah, they
points
definitely
down
took
from
advantage
that
of
first place
that.
spot. And guess what? This game, they scored over 100 points to close that gap.
Yeah, that was just
Wow.
a game and a half for Acorn, Poyo, and Agers, and they managed to do it again 2 days in a row where they start things off with a victory royale. This is a statement maker for the rest of the lobby, really for Peterbot's trio. They have a lot of success when this team is not in the lobby. There's just so much influence that they lay down, and it's Agers in particular who you have to give all the credits to. Recently signed to the Elites team, just really showing why he is a world-class pickup. Look at him go. The performance is there, the victory royale was there, and congratulations. Game 7 goes to Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. Zeke, what a way to start this tournament.
Wow.
Guys, was it not enough to win game 1 yesterday? Now we come back and win game number 1 of day 2 in such a, like, just crazy fashion, right? They had everything that they possibly needed. They had height in 9th. They had so many heals ready. They left Poyo up top to go for that heal off if necessary. I mean, everyone had little things like, I don't know if you guys saw at one point, Agord had like 2 med mist in his possession. If things got really crazy, he could look
That's
to make some
crazy.
plays. Oh my gosh.
Poyo, Acorn, and
A statement
Agers. I mean,
has
they're
been
definitely in
made,
first.
friends. A statement has been made.
The start of that statement definitely had to have been when they ramped up for height, and we see Visuals trio ramping up just behind them. And for a moment, they weren't even turning around. It looked like Acorn, Poyo, and Agers were going to lose height as soon as they took it, but they immediately turned around. Agers responded so well, and they, you know, were able to just kind of control high ground from the rest of the game.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the statistics, when you look at the eliminations, everybody's gonna be like, wow, Agers is the MVP of that game, right? Picking up solo 11 eliminations, and yeah, absolutely. But that play that Kelly's talking about when Agers was actually able to take the 1v1, the visuals, to kind of ford off that 3v3 that was about to happen on the high ground, that for me is why he was the MVP of that game. He defended the high ground, he defended his trio as a whole, and oh my gosh, I mean, I called for it, we called for it. Kelly, we were like, listen, there needs to be a mental reset coming into the day. We know how good they were in games number 1 and 2 yesterday. We got to find that trio again. And let me tell you something, nothing like a good night's sleep to go ahead and bring them right back to where they're used to, straight up to the high ground. Oh, that was a great game.
Oh man, Viv, thank you for bringing that to our attention, because you're right, that mental reset, it was enough. Now, how does this impact the standings? We knew coming in, Peterbot was in first place. Is he still there? We'll
Nope.
find out after this short break. I know. We'll see you real
He's
soon.
probably gonna be in like 3rd now, cause he He died like right as placement started going, I think.
Did you know you can get your
Bruh.
prescriptions for less at your local pharmacy? You can with GoodRx. It's the free app that can save
Such
you money on
as
your
they-
medications. Just search for your prescription, choose the pharmacy and the price that works best for you, and then show your GoodRx coupon to your pharmacist at the drop-off counter. GoodRx works at over 70,000 pharmacies, including Walmart, Rite Aid, and Walgreens, and it works whether you have insurance or not.
Boom, one stream to the other. I think I could just do that when the ads go on. Twitch. Yeah, Pollo's definitely gonna be in first. I don't know what this replay is from. Click Sigsy Amzo has like 43 kills. No. If only they played this good in the actual finals. So I think this is probably like the scrims, if I had to guess. They couldn't at least use the highlights from that last game. Man, that was a terrible game. Like the mountain, like that was just like it's like a practice game. It didn't even go to like heal up or anything. Like that was quite an end game.
Welcome back, everyone, to Grand Finals, Day 2 of the FNCS. We knew that Day 2 would provide some entertainment. And coming into this day number 2, Pollo, Acorn, Agers, 100 points behind Peterbot. But after, I don't know, a little something like a Game 7 victory out to start the day.
Only by
we're
10 points.
Points ahead of Peterbot. It's happening.
That gap.
Kelly, it's happening.
Yeah, at the start of the show, when I said that history was repeating itself, I was talking about Major 2 to Major 3, not Day 1 to Day 2. So that means that Agers, Acorn, and Pollo are going to get the next victory royale as well.
There's a lot of gaps now.
Honestly, I got to give the floor to Vivid, because Vivid
like 60-point gap between 5th and 6th.
Agers, Acorn, Pollo needed like, that mental reset, and that's what we got.
30-some points
for them. I mean,
between 3rd and 4th.
11 eliminations, beautiful stuff there, but it's going to be on the back foot, right? Them kind of losing the lead in Peterbot there. Storm Surge was rough that game, right? They're kind of used to going, you know, head-to-head, shotgun, box-to-box, wall-to-wall, but no, like these games are completely
like really
different today. In the sense that, like yesterday, when we were in 1st, 2nd zone, it was like, whoa, there's already 75 people alive. This is getting quite, you know, a lot of eliminations are going down. And then today, in game number 1 of the day, there was like 90 players alive at that same exact moment. So a lot more passive playstyle. But I mean, jumping right into the end game, Kelly. Bolt's kind of holding on for the trio with that solo clutch. Incredible stuff from him.
I
He
just
lived
want there
forever.
to be some kind of highlight reel showing the bolts that we had for Major 1 and then the bolts that we have for Major 3, because I would never guess that this is the same
What's up,
player.
KT
He is
good?
playing absolutely lights out today
Yeah,
and
bolts
all of yesterday
not
as
really
well. When it comes down to solo clutches, there's honestly rarely anyone better than what we've seen bolts be able to do. Not able to get the game that they wanted exactly, but honestly, even if you're in a shambles situation, being able to put yourself up even just a little bit is exactly where they want to be.
Yeah, they're fighting for those few spots, right? And again, all these trios are doing the same thing, right? They're just saying, here's what we got given this game. I'm going to try and make something out of it. To put up a solo clutch like that, especially in the first game of the day, oh my gosh, I'm telling you, these next 5 games, this trio is going to pop. Reed Cooper Curly also showing up here in this last game. Man, oh man, we do still have ground to cover, right? The job's not done, but now we're in top 10 right now. So I'm very excited to see these guys. Again, I'm wanting to see what all these trios are improving upon, right, in day number 2. And for this trio, I'm liking what I'm seeing.
It's better late than never, and if you look at the first 5 games that they had yesterday, it was not looking too good for them, although they still were able to get a few eliminations. But it was that final game of the day where they got second place with 8 eliminations, where they finally started to turn things around, and I love that we finally get to see them up in our top 10 leaderboard, because being able to convert that minor success in day 1 into another success for day 2 is so pivotal.
At the end of the day,
Braid
all I can do
visuals
is
and
learn
I
and
managed
be
to only have
better
21
tomorrow will be a
kills.
different story, quote unquote Cooper on socials. And I can tell you right now, he definitely learned a lot yesterday and was definitely better already today. We also got Booga Threats and Craze still kind of maintaining towards the top of the leaderboard right now. Although, you know, they did close the gap to that qualification spot, right? We kind of entered today. They were 30 points behind. Now they are only 12. I saw them jumping around in the late game as well, but they became victims to the old agers up on the higher ground. He was providing a little bit too much damage with the rifle up there. Can't blame him.
Yeah, as far as loadouts go, this is definitely one of the rougher ones we see. He does have the exotic pistol, but as far as Craze, who's usually the double key fragger of the trio, he was a little bit left with a weak loadout. And unfortunately, they weren't able to get those eliminations that we know that they are able to do. But still, we talk about consistency for this trio, and they are still consistently making it to the end game, although this definitely being one of their weaker games that we've seen. But still, 5 games, we have so much more to go, Zeke.
Yeah, look, this is just the feeler game, right? It's just the first game of the day. We're all warmed up. Now it's serious time. Everyone, let's all land on Peter Bot. Anyway, let's go back to our casters for game number 8 of the FNCS.
Already after 1 game, Monster, this entire tournament continues to heat up. I wanted a close one and we got it. 10-point lead for first and second place. And Booga, Threats, and Craze have even closed that gap for a global championship spot by 12.
Yeah, and I'm just looking at Acorn. 3 Victory Royales, and then second place Peterboss Trio. No wins at all. The best they've gotten is a second and a lot of thirds. So just really showing the different caliber, the different play styles, and different journeys they're going through to make their statement here on the standings. So with game number 8, let's see it all go down. One more time, let's get on the bus here and see if whether or not Acorn and team will be faced with resistance. It almost feels like a coin flip every single game. We just don't know what we're going to get. Clearly, we know there is that target on their back. They seem to be the most consistent trio on the NA region and probably even the globe.
Yeah, my eyes are literally glued to that drop map right out of the gates. I'm trying to see who's contested, who's going where, what type of spin on that wheel are we going to see, where a surprise contest will happen. But business as usual, G-Money, Aviv, Rise, they get it one more time to themselves. Potential Spire spawning near them as well, so they're going to get themselves a chance at a good game. They also have the research lab at their access, the Rift to go ahead and rotate around, but this is the 50-50 I have my eyes on from top to bottom. You just go ahead and dive your way down, but Cyrus is going to get the first down on Deoxy, and his 2 teammates have no choice but to just leave and hope for the best.
Yeah, this is the first time they actually fall this early in a way that they kind of didn't even get to put up a fight. But this is the way it goes down at times. They've seemed to have made, yeah, I was going to say, a little clean break, though.
See if,
the outskirts they go. Look to go ahead and get their loot together, possibly engage. Jump jumping into this here. Man,
Oh, there
just
goes
no break
Skittles.
for Bryce Dash and Skittles. Unfortunately getting slept here.
What, 3 teams here?
Once again.
Yeah, Skittles. Yeah, okay, so Skittles, Dash, and Bryce are already dead.
Area. It's not like
There were 3 teams
don't
here.
understand how to play these zones or win these drops. I mean, the resistance base, they're so familiar with this entire landscape here.
Yeah, and if I was Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx, I would start to get a little worried because as Skittles and his entire trio don't necessarily get the consistency they had from day one, it's more likely than not they might start to make their way closer and closer back to the resistance base. We saw them win contested fights at least once. We saw them split the drop, stay alive, and be able to make it towards their end game. So that's the type of mental struggle some of these players might be going through when it comes to these drop spots, when it comes to starting out some of these games. We're seeing the limits they're stretching right now. Acorn not even landing at Demon's Domain itself. They know they're uncontested, so they're going in searching. They know players landed back here. They saw it off that drop spot, so they're trying to figure out exactly where they're at. Acorn, the IGL of the team, is going to be the first to spot them out.
Ooh, that's a nice tag right there. 41, no shield on the opponent's down low. But you blink, you might get put down. Boyo quickly rotates into the rescue here to back him up. Here comes the shots from up top. Nice little knock. That's going to be a great elimination here. And I just think these as just, you know, buffer, right? A little extra room, a little padding on the scoreboard, given that they just have such a narrow lead over everyone else right now.
That was good for Pollo to kind of just close the distance quickly there just to make sure that he didn't run away because his teammate was there. They might not necessarily know it, but we see he did have some backup on the way. Canyons Crossing, though, this is one of those fights, Monster. When I look at it, you almost have to finish it quick. That team that we saw start the game on top of the mountain, Shogun Solitude, and everybody that lands around Crime City, Outlaws Oasis, and the split drops towards the outside tend to rotate in this direction. And because Canyons Crossing has a little bit of a divot where mountain ranges on both sides, it's easy for players to lurk on over, figure out what's going on, assess the situation, and decide if they want to play for it or not.
Yeah, definitely. You see teams get farmed for tags all about this area when they're rotating. Peterbot already making a move up. This is very reminiscent of the last majors. That early rotate up towards the Lone Wolf. They know how to play this out. They know there's good opportunity to find
Hopefully Cole doesn't die in the first like 5 minutes of the game.
Here.
He does not have the best look.
It's scary. They've done this before. Remember last major? It was a whole different team landing over at the Lone Wolf Flare, but they have made almost this exact
Surge in
work
Game
play
7
from the
after
other
not being
side
hit
of
at
the
all
Wolf
on
Flare. It's King, it's
day 1.
Freezer, it's
Wow.
and the ones that really have to watch out here. And they know this terrain just as good as any, and you can see the position on the mini-map of that trio they're inching towards. They're split out. They're not close together. One of them can easily try to go down, so I want to see King with that high ground really utilize it, try to spot out the team, but they're inside of the layer, so now I feel like there's no hope until it's too late.
Yeah, and I doubt they're going to make any type of noise indication here while King is full farming here. Look at this, jumps down. This might be even worse for him. Sure, he's getting with his teammate, but a 3v2 is all Peterbot needs for the setup here. There's another team behind them as well, so I mean, this could go either way.
Trying to see where the zone actually is, because if it kind of pulls towards the north, we're keeping the west side in the zone. The island could go there, which is what they go after. They wait for Phaser to use the launch pad and immediately beam to take him down. And you see in the minimap, they're just trying to disengage. His two teammates aren't even necessarily together. That's exactly what they were looking for. The island on this
now
side
it's
of the
Clicks,
zone.
Higgs, and the Yams are doing the same exact thing.
The lurkers are now becoming the lurked. Clicks, Yams, and Higgs are making the same exact play.
They really are.
Comedy unfolding.
Literally the same
Working
rotate and
in tandem
everything.
At this point, they don't realize their team's already kind of gone, but
It's crazy.
their mind's definitely moving in the right direction. How can you put yourself in a position to obviously catch these teams off guard and
Not as
if
much
they
surge
somehow end up
trading.
crash coursing even on Cliff's trio here.
Why did we not
Just a
shoot that
couple
guy
moments,
earlier?
That'll be devastating in its own. But nope, they catch PH in off guard and just a matter of time. It's not looking good.
Okay.
You see how
Now
good the
Pete.
lasers are too, Jacob?
Pete gets
Especially in a game
Island
like
this game
when
though.
You have the opportunity to really put it to use.
Not Acorn.
They know. They know, though. They know exactly. They probably saw that first elimination in the feed. Peterbot picked that up. They lurked over to Lone Wolf to try to get him. They ran into King Phaser PH teams yet again. And as soon as they heard that riff, they knew they already have high ground. They're already towards the island. It would be a bad play to go over there and try to contest that. So they're going to continue on with the rest of the game. Hopefully the zone pulls in their favor, and that could be a second moment for them to try to strike.
It almost looks like they want to stay at the Lone Wolf. We'll end up seeing how that works out for them. A little update here with Puka, Crazy and Threats. 32 points already earned on the day, so pretty strong start. But it's all about staying consistent for them. They want that global championship spot that we know is prestigious and up for grabs right now. One thing's for sure, though, Kanata wants it too. They are definitely leagues ahead right now on the scoreboard here. About a game's worth in the distance. And then you have G-Money's team. They're trailing right behind. So who all is going to take those last couple spots here is definitely one of the bigger questions.
Ooh.
Start trading
Not
now.
sure they know, but that was some great shots. Across the map from Clixie, Amzo, and Higgs. They're getting Lone Wolf Player is in the zone. So contrary from how we saw Clixie, Amzo, and Higgs play towards in that last game and a couple of the games yesterday, getting aggressive, trying to play for a Storm Surge, they're kind of switching it up. They realized, hey, we went down a little earlier than we hoped in that last game. It wasn't a part of our game plan. We didn't expect it. So now they're trying to slow things down, put a pause on everything, recollect themselves, and play exactly like we're watching Cold Ritual and Peterbot play here for Surge. Let it other teams make those mistakes that you can then capitalize on.
Cold just throwing out markers right now, trying to see if he can fish for any trios.
Ooh. Where was that from?
Haven't caught a break yet.
Is that mountain over there? Jenny? Okay. Ooh, look at Bolts' loot.
Yeah,
oh, they got the Spire thing, I
For
bet.
some of these teams to move too much. They
Yeah,
do get
they-
the zone
they got
priority
the
pool
Spire.
is
There's no
favoring, I
way.
think, them mostly for the
They
center
have
map.
the
Haven't seen
exotic.
it overall. And the same thing with Blake's team
That
on
is
the other
quite
side.
the
but it
loot
looks
for
like
Bolts.
they might be getting lurked on by Madden and his trio. So hopefully they don't lose too much focus and tunnel on Kanata's team around the map when they got something to worry about. It does look like Oliver got separated. And it seems like a whole fight is breaking down. And this is where Kanata and them
Yeah,
are
why
gonna
don't we
take full
switch to that?
advantage to try to get as much
Bolts
surge
gained
out of this
18
as
points
possible.
as a solo in Game 7 and now has the most solo
That
clutch
was
points.
super close for Kanata to snipe that one up.
I like that coming out of Bolts. 18 points, solo points in that last game, making them the #1 player in terms of solo clutch points for the game. And you got to think Rapid and Kanata got to start be feeling a little bit more confident with each and every game that passes, saying, hey, we might have to do less. Bolts is doing the most, especially when it comes to those solo opportunities. But we saw Oliver G go down in the feed across the map early on. 3v2 here. Blake trying to fight back. You see he's burning through his materials, changing layers, trying to stay alive. Inadvertently separating a little bit too much from Diego plays. He's trying to find his way back.
Diego looking to back him up, though, trying to find an angle. It's still a 3v2, though. This is not easy by any means, but Blake flexing his capabilities right now, but still, it's not going to be enough as Liam just a little too aggressive for his liking here. Gets the better of him. And then you know that Kanata Trio's just watching this, chipping away shots here at the builds and whatnot.
I feel bad for Diego plays. He's in such a rough spot here. There's so much ammo in those Spire rifle clips. You can literally spray for days. You chain him with your teammate. There's no chance for Diego to heal. Now they're playing for piece control on the walls. Liam bites off just a little bit more than he could chew. He gets taken down to 65 HP. You see Diego trying to take advantage, get aggressive. But the numbers game, there's just too much sometimes. 3v1. They're eventually able to take him down.
Not like
Not
it
only
in
claim all
there.
the loot,
1v3.
but claim that position on top of the mountain.
Shotgun in hand, they were ready. And this zone, too, is starting to favor slightly to the north, so this is going to be even more favorable for them as far as, like, holding this mountain is concerned, especially if those elims right there, pushing them up and over into, like, a comfortable area for overall damage. That's going to be big. Mud Sphinx, Shadow. Looking for their exchanges right now. Still sticking true to the resistance base, though. Kind of questionable, I would say, though, for them to be here this long. I have to assume that their damage is probably not the best, so they'll likely need to get into a fight here soon.
Yeah, especially more so. They already pushed that one team off. Kind of imagining the feed, watching
Fighting
them kind
in
of play
Academy?
it all out. King, Phaser, Pete, all three of them back up. Not necessarily the best
Oh, that's
shape,
good.
but at least they've given
King,
themselves a
Phaser,
chance.
and some-
They know there's footsteps here. That's Sinetto, Cam, and Osid on the other side. A team that could be a little scary to fight. We saw them qualify through the group stages, consistency through and through until they got that win. So they know they can play both sides of that coin. They know how to turn it on when they need to.
Gold Outlaw.
And rightfully so. It looks like they're pushing out King, Phaser, and PH Sin's team, even probably forcing them to take that railing all the way to Brutal.
Well, if it's practice you want, it's practice you get for King, Phaser, and PH Sin. This is what they signed up for.
13th and 14th
They
place.
jumped into this NA region. They're in 13th right now, the team clashing with them in 14th, so somewhat meeting their match here and now. Like the move to the Brutal, pick up this vending. And get them right back in the game right now.
And this is one of the few teams that might actually know this. Monster is Peterbot's team took them down, rushed for the island, didn't worry about his Brutal Boxcar's Spire. So now fresh off the reboot, they know Peterbot is nowhere in sight towards Brutal Boxcars, giving them a chance. This, my friend, is one of the best chances you're gonna get off spawn, getting access to one of those Spires. They're instantly starting to upgrade that superhero rank. They're gonna get a whole lot of loot, mobility, in which they didn't have. So I'm interested to see how far they're able to take this game with a huge second chance. Rise, G-Money, and V making that far rotation outside of Outpost, across Foxy, trying to get into the zone. They're beating a few teams back there, and since they were kind of shooting back and forth with some of those teams, they could realistically position themselves on one of these mountain ranges to continue to look back like they're doing now.
Yeah, definitely got to play for key positioning here. You don't want to get caught between these valleys like Braids and Diminish, almost forced to go deeper into the storm.
A lot of teams over here.
Fight, including here, seems like Tyler, Curve, and Josh try to jump in, but whoa, what happened there? Must have been a crack in the build. Someone squeezed some shots in. It's Aaron's trio. Oh yeah, it's a full team as they were gonna finish up blue, but just, I guess, got a little too tunnel vision there. That's gonna be Raz for them.
It's only one way into those labs underneath and multiple ways out. Sometimes it's not even worth the risk, and you see why. Teams waiting on the outside. There's sometimes some grids that you can't even necessarily build on there as well. It's a good spot to plan ahead and really try to get that sneak attack, which they did find success onto one. And you're seeing exactly why they're going for plays just like that, Monster. Only 68 damage above the threshold. Even though it's early on, we know that's going to change in the blink of an eye.
Back and forth right now. Seems like the Jig
Sinetto, that's the Phaser. They're fighting.
They have a chance to kind
Can
of
we
fight
can we
this one off here.
can we
A couple
watch
bandages though
like
to
the
give them a little
13th
bit
and
of
14th
room.
team?
Red's team doing the same here, so
King went down. Cam went
all
down.
or nothing here shortly.
Phaser kills Sid. I think Phaser, King, and whoever the other one, third of that team might have won that fight.
Luckily for them, they got a lot of heals at least. See, even though you kind of diminish your chances at going to heal off, which you haven't really seen too many of throughout this weekend, you're just kind of cutting down a possible scenario if it ever does come down to it. We saw them go for this island early on, and what a right decision it was, because they're able to get at least one medallion in the hands of Peterbot, the one that's really going to take an individual skill level and kind of increase it tenfold. You see the invisibility, it negates fall damage, you move quicker, jump higher, faster, and something like his hands. We've seen some clutch plays before, kind of looking for him to really make those clutch plays here again. And from on top of the island, with every team having to rotate in through the east, through the south, they're going to get a bird's eye view of every single player rotating in their direction.
Hey, here's this fight. Oh,
Replay
Cam's
from King. The fight goes down, and Cam's trio meets them here at the Brutal
Oh yeah,
Box
that's
Cars.
what it was.
Just
Yeah.
full
we go.
on collide with one another.
King,
there.
Phaser,
That's
and
gonna be
Zen
huge
back
for
in the
them. I think
game.
that should surely push them up into A, possibly even S rank if they caught that Spire.
King even has the gold
Think about
pistols and the exotic
benefits of
pump.
that
That's
HP
pretty
increase,
good.
of course, going to be super beneficial. Even
Free
at the
Cooper
zone
curling.
might actually become a two-tick. Hold up. They need to start moving ASAP.
Ooh, Clicks, Higgs, Yamza fighting Joji, Donnie, and Seek.
What do we have here? there, 220 above the damage
Ooh,
threshold.
Game 7 was the first game that Click 6 and the Enzo didn't get any
Not
placement for.
necessarily
Wow.
staying towards the north side. Supernova Academy taking those early game fights.
I don't know if y'all want to fight that.
Throughout the tournament so far, trying to change
It's a
things
really
up
good team.
yet again.
Oh,
In
wow.
some ways, trying to hit that reset button, and so far working out. We're able to take that slow roll and approach to get that knock on the seat, but you see them trying to fight their way
Yeah, that
through.
third-party
Joji's
team
playing
is-
defensive, trying to save the body. Donnie is as
Third-party
well.
team is
He
not
lands a
doing
good shot onto Clicks to try to
good for
slow
them.
things down, and more teams are now
Who
rotating
is a
into the
third-party
zone
team?
in this
Noxy,
direction to
Beater,
make it tougher and
Ozone,
tougher for anybody to try to clean up the
Preston's
eliminations.
team.
Yeah, that's the problem. I'm not sure if Clix's team recognized that there is 2 teams shooting
Yeah.
in from the outskirts here. They're removing as
Click's
if it was
thinking
just a
Yonder
easy
being too
win, but
aggressive.
There's so much more happening here than just that, and oh wow, that pressure from the laser, of course, forcing them off here. And now
All 3 of them are still
that could've
alive
gotten
though, that's
really
good.
bad for
Higgs
Clix,
just killed
but
Seek.
hey, things settle for a second here. They gotta go. Zone's doing 2 ticks of damage, so it's definitely not the spot that you want to be in right now.
And depending on what the heals are, you don't want to dig into that chug jug too early. Max pull coming out, you want to try to save as much of those heals, the HP as possible. But it does look like it has to come out. It looks like it's only heal they do have in their inventory, maybe saving possible med miss for later to take position in zone. A huge strategy that we've seen really play out since the return of those med miss
Agers,
smokes.
Acorn,
On the other
Poyo,
side,
Under
a
Island.
very, very similar and tough rotation. Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. They completed the hat trick in
220
terms of
above.
victory royales during this FNCS, but it's about proving a
260
point. It's
above.
about winning another championship.
That immediate competition.
Highest
right here from
damage
Agers,
ratio of
Under
any
Rise,
team?
Getting past Poyo, Agers, and
Really?
Acorn.
Oh.
I want to see if they go for another high ground hold early. Oh, big damage coming in from Poyo there. So
What in the
quick
shield
counter
regen is
swap,
that?
though, to get that HP to fly right back up. And that's the strength of the medallion. G-Money should know better to leave open walls like that, but they take a little damage there before rotating out.
They're getting keyed. Uh-oh.
They didn't like that. They're turning right on.
Yeah, they did not like that.
Things up, giving them some space to work with. Finds a little side angle onto Rise, and then
Poyo goes down.
Vive, and Adrian
Acorn goes down.
coming in
Uh-oh.
full effect here, but he knows he can't stay inside the storm. It's just doing too much damage. He's trying to utilize the dashes to get around, support his teammates, but they're both down now. And this is just going south very fast here.
For both teams,
Kills
for
Rise.
Agers was able to not only get the elimination cleanup onto Rise,
Got the
he gets
finish.
another one onto Aviv as
Ooh,
well.
they have the
1v1.
Schalke pistol too. 1v1.
Who comes out
G-Money.
alive in this
Ooh.
situation? Both of
G-Money
them
goes down.
kind of second guessing probably this decision. G-Money's going to go ahead and try to disengage on out, or at least try to make the attempt, but he was
No,
so
no.
low
I
on
mean, that
HP.
just-
Yep, he gets cleaned up.
that
He turned
griefed
into
both
a
teams.
5-tick. So for Agers, he does have all these heals.
He has
but
a lot
on
of
the clock
heals.
to try to get out to see what he has left.
Yeah, it's crazy because he hit S rank right as that happened, and then
No,
G-Money
pop the
falls to
140
the storm
chug, not that
naturally, so it was perfect. He
Oh,
gets
yeah,
the
that
second to
was
kind of stay in the
glitching.
game here, and this is why he's waiting this one out a bit, but you know...
Oh man, he's gonna rotate
Lobby
right into
had to
like
have
Clicks
heard something
and
happening
Peter
inside
and
the storm, and they'll be waiting
Reed.
for them.
Oof.
But that's going to be a potential
Actually, you can just play
lead
backside
to
over
make
here,
back
probably.
to the rest
all
of
those
the
heals.
lobby to play for. Cooper Curly Reed. Much to be desired
370
here in this
above,
game,
that's
but
pretty
they
good.
have the zone right now. They have a little bit of damage, but not too much. They can sit idle here.
440 above. Okay.
Literally what we were talking about. One mistake. in
Yeah, there
games
goes
like this,
Agers.
Stack lobbies
Out
that
of
are
that
this
corner.
close could cost you anything. It was only 10 points of differential between first and second going into this game. Even third was less than 50 points overall. More than enough to change the tide because it's outside of the placement points so far. Last we saw was about 19 teams still left alive. Still 19 teams in the game, but one does go down. Craze was the one that did get cleaned up. It's only guessings. That might be Booga, Craze, and Threats out of the lobby.
Old Peterbot Ritual, the first to play for a little bit of that elevated high ground here. I like this positioning. I think they are recognizing too they need a win. And whoa, little delivery from Donnie there. Insta elimination too.
Donnie and
Notice
Genji.
Code wants his team though before he goes to even
Oh.
dares to look at that loot there. There's
Ooh, zone.
too much
They
going on
pulled
beneath
zone.
them.
I mean, this is probably a Pete Golden virtual win, I would assume.
Yeah, no knock. Straight Elim, Booga, Craze, and Threats officially out.
Holds down.
Around 19th place, so no placement points for them so
Looks like
far.
Zions are
The
getting
Zions
griefed.
are feeling the pressure from across. A bunch of players spraying their way in. They're trying to get off that bottom layer, but Clicks does a good job. Not only getting the shield.
They are getting a lobby focused.
It's more than one. It's more than two. It's almost 3 to 4, 5 even teams shooting in this direction.
Yes,
The Alonso's going to go down. You see the material count relatively low. No
I
hard
mean,
mats. They're building in wood. That's a huge sign of
GGs.
weakness. The spray is relentless, and I don't think it's going to stop.
It's beautiful straight up from up top. They're kind of initiating this.
Alright, well, that was a fun
Signal
game.
into the lobby, get in here, add that damage, and they just get
That was fun.
focused right back to the start of the game. PH Zin also had a little bit of an influence on that one. And that's just tough, right?
Ooh, that one a good rotate.
Oh my gosh. Yep. This entire pocket right here, bad news. Bad business.
I feel so bad because I've been in that situation. I'm not even a 10th of the way as skilled as these players, but I've been in that situation before, and it sometimes feels like there's no hope of making it out, and already 2 different teams got claimed because of that entire situation. So a 10-point lead is almost guaranteed to be diminished yet again. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. But let's go ahead and say Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid as well have a chance to move
has a
up
full
the
gray
leaderboard
loadout,
as
okay.
well. From 3rd to possibly getting 2nd or 1st.
Oh, most definitely. They were one
Oh,
of those
their
teams
turn
that
to
got
get lobby
higher.
focused.
Peterbot getting a little sample of what that feels like, and he knows what to do. Change layers instantly there. Gotta give it up, and it's Kanata who goes up top as well. But that same team just focuses onto them. And then Bolt has to come in, pick him up in this form, but Rapid puts a little wall down there, so kind of slows things down for a second, but the pressure's still coming through.
Bolt still has the good shotgun though.
King's Trio's the one on the other layer right in front of them. They actually leave Kanata behind, so clearly Rapid couldn't even pick up the body.
Oh wait,
Wait a minute.
wait.
Might get him, they might get him. It's a miss. Med miss there. Kept him in the game. I don't know even, I don't even
Nice.
know who dropped that. Could have been Rapid, could have left him there with the med miss. Who knows? Just have to find out later.
And they have a couple of more in their inventory.
Crazy.
And you see Bolts, the selfless play coming out of Bolts. Yo, my man, you could take this cape. You got it. I got some dashes. I could smoothly move around. Maybe just a little bit better.
Tyler,
Hell,
Josh,
shields,
and
everything
Curve on
like that.
height.
But the high ground
Oh.
goes on over to Josh, Tyler, and Curve. They've been through
Uh-oh.
the ringer so far during this FNCS, but it's a day 2 opportunity to start to build.
Yeah, they have not done
confidence
well
and
at
have
all.
An avalanche of momentum start to go in your stride.
You know what? You got to give them all the credit. The way they managed to really bully high ground right
Cold
there. It
gets
was
the kill,
their
visual
doing
stinks.
of focusing in on anyone who wanted to contest them and see eye to eye. And just like that, it manages to give them a little bit of a lead here in the lobby here. And they're determining the pace of this endgame. That is not something you see a newer trio like this do. A
Ritual
team that
Peter
had as much
down
experience
in
endgame, but they
Storm.
are playing like professionals right now. I mean, look
Good
at that. You
rotate,
got
good thing he
Peter's
has the
team in
medallion.
shambles. You got
He does no
Kanata's
mats.
clearly
Oh
in
boy.
shambles, and look at
This is
The
gonna be
pressure
quite the end
coming
game.
from
Definitely not an easy
top
Peter
down
win.
is
Peter's not
exactly
gonna win at
how
all.
you're supposed to do this.
Cold goes down. Ritual has like no whiteout.
Somebody looked up.
Peter has no
Choke
mats.
down, but
Like,
is gonna fall overall. Cole's gonna go down as well, so it's not going to be for free. Bolt's trying to break his way into those cover the zone.
Bolt's
It's doing
still-
so much
still
damage,
going.
he has to try
Kanata's
to
still
find a
going
way out.
rapid.
He doesn't have the miss form. He cannot cape to the other side.
He's
but
gonna got
Cole goes
Siphon,
down.
got the
That's
Chug
Siphon
Jug.
he was
You got a
looking for.
bird?
And 90 left on the Chug Jug, and the
Okay.
cape as well. Bolt's is making magic happen right before our
Uh-oh.
very eyes.
Still clutching up. Meanwhile, Curve also finds an Elim on the backside.
Pete goes
of the zone
down.
to Peterbot, and then another one.
Ooh, jump.
Mud,
Ooh.
Sphinx, and Shadow Dome back in the mix here.
Pump shot.
Shut down the momentum. Josh was building
That was
up
Josh on
with
height.
Curve's trio there,
That
and
was
now
this
leaving
team on height.
Curve by
And Curve is
himself.
dead. Wow,
And
height
that
team
was
is
a
gone.
tough
Oh my god.
elimination. Fifth place for him, but
Muzz is on
the
height.
one
What?
Who's gonna go ahead and put the stamp
Muzz
on
is
it,
on height
and
now.
He is still going in this endgame.
And Bolt's, I saw
Read
Rapid
Curly
for a
Cooper.
little
This is a
bit.
good game no
Kanata's
matter
even
what. That's
still
good.
alive. Out of the
Kanata's alive.
shadows, he
Kanata
emerges, but a whole
and
trio
Bolts is still
down
alive.
below. Reed, Cooley, and Curly, they're on the other
Cur-
side, but
Cur-
they have to
Cur-
go left.
Cur-
They're
Curly.
just dictating as much of the flow, and even Curly does it
Bolts,
again, cutting
ooh.
off their path. Bolts
Nice
dropped
bird.
down to 3 HP, forced to use that miss form to try to go to the other side, lands in the zone. He has
Somehow didn't
40
land
on
for
the
him.
Chug Jug. He can't get to
Muzz
full
went
health,
down.
but at least he
Uh-oh.
has an opportunity to fight back. He
Kanata goes
loses his
down,
teammate along the
and
way.
Bolts goes
He's the
down.
only
Still a
solo
good
left in the
game.
lobby, but it's not for
Third
long.
place.
He's gonna get taken down. 3v2 opportunity for Muzz. Shadow
3v2.
to close this one out.
This things big here.
Ooh,
Muzz jumping around. He's
yeah.
got that visual, trying to just stay low key here, but cutting them off. Shadow comes down as well. Shadow's just one pump away from getting sent back, though. He's got to be careful.
Great.
This form,
Reed kills one.
perfectly done. Down goes Reed.
Cooper.
2v1 situation.
Ah.
Cooper, you're good. But
Still a good
Muzz
game.
is here to clean things
Muzz,
up, and just
Sphinx,
like that, they sweep
and
the dust
Shadow.
under the rug.
Wow.
Well played for them as they
What a game.
start to put themselves
That was much
closer
more
to
fun of a
the
game
top.
than the other one.
312 points going into this game in 7th
That's gonna change up the
place.
leaderboard a
And
lot.
Best game so far through the weekend was a 4th with 13 eliminations. They've been all over the leaderboard. They finally have found their stride and a way to push everything that they face to the side and really hone in here on day 2. They're fighting for that global championship spot with a few other teams. And so far, Muzz has been lights out, and this is what you were talking about with him. Taking
That was
down
quite
Josh,
the
Sphinx
in-game.
was staying above. He had the med miss, the justice case in his back pocket.
This is the best we've seen Muzz in recent times. And with Sphinx and Shadow, I just feel like he's finding his new stride here. Now again, having to come through the LCQ, this is just more proof as to why they are so deserving to be here. Sphinx and Shadow turning up just alongside him.
That's
Great
good
victory
for
out
Reed.
this team here.
Cooper and
game
Curly.
number 8, Zeke, is now wraps.
Muzz! Muzz! Let's go! My king! He got himself a victory royale! Let's go! Kelly, you didn't believe in Muzz. I did. You know what, Muzz? She specifically said, I don't believe in Muzz. There's no way. And I said, no, everyone believes in Muzz. Kelly, that she didn't actually say that. I'm just making that up.
Is that a voice recording of me? Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was. I recorded the message. Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow get themselves a victory royale. I love in this game, for a moment, things look a little grim, right? We're on the low. We don't have much going on. And suddenly in the 11th zone, they're like, hey, what if we just go for height? Like, what if we, I don't know, no one up there, right? Like, what if we just take that? And then this kind of leads them to win the game.
Muzz, Shadow,
Yeah,
Sphinx, W.
Muzz, Shadow, Sphinx did an
Sup,
absolutely
stud?
incredible job there. Watching the low ground, they were sticking to the front of zone and even using some early med mists into Storm to make sure that they're controlling the front of zone, which allowed them to kind of get better awareness onto where high ground was. And like you said, there was no high ground, so going for the eliminations, able to take kind of this like middling high ground, but in reality, they just were going on the aggro. They didn't allow anyone to really like stay calm, compose themselves, and instead able to get those eliminations and that victory royale.
Yeah, I mean, able to find the needed momentum for the victory royale right there, right? That typical position we've been seeing on the low ground where you kind of position yourself right off to the side of the moving zone so you can see everybody kind of rotating.
That was a lot
in
more
on the
entertaining
ground.
of a game
That's just
than
lagging
last
a little
game.
bit behind.
Now watching
Quick
FNCS
elimination
Grands
there. Have the
Grand
resources
Finals.
to go ahead and justify going up for the high ground. And like Zeke mentioned, there was nobody on height, so they didn't have to take it from height. They just kind of just walked up. We'll talk about all that mess later. But yeah, a good win for this trio, especially in terms of making sure that they stay in contention for that global qualification spot.
Oh man, of course, this is what's gonna happen. Every game, the settings are gonna change in ways that are not predictable. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to a break. When we return though, we start to kind of break some of this down, but for Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx, this is really good. We'll see you soon.
Man. That was a crazy game. I was ready. I want to find a way. I see a stud.
Our GOAT. Our GOAT.
Sup,
Muzz,
Conquest?
Shadow, Sphinx got themselves a victory royale in game number 8. Now it kind of hinted at the standings. That
Alright, let's see.
game has
That-
some implications.
Yeah.
We'll go to
The
them in
standings are
just
gonna be
a
weird.
moment,
Let's see.
Because Peterbot, Cold Ritual, they're still holding down the number 1
Okay.
spot. But
Muzz
let's
goes
just
up
break this
3.
down, guys. If Peterbot, Cold Ritual have a spot, if Agers,
Reek goes
Acorn,
up,
Boyo
okay.
have a spot, then
Booger
that must
goes
mean the next 2
down.
spots are in
Flix
the
goes down.
top 4. Wait a minute, Muzz is in the top 4.
Oof, Muzz,
That's
Shadow,
crazy.
Sphinx, so close to getting that global championship spot. Of course, they are
For
still
leagues,
just
no,
right
but I'm
behind
going
Rabbit,
to in
Kanata,
between
and
games.
Pulse. And also Aviv, G-Money, and Rise are hot on their tail as well. So it is not
That's
done
crazy.
and dusted yet. But you love to
Hey, it's
see
pretty
the
close now.
improvement.
There
You
was a
love
pretty
to
good
see the
big
climb,
gap
and
before,
that's exactly what
but
Muzz's trio has
it's getting
been
kinda
doing.
close now.
But we got to talk about the team that's been sticking pretty in 3rd place. Kanata, Bolts,
Okay,
and
Kanata.
Rapid. Definitely not the best game or the worst game out of them, all things
That was
considered.
a pretty good
But
game. They
Bolts,
finished
man,
3rd.
time and time again, he's just able to pull out these
I think
incredible
they
end
finished 3rd
games.
at least.
Yeah, I felt like this actually should have been a win from this trio. I mean, the high ground was pretty crazy. It should have maybe also potentially been a win from Peterbot's trio as well, because kind of like the same thing happened in Peterbot's trio and Kanata's trio. They both tried to establish height on the front side of moving zone, and it was just like the whole lobby was just like, what if you just don't? And just kept spraying at them, right? Like we saw Peterbot getting knocked down. He was like 15 HP, had to drop all the way down, ended up wasting a bunch of resources on that potential play. And then Kanata, we saw one of them get knocked, and for a second we didn't think they were going to get the revive off, and we were like, why are you guys not reviving? But it ended up working out there, right? But yeah, just lost all height identity that game as a result of it, but still able to recover in both of those trios.
I'm telling you, man, I feel like this season we have just seen so many solo moments that have been so like pivotal for a trio, right? That have kept them in the game or earned those little bit of points to just make sure they don't stumble. Bolts, shout outs to you. Of course, we have to continue the conversation.
Alright, let's
though.
look at
I wanted to highlight Peterbot here as well. Obviously, these guys are
I guess I should
very, very
probably just do it
I think it is funny though.
in like ad breaks.
We saw him dash all the way across the entirety of the zone.
Yeah, let's just do
And
it.
yeah, for whatever
Let's just look
reason,
at
the
leaks in
entire
between
lobby was
games.
like,
Let's just
"Wait
do
a
that.
minute,
That'll be
that's
much
Peterbot." And then
easier.
everyone just started shooting at him. Then Kanata's like, okay, let me take height from him. They get shot out. He goes down. It was a wild one for the trio.
For
Yeah,
what should have been.
Just crazy stuff, you know what I mean? Like it should have, like Kelly was saying, it should have been, you know, pretty easy high ground. They had it established, and then yeah, it was just like the dashes came out. It just couldn't establish it fast enough.
Yeah, for what should have been their game to win, especially after getting Rift Island pretty handily and having high ground
They did
for
get Island, that
a few
sucks.
zones as well. It's Peterbot just made some interesting plays. He dropped down, and it looked like that was when Kanata's trio was going for high ground. But what should have been an easy disengage just looked so rough, especially for Peterbot. It just seemed like you said everyone turned and focused on them. And when you see them in first
That's
place,
still a
with
pretty good
519
leaderboard. Like, everything
points,
is
you can
kinda
understand
close.
why. And then Agers, Acorn,
I mean,
and
4th and
Boyo
2nd is
just
kind of
12
like,
points behind them.
it's quite,
I thought
it's like
the
almost
storyline
100
between
points.
these two was done.
Which is
but
kind
we
of,
still
you know.
have the Poyo versus Peterbot. Who's gonna be better? Zeke, we need to find out.
I know.
Yeah, I mean,
Really quick
mainly
before we
it's
go
just
to
like
game,
first,
I just
second,
wanted to highlight that sneaky
and then like
moment
third is like
from
perfectly in the middle of
Peterbot
like second,
and from
fourth, and
Clicks.
then
We're
from
just
fourth down it's
sneaking
just
in
open.
over
Like,
here, trying to attack King PH Zin and Phaser. And
that's
it's
cool
funny
conquest.
because we
Yeah.
got this angle and it's like, oh, Peterbot's sneaking up.
In between
oh,
like
shit.
ad
And then,
breaks and like in
moments
between games, I'm
later,
gonna look at
Clicks
leaks.
is also
Like,
here at Lone
next
Wolf.
game.
What is going on today?
I think that as far as in regards to getting storm tags and to be able to go on the aggression outside of the storm bases, this is one of the best moves to make. And Clix, Iamzo, and Higgs, I don't know if they were planning on going
Iamzo,
onto
Higgs,
Phaser's
and Higgs are
trio
not doing great.
after Peterbot.
I think they're trying to be too aggressive.
And unfortunately, I think it was just a little bit of too many resources for not that much of a payoff. One elimination, and then they use all these mats and all this time as well. You got to think about it. Time is a resource. It definitely was a fun play to watch, but I don't know if it was the correct play to make.
That's okay. You know, it's fine. It's all good. We don't have to worry about it because, you know, we have more games to entertain us here in NA. So, Casters, take us back in.
Who would have thought games would fly by this quick? We waited so long for this FNCS Grand Finals, Monsoon. Already, we're almost 75% of the way through.
Yeah, it's going by really quickly here. 3 games in, basically, as we're queuing up for this next one here shortly. And just like that, we'll start to look to crown a winner. But the competition is now officially gotten closer, Jacob. So let's see who's going to really take it away this time.
All right. I wouldn't doubt that Pete lands on Poyo one of these games. I don't doubt that happening.
In the lead, but Kanata, Bolton, Rapid might be that wild
Lux?
card, that factor no one saw crashing through the storylines here today, and they're just trailing behind.
Yeah, and it's, you see at the top of the leaderboard, I kind of saw it. I was like, okay, it's only 12-point difference, but where's the breakdown coming from?
Shadow Muzz coming off the win.
Eliminations. Agers, Acorn, Poyo, Ritual, Cold, Peterbot. They have 57 to 54 eliminations, tied at 291 placement points overall.
Why? Because he wins too much?
Placement is the eliminations that they're lacking just a little bit. And then in 4th place on that leaderboard,
I don't really get why so many people hate on Pete. He's obviously the best Fortnite player in the game. Like, you can't deny that. He has the most FNCS wins, you know.
But with 4 games left,
It's Clicks, Clicks is in like 9th.
More than enough time. You can see it almost anywhere. If it's the NBA Finals or the Super Bowl, that 2 minutes that is left on the clock feels like an eternity.
Yeah, Patrick Mahomes does that.
Shadow and Sphinx, they might pull the upset that will send Booga, Threats, and Craze out of globals, right? Like, we were looking at things.
This is not a good drop. I don't understand why people are still winning here.
Tournament to take to kind of start the day off, but couldn't be further from the truth.
Well, there goes that team.
The action unfolding here. Aoxy, Jojo, Fishy Pikes, they've learned their lesson coming out of the previous rounds here. They look to make quick work. They do just that here to kind of send us on our way.
Another fight happening.
Early fight from the Spire. Even the Spire NPCs is dealing some damage onto these players that are kind of just tunneling around, just trying to get these eliminations. It does look like Blue is dropped by himself, but he evens up the tides with a knock onto Monty. So it's basically him versus Scuffy's in a 1v1. He misses that first shot. Now he's just down to his last one in the Outlaw, but he goes down to Scuffy's. But you have to be careful. Top left of the map. The Spire's making some noise, and you know who else lands here.
Yeah, I was going to say, though, you know, with missing those shots like that, you almost deserve to not walk away successful there. Like, Scuffy's team just managed to somehow find his grip and then clutch that one out big time. And you see Sphinx and Shadow just lurking.
It's in my featured channels, Roman.
Missed opportunities.
If you click on my channel and scroll down, you'll find it.
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual back to the brutal boxcar. Business as usual for them. It's almost now the bigger question is, what more can they do? They've already turned their sights on Acorn's team yesterday. They came in today and almost
give away that we're just search trading. Right? We're carrying 18 minis and only a Gray Spire AR. Come on.
Very, very standard games. But Jacob, look at this. Look at this lurk.
Yeah, it might have been a missed opportunity to get the XP, take down the Spire yourself, but
actually, I think I have a command.
You gotta imagine after hearing the fight, knowing the Spire took some time to get taken down, now Shadow actually gets visual of where they're at, seeing Monty using that surf cube to fly across the land. this is where they're going to continue this chase, and I'm not sure when they're going to call it quits because they also need damage just like everybody else.
Yeah, they got to initiate this one quickly here, or they will
Shadow is
lose
good, Lou.
plenty of time here. This team is just slowly opening the gap as far as the distance, and yeah, Cole bends behind that mountain.
Wait, no, he doesn't.
So
He doesn't have a
they'll be out
shotgun.
of sight and out of mind for a little bit here, and they might have really just missed their key opportunity. This could be
Weird.
the catalyst that sets them back. Oh yeah.
How do we see that guy? How did
Really
we see
looking for
him?
this one now.
And I saw them kind of looking
Here we
back
go.
at the minimap
Click
with the
6
arrows, and I'm not
Yamzo
sure
being
with the
aggressive
right side
again.
that they actually spotted them out going on the chase. Higgs and Yamzo have rotated from Supernova Academy. They're trying to isolate Cooper on the north side. This is
That
been
one's
their
supposed to
strategy
happen.
all season long. They have it uncontested, or at least they thought so. No damage onto Cooper just yet up until the tail end. Only about 30, so he reunites with Curly. Both trios converging back into one another, making sure they don't take too many early game risks. And this is what I'm talking about, the mental games that are going on with some of these teams. Everything that they practiced for up until this moment has changed for the most part. The way they're getting surged, the way they're able to push teams and getting eliminations, both of these teams for that matter.
Hey, very methodical too. Clicks continuously bringing and carrying along those extra heals for the fight too. So they're pretty much prepared for everything to happen here and unfold, possibly even go the distance in the storm. That was very interesting to say the least.
Ooh, Skittles dash.
Bryce Skittles dash.
Bryce.
Haven't quite caught a break here.
I mean,
Last two tournament
Void
days. I mean,
Kindling.
even this one here, pretty tough. Only 4 points earned on the day. Some of which just in this game. That single Elam.
Almost makes you wonder if it was this fight here that they were able to get that first knock. I only see 2, King and Void on the other side of this exchange. Not too many other players in the mini map. Maybe one far off to the east as Bryce takes a little bit more damage. No shield going to be remaining. It's a little bit of his HP gone as well.
I think Donnie
Skittles
just
just
died.
creates a path for him to return. They're going to heal up, feel a little safe, assess the situation. Is it worth fighting out this duo? And I do think it is, or at least for now. They haven't used too many materials, but the loot that they have lost in their loadout, you see a couple of empty slots. That's what they hope to gain out of this transaction.
Nice little shield crack right there. I was gonna say almost caught some toes there to King, but the Bills come out, and honestly 3v2
Shadow.
should be wrapped up pretty quickly.
Sphinx goes down.
Things are not going in Muzz and Shadow's favor, and this is what happens when you start to force the engagement, right? Almost a little too overextended, given that they were trailing behind that other team, and now Smiley, Chimp, and Salt here seem to come out ahead. This is bad though. They were already off to, one might say, a really slow start, but then losing a teammate, right? So losing a damage there that they would have otherwise gained as well is just, this is just, yeah, bad for Muzz and Shadow's trio here.
Let's look at the
Sup,
other side.
Silo.
They actually stole that spy
Kitana.
away from Reek, Cooper, and Curly, rotated back over Supernova Academy to catch one of them off guard. Gray is still there in the distance. They think somebody is going to be on the high ground. You see the Superman sprite being used to laser out the builds, and I do think they might have gotten enough. Yes, they do. On to Preston. 2 of the 3 members down. Higgs goes to clean it up. He takes an immense amount of damage. Yamzo as well.
They're locked in this
Clicks is
game.
able to save the day, get that elimination. That's the 3rd player of that trio. They're wiped and sent back to the lobby.
Rise goes down to Ozone.
Ask for a better time Siphon either. Right there to really just keep him alive for a moment. Click 6 Yamzo. They have so much ground to make up if they want to at least end this tournament with a good showing. You know, the win might be out of the question, but at the end of the day, those standings stay forever. We haven't seen him really be this off, you know, a tournament win all year. So there's going to be a time to kind of
There hasn't been much search trading, actually.
Before globals, so
I mean, like,
good stuff for globals.
5 big pots and 6 minis. 2 big pots, 6 minis.
Kind of agree with that, especially since they have less pressure than most of the teams, especially coming into day 2. Not necessarily high up on the leaderboard, so they can kind of just play a little bit more calm, cool, collected, comfortable to what they practiced. As Kanata Bolts Rapid doing the same thing, game after game, they build up, they immediately look towards this side of the map. For Blake, Diego and Oliver usually end up in a priority position on top of the mountain, trading off.
Oliver only
back
having
and
one
forth.
gun.
But Diego, Oliver, and Blake, they're the ones out of these two teams that kind of run into struggles just like this, with more and more teams from the south, from the western parts of the map that usually traverse over in their direction and end up third-partying or at least threatening their position.
Agers goes down. Whoa, what's going on over there?
They don't have much heavy mats to work with. Not sure what all's happening here in this early game, but they seem to be off the pace for end game. Jigs Trio not moving a cent.
I kind of want to look at what the scoring is.
Nah, you guys can get going. We're gonna chill here for a second.
Like what the scoring is. Oh, not what I meant.
It's not gonna be too hard for
So
them to get on out. Oliver has to be
each kill is 4
careful,
points.
trailing behind, but back on
17th
here,
you start
they
getting.
eventually had to go back for
17th
that
you start
reboot
getting
card.
placement.
Muzz gets boxed up. He is in
3,
this
3,
one, but
3,
down on
3,
Assault,
3,
he's the
3,
siphon, but
3,
he doesn't
3,
come in
3.
in time.
Yeah.
Now Shadow's
And each
gonna
kill
go
is
find
4.
himself,
What's going
20
on here?
HP, one tick zone.
Shadow
They
Muzz.
beam right through those builds
Oh
and
wow.
take them down.
Shadow
And
Muzz
that
and
has
Sphinx
got
go
to
down.
feel like a heartbreaker for Muzz,
That
Shadow, and
sucks.
Sphinx, because they are in second place.
Agers
when it
fully
comes to
goes
that
down.
global championship
Yes,
slot.
okay, so 4 per kill, and then like 3. Top 17, you start getting 3, 3, 3, 3 placement.
Second
Okay.
time today they fall in the early game here.
That sucks from us. That's gonna hurt them a lot
Coming
because
off
that's
the
no
win, that win
placement.
put them right back into the conversation, but you know what? If you're a VG Money Rise, if you're Booga Threats and Craze, you're clapping your hands, you're stomping your feet, you're sitting up straight, you know, you're feeling good about this right now. That's that immediate competition off the track now.
And this kind of almost goes into kind of, well, I think we were talking about it during group stages, to where you're in a position where VG Money and Rise, it's almost good that you have that much experience, and especially a leader like Rise, because we talked about how sometimes when you're in that position where you really don't have to do much, don't have to make too much noise on the leaderboard, just play your game out like normal. Sometimes that does something in your mental. You change up the strategies, and sometimes make a mistake. As Cole, Monty, Scuffies, they were the ones we saw rotate out of this direction. They're getting lurked on by Rapid Kanata and Pulse. They get the 3-2-1, but luckily for them, they spotted them out at the last second. Not too much game-changing damage is going to be received, so they're going to have a chance.
Acorn goes down. What is going on with Poyo's team? They're dying to like the same people.
The miss one to the top, no. End up giving it up.
He just fully dies. What's going on?
Little risk assessment there.
Poyo's
Sometimes
getting.
you gotta know when to pick and choose your battles, and with Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts so positioned right now
Peters
to
goes down
actually
again.
win the
Are
tournament
we just
here,
like trading
I don't blame
like
them
over and
for
over?
backing
I
off
don't
here.
understand. Like the 4th time I've seen Agers die to the same guy.
Especially when the zone is going in that direction. I agree with you
Cooper
there.
kills someone.
It's too much risk, not enough reward if they did want to take a fight just like that.
Be cold ritual.
Read about Golden Ritual. Kind of going back into the storm, boating around Utopia City. They're just trying to rotate.
He
As we
just goes
go
down
push
again.
Everybody from the western side of the map in. They know that's going to be the congested, the stack side overall. So they're just sacrificing some HP, sacrificing some of this damage and time overall, so that way they can get a slower rotation in, where it's not as congested as every other side. But that looked like a far pull, so it might be a little bit more congested.
Goes
than
down
they
again.
first
Okay,
hoped.
I think that's like some kind of bug.
I'm going back
Maybe
to
like
the
a
drop now.
replay bug. Okay, here we go. Finally.
This is a really interesting rotate for them to go all
Yeah, what's
the way
going on
through
here?
this
Okay, so they are
third
trading.
field.
Never mind.
It's
Okay.
almost as if, I don't know, they're trying to like
Okay, so they are trading.
get
It's fine.
onto someone's side of the map. Is it
Got
the
it.
right call? Is it not? We'll just have to find out who they end up crashing with here soon.
I'm wondering right now, like, I was gonna say, I got Bubble Shield coming out of Acorn right now. I know he's probably one of the best IGLs and thinks in and outside of that box, but Bubble Shields with no mobility, but he picks up the Surf Cube. Just making sure to stay safe. Bubble Shields alleviating some of the pressure. Tuning to Scare, just getting tagged up a lot by Curve, just basically have him drowned out. He tries to misform away, but it's just seconds too late. Tyler's there. Beats up that second down onto Magma. 2 of the 3 players of that trio are down.
Eric,
Constant's
Tyler, and
trying to
Josh
run
are doing
away.
pretty good right
It
now.
looks like they each had their fun.
So highlight for them there. Pick up some points. Visual breaks and a Minish though. Team that's very much in the conversation right now. 385 coming into the game. 122 on the day. No simple task from them. You know, earning some points here. Definitely putting up a few elims.
kind of get that priority position here. They haven't had to move too much all game long. They kind of concede that island to Agers, Acorn, and Poyo. It's not worth the risk fighting against one of the best teams in the lobby, especially when they can get mountain ranges elsewhere for their surge. Buka Crazen threats pretty quick to rotate out of Utopia City, kind of realizing the zone was pulling further and further away. They can't necessarily hold that same triangular formation that they do in most of the games when the zone pulls towards the center of the map. But you gotta trust in Buga. Threats, Craze, they're very, very quick. They're calculated about where and why they rotate out, and they immediately build one of those towers that they have over towards Utopia, extending the distance to make sure they have as much of the render distance as possible.
I'm back in the storm. I'm gonna go all the way around.
Higgs, Clicks, and Yamza go. They're kind of right in between somewhat of a deadly triangle, right? You have Acorn's team up top. You saw Peterbot's team not really too far off, kind of playing this outside Eastern rotate too. So you have to wonder, this is definitely the right call right now to start repositioning back into the zone here.
Yeah, this is gonna probably end up being bad for
I remember taking the rotation yesterday. They found an elimination on that team using the zip line. Luckily for them, nobody floating around. They get over the Foxy Bridge, underneath the island. This is where they're kind of hoping it kind of pulls in their favor, but you see it goes a little bit more towards the south, kind of forcing Agers, Acorn, and Poyo off of the island in the direction of those mountain ranges between G Money, Rise, and Aviv. They haven't had too far of rotation so far in this game, landing over towards Outpost. They did get that one elimination. The only question mark I have for a team like this is what is their Storm Surge like overall?
Strategy yesterday was to just play slow and steady. They were one of the few teams that I think were doing, you know, just fine, kind of exchanging rifles, not necessarily jumping onto players. But look at the feed. Agers finds Clicks with a quick knock.
He's not carrying a shotgun. That's the second person I've seen not carrying a shotgun.
We knew that Agers team was obviously securing.
Getting like third because of Oliver, but like he picked it up. So,
Island there. It's that top-down vertical view that's picked up. Back in the game here.
100 below.
Wow. I was waiting for it to update. I thought it was going to kind of fly upward, but 146 below the damage threshold. Another game where they're not able to find their footing in terms of being able to accumulate that damage. And then you include the fact that this game, unlike some of the others, is pulling far towards the south. So they're not even really able to get a track on some of these teams that are trying to beat them on the rotation. Up above, they have to watch out. Across the water, they have to be wary of another team, even on the mountain ranges. Luckily for them, they hop, skip, and a throw away from the zone where they can easily find their spot in with just one dash.
Yeah, they've used a lot of dashes, though. They've just continued to kind of replenish it on the way. So that's just showing you how dangerous of a spot they found themselves in. Not even just being below the surge, but just almost out of pocket, out of position. Acorn Poyo Ragers much more comfortable than their counters. Look at this. They just can't catch a break. Cold Ritual and Peterbot back and forth, almost like a tug of war when it comes down to their positioning in the lobby.
Peterbot has won the title all 4 previous times that he has led after day 1.
And situate themselves back into it, but I thought for a moment there we would have seen an early knock.
Looks like Ziamzo, Rapid, Bolts, and Kanata are fighting.
They're below the damage threshold. They went after the first team they saw. Coincidentally enough, that's Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts. And it's active surge, 25 damage every 7 seconds. You almost got to pop double minis just to give yourself a chance at 50 shield. You see huge.
Not a chilling too. They're all like full health.
And Yamzo as well. Higgs is the only one with HP intact. He's trying to pop those bigs, but they have not gone ahead.
520 above. 490 above. Okay. Yeah, they're not getting anywhere. Kanata needs to kill him. Yeah, that's what I like to see. W Kanata. Higgs. Oh yeah, GG's. Wow.
Couldn't catch a break and their team fall once.
Why did I have Clicks in the top 10? Had my 5th. I had way too much faith in them. He gets put in the box. Super Reed Curly.
They found a team just sneaking around. It's just kind of one of those wonders to where when you're below surge, you have less and less control over your game plan. You're almost forced to fight teams no matter who you are on the other side, no matter what position they're in. And on the other side, Cooper, Reed, and Curly, they're able to sit back,
Kanata,
relax.
Bolts, and Rapid are like on like that giant building in there, and they're chilling. Reed, Cooper, and Curly are the first team to get 3 second places in a row in a FNCS final. Wow.
Recoups here. Only 184 above though. They will have to fight here. Another team jumps in from behind them. It's a full team hop. And
That
Cooper
sucks.
forced to misform. Luckily, they do have control of all these builds here. He'll escape for a second. Somehow, Curly buys a little bit of time and not long enough here.
Well, that didn't last
Right now.
long.
Can he
That
at least
sucks.
get one of these trades? No. They secure the loot back off. This is bad.
There's so much surge too.
Yeah,
That
that was
sucks.
the quick stat curse. I'm gonna call that one the quick stat curse.
Yeah.
They were just talking about Cooper, Reed, and Curly. 3 back-to-back second places in a row. The first time ever at NAC finals. A blink of an eye, it goes away. Reed and Curly just get down, knocked out of the competition for this game, leaving all the pressure onto Cooper. And there's not even very many placement points and points overall dished out through these teams in this game, so they have a mountain to climb if they want to continue to keep their position in the top
Cold
10 intact.
Richie, doing good.
Stats guys, like, let me show you why it's not 4 back-to-back-to-back. Oh man, it do be like that. Look at this, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual positioned above Kanata's trio. Okay, anything can happen here and now. Here comes that lobby focus.
I just don't play build that much, but I'm probably gonna play more build next season though.
Yeah, I feel bad for any team that's like in the backside of the zone. Especially, you see how stacked it is on the southern edge. Kanata finds the open.
Kanata went like all the way down. He's like on ulti low now.
Chances of getting that one as Bolts does get the cleanup. Even Cold getting it down onto Fleeks. They go in for the loot. They're having to use their misforms. Rapid from one side, Bolts from another. They had to take 2 different approaches, try to get anything. I'm not sure what they were able to grab because I know Aviv's team also moved into the mix to try to steal away what wasn't theirs. Sometimes it might be worth the risk. HQ sneaking around, gets that first shot onto Rapid. Oh my, Rapid, well-placed shot to fire back, gets the elimination.
It is zerobuild FNCS, I'd win. I don't know about that,
You
but
just don't
I
know
appreciate it.
you know what's waiting for you on the other side of the wall. That's crazy.
Ooh, look at that zone pool.
There, Kanata's trio was almost flirting with not enough damage on the surge numbers there, but they put up the damage. They find that elim, and you know what? They buy themselves a little bit of time, but that overall was a very close one here for Game 9. Remember, folks, after this, there's just 3 more games ahead of us, then we're going to crown a champion. Kanata's team is in the race right now. Rise, G-Money, and Aviv.
Peterbot goes down.
Too far off, depending on how big of a game
Peter goes
they
down,
play
but
here.
Cold gets the
We are
kill.
inside the
Oh,
top
they're
15.
rezzing him
Peterbot's
around.
gonna fall
They're
here.
done.
Cold is gonna find one, but they are gonna get the pickup just in time. But the laser comes through.
That's
and it's
Kanata, Rapid,
Kanata's
Bolts.
trio from the low ground
Kanata goes
looking
down.
as well,
No.
but they were distracted, and then they get eliminated
That sucks.
instead.
Cold with the
Just a
outlaw.
wild series of events from game to
WT, man.
game to game. This FNCS final, they really
Cold just
dodged
dropped
one
all of
there,
his
able
loot.
to get the revive. And here comes that kind of crash play right before it happened. This is what happened with Peterbot going down. It was Aaron on the other side. He got the down onto Peterbot. Luckily though, Ritual and Cold in the same box.
Wait, what,
Hip to
8
hip.
years?
They're able
How
to
long do I
save the
stream
day.
for? Today I'm probably gonna end at around like 8:45. Maybe like another hour and like a half
It's really dependent on where this next zone
to the
goes.
end of the
This is
FNCS
perfect.
today.
Boyo, Agers, Acorn. It's like they're playing a completely different game. Oh, we tune in with them. Silence, comfortability, high ground.
On height again. When they were on height, they won.
Like, it's just so different of a situation when you put yourself in the key positions to succeed. You really do see a night and day
They got
difference.
chopped.
You almost feel it in the ambience and the atmosphere.
Bolts,
But here's something
Bolts
that's
and Rapid.
once again
Greater man.
a fact.
I'm gonna
Bolts
be a
and Rapid
junior.
are standing, and it's just a matter of time of whether or not they can go the distance here. One of the few
Bolts and Rapid are still alive.
can be the champions here. Come to end of this. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual well above the damage threshold, so this is just all about consistency and end game placements now. But Peterbot fighting his way through the make round. We know what that means. He's here to hunt. Cold dashed into that box too. They were ready to commit.
Peterbot just yoinks him in. with the exotic outlaw, making sure that they're able to grab the body. That's why you see sometimes he just sits in some of those boxes, not necessarily to get all the damage in one shot, but just to pull them closer and closer. That way Ritual Gold can try to
My
clean
license
this
yet?
one
No,
up.
I'm
19 above the
16.
damage threat. So you talked about Bolts and Rapid being a duo. They're almost, like, I think 31 points out of first place to start
Turned
this
16
game.
like a
And
couple
it's
months
because
ago,
of
so.
opportunities like this. When one of them goes down, they never call it quits. Rise, G-Money, and Aviv talk about trying to get to the global championship to start this game. They were in
This is a
third
good game
place on
for
the global
them.
championship leaderboard qualification.
Zone pulls back
Outside
towards
of
Island.
Sphinx, but then
I mean,
going down
Acorn,
early,
Poyo,
definitely
Agers
turned the
again.
tables.
This is
Placement
another
points
good
coming in.
good
I
game.
think they might have stolen
They're on
this one
height.
back.
Hate to say it, but someone's got to stop Agers, Pollo, and Acorn. If you don't,
Ritual goes down. When did that happen? Rise goes down.
Ritual's gonna fall here to their exact hands. The pressure coming up from top down is just
Rapid is
too
still
much to
alive.
handle. And Peterbot forced into the ultimate low.
I don't see
Now,
both, so it might just be Rapid.
literally
Only watched him
burning
today.
through his builds here,
Almost
and
2
they
hours.
just aren't comfortable enough here. What was looking like a lead being built is just getting sniped away now by Agers and the team.
And look at Agers. Look at
Agers,
where Agers
Poyo,
is
Acorn.
focusing
Every time they get height, they win.
Right on the cold, right on the Peterbot. He's looking like they were trying to get aggressive.
Peter's going in.
That got cut short, burning through the materials. Now with an open opportunity, Scuffies is going to be the name on that list that gets checked off. Peterbot gets
Donnie goes
the
down.
Memphis
The
focus
curve.
down. He has some time
Curve,
in
that means,
zone,
like,
but
Josh's
also
team.
makes him a target. That green mist, it's like a beacon from a lighthouse.
Peter's
Agers,
kinda
if
low.
continue to put that pressure down from
Poyo, Agers, Acorn are just on height. They're just chilling. They're just shooting down. Nobody can bird up or anything. They're too high. No Rise, but G-Money and Aviv are still alive. They're kind of chilling. In Storm, ooh, there's people on them now. Getting shot from height. Oh, G-Money's right there. No? Ooh, King's Dash shouldn't do anything. Peter goes down. Of course, it goes up a mountain. Every time every time Poyo, Acorn, and Agers, every time they're on height, the zone goes over a mountain. The easiest win for them again, bro. Cold is still alive. Yeah, Clicks is playing Grands. He's not doing very good.
This game monster is a solo. I know what you're thinking. They already have 3 wins so far. Could a 4th be out of reach? Nah, it's definitely within their grasp, and they're dropping
Poyo,
down to take
Agers,
it.
Acorn. I mean, there's.
Poyo, they know what
I mean, they
position
win.
they're in. Ozone
Cold,
taking damage.
kinda.
He goes
Cold
down
is going
below.
off though.
2 solos left on
Oh,
the
only
low
attacked
ground.
10 Chug Jug.
Curve is next on that list.
Cold is just going. At this point, he's like, yeah, you guys might win the game, but I'm here to win the war. He's going at it, finding points. Finally, now he gets taken out of 3rd place.
Yeah, I mean, easiest win for Poyo, Agers, Acorn again.
On a run of a century. Curve may have gone to the top, but it's only a matter of time. There it is.
That's the second time today
They do it once again.
that when Poyo, Agers, and Acorn are on height, zone pulls like over a mountain, so they get insanely lucky. Wow. Crazy.
Of that game and dropping down Cold, Peterbot and Ritual outside of the top 2, denying as many points as they can. That's the only
Clicks
way
teammates,
they could
Iamzo
win
and
the game, but
Higgs.
throughout that endgame
Higgs is
monster,
what used
I
to
was
be
watching
Batman
Agers,
Lugo.
and he was just targeting Peterbot and Cold down below, from hard mats to the wood, from inside of the zone to the outside. He did not
Well,
give
Foil's
up
gonna be in
on
burst.
trying to take down that team.
Yeah, right there.
And Kanata kind of died early, so 3rd. I mean, it's probably gonna be G-Money's team in 3rd. Depending on the kills. Clicks is gonna go down a lot.
Is just paying off in dividends. I mean, clearly, it's just preparation meets the best skill, right? Like this lobby has to offer, and their strat is so consistent. And for them to win another game, that's just insane. You don't see that on NA very often.
Yeah,
4 wins.
Game wins so far for the team. You have to imagine with 101 points throughout that game, they have to be in 1st place. But I only trust Zeke to let us know.
I'm gonna pass
Takes
out.
his
I'm gonna
bunnies
pass
for
out. It's
what?
fine. Hold on, 1 moment. All right, I'm good. All right. Oh my gosh. So I think the record we've seen in a Grands is like 6 BRs, right?
Yeah.
We are reaching critical mass here from Poyo, Acorn, and Agers. Guys, it's crazy that like whenever they go on to win these games from high ground, it always looks like the exact same way. they just have control. They have so many mats. They've taken literally everything at their disposal, and they've like min-maxed the efficiency, the usage of what they have, the builds, the heals, the ammo, the locations. It doesn't matter where zone's pulling. They are ready to strike at the perfect time. Oh my gosh, Kelly, we have to see 2 more wins from them, right? If we get 2 more wins, I'm gonna lose it. I'm gonna lose it.
What up, Bam?
We do need 2 more wins,
Yo.
although I do want to correct myself. I agreed with you there. And actually, Toyota today got 8 victory royales over the 2-day span for Asia. So I do think that they hold the record for the most victory royales in a major finals.
By
But
Toyota.
Toyota
Toyota was,
are definitely
I think, the
doing their
person
best
that
to be able to
1v1
get up to
Peter
that number. They're not
at
gonna be able to
Pro-Am
get 8,
and
but
beat
they
Peter
could
by like a lot.
potentially get close enough. Poyo, Agers, and Acorn, we've seen them do this time and time again, being able to control the high ground so easily so that it almost looks like there's just a solo player on the high ground, whereas Agers and Poyo are down below getting those eliminations, because that's where they've fallen just a little bit short of Peter-Bot's trio from day one. They may have the placements, but they need those elims, and that's exactly what they brought.
I swear, their wins, it seems like they're getting assists from like all of these mountains. I feel like Zeke was right? It kind of feels like deja vu. Every single time we see one of these wins, there's like one of these snowy mountains next to them.
Exactly.
And they do such a good job of utilizing it and making
Yeah,
sure
they do a
they're
good job of
obviously
utilizing it because they get on height.
off of that natural terrain over
Not
there.
enough to do.
But yeah, it's just rinse and repeat every single time. I mean, Acorn's just kind of holding it down up there, making sure they make the right rotations. He's like, guys, give me all of your heals. And Agers and Polio just go crazy.
Guys,
What?
you have to see these standings. You have to see the standings.
We're not gonna break this
we're doing
game.
now.
We're gonna do it now!
1 point? By 1 point. Ooh. Kanata's still in third. Okay, well, I didn't get a lot of time to... didn't get a lot of time to really see what happened, but we'll come back to it. Alright, let's switch streams because I know they're gonna go to ad break. Let's look at leaks for next season. That's crazy. Alright, so first look at map changes. Probably in like Demon's Domain area. That's a new POI. Okay. New weapon gameplay. So basically like a quad launcher. Yeah, okay, so that's basically like a quad launcher, okay. Scene for a weapon trailer. Oh god, that was loud. Okay, so that's like the quad launcher thing. Huh, okay. Fortnite trailer. This is the thing that was teased. It's not going 320p. Okay, so what is that gun? I saw like the thing in the lobby. I don't know. It's like a weird looking AR looking type thing. Looks maybe like the Warforged AR. That's actually what I was trying to think of. Maybe like a little bit like that. Power Rangers, that shotgun. That looks like a crazy souped up pump. That's gonna be interesting. Take a look at the map right there. Okay, interesting. Power Rangers, okay. Leaks. Power Rangers, Halo. Team for name Shock and Awesome. Shock and Awesome. Okay. That's interesting. Shock and Awesome. What is that? What is that supposed to mean? Shock and Awesome mean. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so let's Sheena. It's not a lot of leaks. I thought there were more. I'm not gonna lie. That's I got this shit. Why is that all the way down there? Okay, I saw this. The Season 4 map changes is gonna be like that area. So that box cards, Utopia, Canyon's Crossing, Demon's Domain, all this is gonna be changed. That'd be a cool map change.
keep doing this.
Alright,
But
leaderboard.
after that last game, okay?
So Agers in first by 1 point.
We are
Peter hadn't even
still
won a game yet.
1 point difference.
Muzz is in fifth.
We
Visuals.
started the day.
Wow, all of
and
this
we
stuff
thought, oh,
just
Pollo,
did not
you know,
change.
they're 100
Kanata's still in
points
third.
behind Peterbot, you know, is the
Aviv, G
is
Money,
the
and
Pollo
Rise
versus
up in
Peterbot
fourth.
dream alive, and yes, it's very much
Kanata's
alive
in
because they
third by
started the game
quite
with a
the
VR,
margin.
they closed the distance, and now we're just going back and forth, guys. I cannot believe it. And to think all of this happened because you think, oh yeah, Pollo's far ahead. No. In that last game, Cold has to solo clutch his game. Third place, 10 elims as a trio. And that's what's keeping them alive right now.
We got a little taste of it yesterday. Game number 3, Cold solo clutched once again, and just time and time he is able to do it. Honestly, Peterbot and Cold are able to bring out these incredible solo clutches, and that's why even without a single victory royale compared to the 4 that Acorn's trio has, they are just 1 point behind them. It does not matter if this is a trio competition. You can make it a duo, you can make it a solo competition, and these players are able to hold themselves up the leaderboard through eliminations, through sheer will force. They're able to do it so many times.
I mean, we're just getting spoiled at this point. This is crazy. I don't even know what to say half of the time. It just, how are these trios kind of doing this? I mean, we're seeing solo clutches across the board today, but to be the one to go ahead and keep your team alive, right? As you can see,
I mean, like, this is
Peterbot
just
went
like
down
what is
in
this
10th
zone?
place. Cold is left alive as a solo from
Cold went
10th
off.
place and ends up clutching up that 3rd place spot. Absolutely incredible. So I mean, that's such a long time to live as a solo. It's crazy that he's kind of able to do that. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I mean, it kind of feels like we should just be wrapping up the day right now, but we still got 3 more games. Like, how is that possible?
Oh man, I don't even know. This fight at the top is so insane, but you cannot forget they've already qualified to the global championship. If we turn our attention back to the standings, we're looking at a top 4 finish. We saw the last game Muzz was in that top 4, but because of this last game, they placed 28th with no elims. They get eliminated, and then Aviv, G Money, Rise, they jump in, they swap places. This is literally going to come down to a wire in top 4. And that's before any other trio who's already qualified decides to make a play for some of those higher end spots. Guys, what is going on? This is so close everywhere.
NA wanted to make sure that you were ready and anticipating the
What's up,
global
Carson?
championships. They
He's
wanted to
losing,
put
Dom.
on the show for
Clicks.
everyone
Clicks, Higgs,
to
and the
keep those
Yamza.
hype levels up, and that is exactly what NAC is doing, especially when you are within consideration of
Clicks,
Kanata,
Higgs,
Rabbit,
and the Yamza are not doing good
currently
at all.
sitting in 3rd place with 525
They're in, like,
points.
8th, I think it is.
Almost, but confirmed that they will be making their way to the global championships. But like you said, Zeke, with 3 more games to go, so much can still change. But what we know is not going to be changing is Bolt's and Rapid's ability to be able to make it to the end game every single time.
I tell you what, though, right? They kind of maintained that streak of getting top 8 right there. There was a little bit of a slip up, placing 11th place right there. But you know, I'm gonna be a little greedy today, right? We got a 1 point difference between Peterbot
Maybe,
and Acorn. You know what? I want Kanata in the mix.
I
I
am
want
in
him to
the-
win this
I don't
next
know.
game, and I want it to be even closer at the top. Not between 2
Middle,
teams.
let's see.
but between
Who's in
3.
last?
Bro, just think, right? If we get
Eden, Carillion, and Jig Jr.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
even know. I don't know what that means.
Yes, I'm changing the script right
But
now.
Carillion
Casters,
is
get ready.
last.
Yeah,
That
save me.
is-
I have to change the script. I'll
That
be right back.
sucks. Because Carillion is, like, apparently really good.
Well, the script might be changing here, folks, because Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts are one of those teams that are also vying for a global championship spot. One more good game. They are so far ahead, away from that 3rd, 4th, and 5th place team.
Yeah, and it's crazy because you look at the standings, it's not even like they had a bad game. They still had an 11th place with several eliminations. It's just that Cold played incredible. Let's see what's going to happen here, though, for game number 10.
Game 10. When's it gonna
Major
happen?
three
When's
finals,
Peak
game
gonna
10
land
is
on
here.
Poya?
This is
We
the
know it's gonna
back
happen,
half
right?
Of the end of the tournament, Jacob, and you know, I just want to once again highlight how exceptional that clutch by Cold was, because we couldn't have a 1 point competition if it wasn't for how well he managed to play in the end there. And you know, it's just the story's writing itself, right?
He's the
Yeah, I
first.
feel like everybody that's
Poyo,
in contention has
Agers,
their solo
and
lows.
Acorn
Agers
by
from the
1
first
point.
place team. We just saw Cold. We were talking about
Peter
Rapid.
Bot is in
There's
second.
so much on the line here because even the prize pool first to second place is almost $100,000 difference. So there's just so much on the line, which includes those global championship spots.
Plays
Which
Clixon,
leads me to kind of
eighth, I think.
start the conversation of, you always talk about first place landing on second place or vice versa. Now imagine the lead is so far ahead from
He's just
Booga
dropping
and the
in,
next
bro.
best team
I don't
underneath.
understand why people land
Maybe
here.
they start to control their own destiny.
That's exactly what I was thinking. When are these other teams gonna just go out there and take note of what the best of the best are doing? I mean, very clearly, you know, Fortnite's almost evolving. It's becoming the norm that you can just go ahead and do plays like that. Not only is it interesting for us, the spectators, but it is best interest for you, the player, too. So yeah, Booga Threats and Craze really want it. I mean, it might just make sense. Hey, Aviv, G Money, you gotta go.
Let's
Rapid
not get a mountain
Bulls,
zone.
You know what?
That'd be great.
Right? Like
So like the
gotta
team
stop
on height
these
just
other
doesn't
teams, too,
automatically win.
if you want to make it to globals. That's the most prestigious thing that's on the line here, besides, of course, the trophy.
Just 3 more games to get that job done, Monster. It sounds like a lot, but it truly really isn't. Just 3 different opportunities. You can't make too many mistakes. Eliminations are a must, as Neko. Liam and Zabi over at the first order. They do have 2 eliminations so far, so they're not able to take down the full trio. Somebody around here might be floating around trying to get those reboot cards, but at least for them, they were not only able to get the 8 points for the eliminations, push that team out, and give themselves a chance here to start to loot up and play out the full game
Acorn
and
going
not
on,
waste any
going
time.
over towards here.
Acorn spent a lot of time fighting his team the last game, just kind of lurking about. Seems like he might be looking to set things up very similarly, but Power Blue's onto this time, not playing that water's edge, sticking hip to hip a little bit more closely, given how quickly they were sent back to the lobby last game.
I see him though. Yep, I would say I see him there. I saw the 3 different arrows. Acorn, your green does not blend in well enough. Luckily for them though, he disengages on out. Tries to go ahead and play with the rest of the team. Probably just
Click's fighting already.
like what he has, but
They're fighting
Click's
Pete.
Yamzo and Higgs again,
Oh,
back-to-back games,
uh-oh.
get aggressive, but it's Peter Bot. It's Click's, Higgs, and Yamzo
Uh-oh.
versus Peter Bot
3v3.
over Ritual. They took the fight on over to Brutal Boxcars, and they reached that quickly because of the railing.
I'm trying to figure out why. What's going on
Yeah,
here?
exactly. Like,
Where's the
Click's,
personal vendetta in this
yeah,
one?
Click's, Higgs, and Viamzo have been way too aggressive this entire tournament. They're in 8th place, and they're gonna go key the best team in the lobby. I don't understand.
And they're just here to mess around, putting some tags down. Nothing really turned out from it just
Okay,
yet.
now they're not really
I
fighting
doubt they
anymore.
stick around much longer.
Like, I know Poyo is technically winning, but he has gotten 4 wins, and 2 of the wins today has been because of zone. They are trying to fight. I don't understand.
But this
Like,
is where it gets a little dicey and even a little risky for Clixy, Yamzo, and Higgs if they want to continue to push this. Inside of those buildings, there's so many twists, turns.
Clix's
places
in
that
ninth,
they can
not even
hide, that
8th.
It is a little bit of a risk to continue to fight it in, but it does
A
look like
little
it's the
bit,
only
yeah,
thing
okay.
on their mind right now.
yeah, they just really want to fight Pete.
That whole tweet about Peter Bot's gonna fight everyone who wants the Spire. Well, guess what? We want the Spire. We're not good with just top 10. Clicks and team want to fight for more. You gotta respect him for trying to do so. Here it is. Clicks goes in, but Peter Bot.
Why did we switch
is
off of
smart
that?
and sharp. A big tag there is gonna put Clicks on the back foot. Now it's Peter Bot's world.
I mean,
This was a huge part of Clixy, Yamzo, and Higgs' game plan up until Peter Bot decided to land over here. They fought for this fire. They pushed teams out. And now the tables have turned coming into this major, and they're trying to stick back to what works. And that's just fighting for the brutal boxcars while taking their loot. They didn't take too much time to try to make this play happen, but you said it yourself, the tables have been turned from one well-placed shot out of Peter Bot. He
I don't even know.
does it again. Down goes the Yamzo from one side to the next,
Okay.
keeping everybody on their toes.
38.
He continues to deal a huge amount of damage. Yamzo's gonna be the next one hurt. Clicks is now
I mean,
by
like,
himself as a solo
again,
3.
why are we-
Meanwhile,
why are we-
Sarah out, and they're ready to take a bite
why
out
did
of
we
him.
wanna
He's
fight
fighting
that?
back. First shot's gonna land, but it's not going to be
Why did
enough.
we-
You gotta give him an A for the attempt, but you gotta give Cold, Rich One, Peter Bot an S+.
I can hear Faxity now yelling King Peter Bot and all the other kind words. You know what it is and what time it
funny.
is. Peter Bot Ritual and Cold are here to play, and you know what? That's 12 more points for them as well. You can scratch that 1-point lead. It is what it is, and that's a crazy fight. And you know what? You have to, again, respect Clicks, Higgs, and Yamzo. They need to do something more, because what's happening up north against Reet, Cooper, Curly, that isn't working either, right? So to mix things up, you know what? It is very entertaining, to say the least.
That's literally putting it lightly, too, as HQ Leaks just trying to survive. Their duo here rotating around this side of the map. They kind of led over towards the left, the snow biome over on the same southern pool. And you can see why there's not a lot of loot down there, especially since the team is on top of the mountain. But HQ is fighting for his life. Only one build left on the both of them, because Leaks is in the same spot. But he lands a good shot on the blue, dashes out. He's trying to create distance while his teammate Cube is able to actually get the knock. Not able to clean it up, though. That's going to be the biggest difference maker.
Yeah, got to get those finishes, but this team does live to see another day. Just overall having a pretty tough tournament day, though. See those points not
That's
necessarily
crazy.
in their favor.
Well,
Yeah, I like this right there. He was able to get the down and just... Unfortunate enough, he knew they were right behind him. Low HP, not able to clean it up. Has to use the misform to disengage, but I do like the scrappy attempt to try to survive a fight like that, which they are going to. Shadow, or I should say Curve, Tyler, and Josh trying to fight from the southern end of Canyon's Crossing on top of
I don't
that
understand
mountain
why
range.
Clicks
This is
would
where it
want
gets a
to
little
key
dicey,
that.
because if
Like,
you haven't prepared for this fight, you are
I
gonna
get that
burn
you
through a
have
lot
like
of your
a big
materials very
ego.
quickly.
At the same time, being aggressive isn't
They're just
working.
cranking up
Like,
right now, but look at this little side angle here from Curve. Oliver OG doesn't even look to claim it. He just gets down with his team, but they have control of these builds. I'm not sure what all is going down here, but Oliver OG and Blake are losing the plot right now for sure. These are not their builds. How do you end up in all of this just territory of your opponents on a single
there's a lot of
layer?
fighting happening in this Grands, and I'm here for it.
There
There like hasn't been like any surge trading. It's just been a lot of,
Oliver OG fighting back
well,
now.
Kanada's team has been surge trading a lot, but like there's been a lot of fights, like actual
Right
fights.
at the edge of the Canyon's Crossing, so there's gonna be no one here to bail them out.
There's going to be a third team. I wonder if anybody even saw them kind of lurk in, because I know they're crouched down in the distance. Trying to sneak up, trying to figure out where that opening to the cover is at. Yep, they're striking now, and they get good damage onto Josh. Tyler was already weak, so if they continue to push in, that will be the opening that they're looking for. But you hear the misform come out, they're just going to disengage on out. Blake and Diego also creating a little bit of distance so they don't get pushed out of here. But overall, the full trios up on top are going to be safe, and Curve and his trio down below are going to create some distance.
Watching it all go down. Oliver OG, Diego, Blake pushing to try to finish up what they started here. Those fresh builds, that's all the information they need right here.
Well, I don't think Clicks is gonna be in 5th place like I predicted. I shouldn't have. Like I knew like
Good minis, no mobility though.
I should have known.
Kind of the give and
Should have
take.
known.
You kind of have
I think my predictions are doing pretty good right now, though.
Some of those dash sprites. If you don't get a cape, it's almost
For
good
now.
luck to you. Blake and them continue
Still
to go
a lot of
around the
games.
outside of this map. They kind of funnel themselves downward towards Canyon's Crossing, and they have one team behind them they were originally facing. There's another team, a 4th overall team on the other side of Canyon's Crossing, spraying into this direction. Just make it hard for either one of these two teams down below to build confidence in this fight.
Still looking though, Josh, Tyler, Curve, not here to give up just yet. Seem to have kind of regrouped, but look, no material, Jacob. Do they take the fight? Do they try to just gather elsewhere?
It's almost risky to do anything. You continue to fight, third parties are there. You disengage, third parties are there. Well, guess what? There was 4 teams. Well, let me introduce you to team number 5 on the eastern side of the mountain, and team number 6 to the southern side of the mountain. Might as well just converge on this location, which surprises me because you see the zone pulling all the way towards the north. You'd think players want to be proactive to try to get there, but nah,
Going towards the north, let's go. Not a mountain zone.
They need eliminations. They're trying to close the gap.
Oliver goes down.
Be the first one dropped.
Curve goes down.
Credit for that one, but in the blink of an eye, he gets taken down as well. Diego and Blake are forced to fight right back.
I'm not gonna lie, you know, just
Diego and Blake have more health total.
Who's gonna come down to the canyons crossing? Who's gonna bail
Ooh,
you
cracked.
out?
That's a good
And then
shot by
everyone
Diego.
shows up.
2v1.
I just can't wrap my head around this. The zone's not even near this area, but somehow this has become the attraction point for team after team, and this couldn't be going down in a worse area because they all get to look down on you and put that pressure in. But hey, Diego, Oliver, OG come out on top. They still catch a couple elims, so it will work in their favor nonetheless.
Oh, and research trading.
And I think because of those two teams, basically one team winning out, the dust settling, the zone pulling towards
Like, at least carry a shotgun to make it look believable. You're carrying the gold pistols and then a DMR.
Haven't really been able to get your loot, your resources, and everything that you need. The island this time around
King
on over to this side of the map.
Yeah.
Kind of makes me question why
This
King
Grand's
FaZe or PXN weren't the ones to go for it. So they kind of concede it to a whole nother team on the other side, but they're still making their way
There's
over in
another
that
team
direction.
on island. Who's that team on island?
I think the way this game has been played out with Peterbot
It's not
sneaking on
Pete
over
yet.
Lone Wolf, Clicks lurking on over to Lone Wolf, they kind of are just having that double take. Maybe in the back of their mind, they're just worried
Can we switch who's
about
on
teams
island,
just hiding
please?
anywhere at all.
Ooh, crazy threats.
Kind of living in the memory of the game
Chilling over
before.
here.
You get
Maybe
caught
not
off
chilling.
like that. Definitely will do something to you.
Oh, who's on
Do you guys
island?
not see visuals right there? Oh, I was gonna say. Okay, he's behind the mountain. But of course, that visual nameplate. I'm like, wait, was he at the tree and just glanced at him?
Craze has the chance to qualify to his first.
Ooh, I like a story here. Praise has the chance to qualify.
Praise is
his
really good at the
first
game, by the way.
FNCS
I mean,
land.
most people are. Most
I'm here
people in
with it,
Grands are
along
really
with one
good,
of the
but
greats, Booga,
I've seen
Threats,
Praise.
and him, longtime teammates. They have the chemistry, and that's why Kelly kind of broke it down perfectly. They were kind of missing something as a part of
Bro,
their
who's the
team.
team
They
on
pick
high?
up Craze, and it's just new life, new resurgence.
Reed Trooper
Trust in
Curly,
Booga,
Muzz,
Threats,
Shadow,
You know he can get all the damage in the world. And
Sphinx.
Craze is kind of that clutch player, the fragger that just gets him out of some tight spots
Yeah,
like
I mean,
they
there's
did to
people
close
on
out
island.
game 1
Easy.
yesterday, or game 6.
It definitely will be a nice little storybook finish to his year's end. Can you get that first land in the books? Almost set
Easy,
up
look
the
up a
next
little bit more.
generation
No.
for the new year to come. That will be a big deal for Craze.
Surely they switched to the island.
Curly and Curly underneath the island right now. Plenty of teams kind of in the vicinity, but
Who's on the
they're
island?
just going to keep a low profile, get the recharges going as they need.
I'm actually surprised that Shrine is even still accessible.
Yeah,
Other
it's
team down below just went straight up top, kind of gave it up, left it for free. They prioritized the
Let's come out
medallion.
rapid.
That's some
Waiting.
superhero
Wait,
upgrade.
Acorn-
There's some loot that pops out of there, and then replenishing the dashes if you used any. But the zone pulled towards the north, so instead of Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts going on the hunt for their surge on each side of the
Acorn,
map, it's kinda
Agers, and
based up
Pollo
for
are
the
down at
island
Crime
north of
City?
Crime City. You can kind of see the near edge of the zone there on the bottom right-hand corner. So it is
That's
going not
interesting.
only towards the north, but to the northwest overall.
Why is
Yeah, you see how prepared they are. Like,
why is
just as
Pollo,
Kanata was kind of
Agers,
making
and
his
why
ascent
are
up
they
that
over there?
base there. I mean, so many minis, heals. Look at the base of the mountain, just everything you can really need, of course, to go for trades, go for tags.
Kana has a good pump too, and this could be a good game for them.
Agers, Pollo, Acorn, trying to make a move right now for better positioning. They're going to be in the crossfire of Kanata.
Not too bad. Going into this game, though, I want to point out Agers, Acorn, Pollo in the lead by 1. But due to that Ritual, Cold, and Peter bot fight on Eclixiamzo and Higgs, they scored 12 points. So now the lead shifts back on over to Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual in motion by 11. I'm not going to be able to keep score all game long, especially as we end towards the end game. But it just goes to show how back and forth it has been, not just yesterday.
I guess that's why
today,
Clicks
but
has
each
been
and every game,
so
each and every
aggro.
minute that
Because like
passes
there's a
throughout those
lot of
games.
points on the
And
line for
Aviv,
kills.
Rise and G Money, they're feeling that same pressure. Very, very different than their counterparts at the top of the leaderboard, but they're in 4th place. 454 points so far going into this game, and they have a little bit of a cushion. About a 41-point lead over Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx, who are directly on their heels.
Yeah, I just feel like the difference for Acorn's team is
I didn't see who was on
really
island.
their
Dang it.
ability to execute high ground. They have
They
just
actually showed
gotten
it, and I didn't see
held it. They've done it at the perfect amount of distance between themselves and the other layers. Like, they're
I
making
don't
it
even
look
know who that
very,
is, I'm
very
not gonna lie.
straightforward. I mean, we tuned in last game, and
Okay.
like I said, there was almost an eerie silence and ambience because they were on the dead side of the rotation there and with a little bit of elevation, and no one not a single team was able to give them a little bit of resistance there. So just their execution and their ability so far to play for height has been so excellent.
Uh-oh.
Peterbot with a gold pump.
Essentially one pumps him, takes him down. Another elimination, 4 more points. So depending on the eliminations, Acorn's team, 15-point lead, continuing to grow. This is where they do that trick, use the dash, use the launch pad, immediately making their way on over towards that island. And even though it's not up now, you know as well as I do, there's that little circle that knows, like, hey, he's in this vicinity. That's, I think, what they're looking for here.
800 below, yeah, right. Yeah,
something.
400 below.
Little light at the end of the tunnel. Peterbot, Ritual Cold Dough setting up right now. Let's see what's going on here with Aoxy. You've got a minute to breathe.
Just chilling around Crime City. Ooh, that was good for their surge. They were below.
Below the surge,
a little bit above.
Jacob at the Crime City.
Yeah, I feel like those... Obviously, the 3 eliminations matter, but they don't matter as much as eliminations through the mid-game.
I mean, Pete is in first place and he doesn't have a single win, where Pollo has 4 wins, and, like, they're tied.
6th, 7th zone and on. You can
it's crazy.
See that the inability to be proactive, to get surge, kind of hinders your game plan, takes a little bit less control away from the teams. 152 below, and it's falling further and further because now they have to continue to rotate in towards the northwestern side of the map to where, yes, they're going to get closer to some of these teams, but they're going to be on the heel of these teams where they have a little bit of advantage being able to look back, just like Visual Braids and Diminish are doing.
Yeah, they have proven Aoxy JoJo Pipes that they could be a great endgame team if they could just make it there.
Outlaw Oasis zone, this is interesting.
This time. Visuals, Braids, and Diminish, they have a lot of work to make up for. This is gonna be scary either way, and like we said, you gotta get to endgame first though.
That's a good refresh.
Excellent counter attack there.
Visuals has a lot of mats. He has max almost everything.
Boatload of damage, but look at the material refresh for them. This is really good too, thinking about these mountains that might come into play right now, so kind of perfect actually.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think the lobby is hoping it continues to pull.
Not a rapid bullets rotating around backside.
We go north towards this mountain.
Where's the mountain?
Towards the east, change the elevation. But
Aoxy's below by 200. Oh.
There with the shields being cracked. When I saw Storm Surge active, I was right to think Aoxy is kind of suffering below the damage threshold, trying to make his way in. It instantly gets deleted. Just a tough situation to be in, but for Visuals, Braids, and Diminish, they get another couple of points for that elimination to keep themselves in stride.
Now they're both looking over there. Ager's Pollo behind them. Over on that mountain, that's a good spot. Bro, they're gonna get high ground again.
Right now, just on the outskirts, leading with the
I don't know, Kanata both, no, they're playing too low. I mean, Ager's Pollo, Acorn might get high ground. Peter's
giving them a night
Peter's gone.
In-game performance.
Oh, that's not good. That's not good.
You could have studied that coming out of
Pete's
day 1, but
Retro does have the shotgun now, so that's good.
Easy to think that they were taken out in 2 out of their 6 runs yesterday, and they still have more victory royales in the entire lobby. And even fathom acquiring in a single tournament. This is just
that is very unfortunate. And they go straight for the finish. That is aggravating.
That's revenge.
There's a lot going on here. Oh, Reed Cooper Curly. That sucks.
Through Lone Wolf, and now Cooper is going to be stuck by himself. He's above the damage threshold.
That's unfortunate.
On multiple teams, forced towards the outside. 5-tick zone, restarting his med kit, but the audio visual skills spots him out and forces him to cancel before eventually goes down to dash. The team keeping those points in-house, making sure nobody is able to steal those away. And that's a great pick-me-up. Maybe your confidence boost deepen. You're able to take down Cold, you're able to take down Ritual, get elimination.
They have 6 kills.
So
doing good.
It might be the second half of the day, but I talked about the life-changing amount of money that is up the leaderboard, and higher you go, the more you get.
Yeah, by far the best game for them so far, as far as performances.
Ager's Acorn Pollo on high right now.
Still see a little glimpse of Muzz's team still alive. Sineto's Trio under Surge, but Ager's Acorn just again.
Jiminy, Aviv, and Mariah is getting targeted by Pollo. Team rotating right under him. Ager's Acorn and Pollo are 1 victory royale away from tying NA FNCS final record.
I mean, you're watching it potentially just roll out right
I mean,
you guys kind of saw that stat for a second. This team right here is 1 win away from tying a record that was set by Pollo himself along with Peterbot. 5 wins in NAC through the FNCS Grand Finals. Pollo, I think, wouldn't say necessarily plays with a chip on his shoulder, but in essence, baby, all the shine going on over to Peterbot during their incredible and historic run through last year, and he has proven like, hey, I did that too. I was a big part of that team that found that success, and I can do it with you, or I can do it without you.
Is it just Ritual?
This though, Ritual by himself.
Yeah, Ritual's by. Ooh, that's not good.
It's his time now to see how far can he push his.
Kanata is still a full trio. Decent Mance has the shotgun. They got a knock onto Seek. This is Donnie and Joji. This is a good team.
Right now in here, they want to maintain their
120.
for the back half of the tournament. It's about clutching up. Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid are doing just that too. These is big opportunities now to find some points. They absolutely need them. They want to be in contention for the Grand Championship here. Nicely done there. Great refresh, but no heavy mats being yielded out. I mean, at least Bolts is still cap, so not bad at all. The zone's going south. They got a long ways to go here.
Bill, Ager's Acorn not exactly on height anymore.
Looking like a perfect scenario for a team like Kanata and them if they want to
Getting
continue
focused
to
a
rise
little
up the
bit.
leaderboard,
Foil doesn't have a lot of hard mats. Donnie just killed Skittles, Bryce, and Dash. He just got his. Did Donnie really just 1v3 like a really good team?
Anybody kind of cemented as their own. Ritual somehow, some way found that elimination, staying above the damage threshold. That's the most important thing here as a solo.
Let's go, King. Let's see what he got. Ritual's still holding on. That's definitely exciting. Booga, Crazy, and Threats. How badly do they want it? They are still in this end game right now. This is surely a chip on Muzz's shoulder. Ritual looking back inside the storm. Might actually find another set of eliminations here. That's some wood builds right there. They're gonna have to break through. He finds one. That's a huge knock there. And don't forget the other one's extremely weak. And players on the sides, though, he jumps into the storm. The greed kicking in right now, but he knows that he's got the mist form. He's got nothing to worry about. The siphon to keep him up as well.
So pulls back if he just doesn't get focused. Rates diminish and visuals on a height.
Close between them two. We saw Peterbot clutches. We saw cold clutches. And now we're seeing an opportunity here at a Ritual clutch as well. Oh, well, I'm not saying I cursed him, but he just went down in defeat to Batman Joe. Visuals, Braids, and Aminish. They do have the high ground. Visuals sacrificing the HP to make sure they have a cemented position in the sky through and through. But they look to the backside of zone. That's Acorn, Agers, and Pollo. A huge threat to any team in this lobby.
When I looked away, I looked back. How did Aminish, Visuals, and Braids get high ground? I mean, that'll be a story for a different day, but game 10 might finally yield out some fresh winners here. This is going up and over the mountain as well. Take a look at how far Ritual managed to push, though. He had a couple elims. He had his chance to, of course, do something big, but the edit was a miss. For that reason, he couldn't exit out fast enough. But hey, he did get placement points as he broke into top 15 there. Pollo, Agers, Acorn opting to go to low ground. This might be a signal to the rest of the lobby that they're here to get some elims here now. We all know this is how
there goes that. There goes Richie. It's just Braids and Aminish on height.
Kanata, Bolts, Rapid still in the game right now. Being actually
Kanata, Bolts, Rapid, chilling. Agers, Pollo, Acorn. Pollo was really good loot. He only has a 2-bird. Kanata doesn't have many mats. G-Money gets a kill.
Trying to cut off that path. Their time to rotate has definitely come.
Rise goes down.
Right
Kanata is low. Kanata's being very, being really consistent, which is good.
They go deep into the zone, build some boxes, throw the med smoke down. It's a sacrifice they're willing to make because now they have priority over every one of these teams.
Right below them is Kanata's trio once again just looking up, getting a couple little chip damage in there, but Booga's team is
they have no mats.
And
Kanata's team has no mats unless Rapid does. I don't think Rapid does though because he would have dropped them some. Booga is low. Crazy run out of mats. Everyone is running out of materials. What is going on? Rapid goes down.
Another elimination, couple mats here to take on the road, but
Bolts no mats.
Bolts and Kanata are still in this game.
They need a bird.
Bolts has just been the MVP of this trio, and he is proving why. He could just get a siphon. This will give him a lot of opportunity to make some big plays, but it's Agers, Acorn, and Pollo who are just comfortably running things down low. But it seems like they might
Pollo's
run
the
out of
mats.
material.
Yeah, great plays by Kanata, though, essentially clearing the path for Bolts to move through. Front side of the zone, Misform finds him there. Medallion changing hands as well. Visual with Brazen diminished.
Boyle dealing off. Bolts. Oh, nice shot by Bolts. Ooh, unfortunate. Kanata's still alive. If he can bird, he'll be chilling. Birded. He got mats. He just doesn't need to get looked at by height, which I don't think he is. Ooh. Okay, Poyo. I mean, Kanata with a third place. I mean, that's. I mean, as a solo. Yeah, I mean, that was a good game. Visuals, braids, and diminished with the win. Maybe. It's a 1v3. There we go. W.
And the win is theirs.
They started this game 412 points, and guess what?
W.
Back-to-back games with over 100.
That's gonna do some things to the leaderboard because visuals was kind of low, and everyone was kind of like after every game was kind of just 0-0, like nobody was moving. Oh boy. And Pete kind of went down early. Poyo's definitely taking back the first. Well, actually no, because Pete got so many kills. I don't know. Oh man, this GRANDS.
Be the difference maker to throw Visuals, Braids, and Diminish up into a whole new bracket now, giving a VG Money Rise you know, definitely a run for their money, right? Like those are teams that fell a little bit early, Mud Shadow and Sphinx as well, so it's gonna be pretty competitive. Take a look at it. They were the one taking things into their own hands here. And once they took high ground, it just never looked back, right? We saw almost Agers and team concede. They took the low ground intentionally at some point, but it handed this team the victory royale in the end.
Yeah, and you can kind of see these mountain ranges that you were talking about while casting to help them control all of that game chaos. But it's a 10th game victory royale. Zeke, what are your thoughts?
Probably isn't even in the top 10, I'm not gonna lie.
Bro, this
Not
is
anymore.
where we want to be, right, Jacob? We want to be getting VRs. We want eliminations, right? If we're trying to play for one of these spots of global championships, this is what we want. And with only 2 games left to go, this is huge for the trio, right? We still have 2 games, Kelly. Anything can and will happen. Why did you say
2 more games to go for these teams. There's so many teams that are still within grasp of getting to those global championship
Diminish
spots.
as an NPC.
Fortunately for Visuals, Braids, and Diminish, they do not need to worry about that. And honestly, I don't think they need to worry about the tournament too much either. They've already proven themselves all the way back from Major 2, where they first time performing on the final stage together, had such a great performance. And then, of course, going into the group stages, getting the first victory royale out of group number 2. It hasn't been necessarily the tournament that they wanted over the last 2 days, but regardless, getting a victory royale in game number 10 is definitely going to be setting up them for the rest of the games.
Yeah, I mean, the show's just been so consistent, right? Especially when it comes to making it into the end games, and the high ground from them this game was absolutely incredible. If you go ahead and remove the name tags from the trios, right, you'd be like, oh, that's Acorn up there on high ground, but no. Visuals, Diminish, and Braids kind of proving that they can play that high ground as well, establishing it early on, making sure they apply all the pressure to all of the trios below. Incredible win from this trio.
Guys, I spoiled it for myself.
Oh gosh.
No. This win puts them in top 4. The standings after this break don't go anywhere.
That put Visuals in top 4? There's no way. That's crazy. That's wild. There's no way. Oops. That's wild. There's no way. Alright, let's go back to this maybe. I don't know. There's not many leaks. Up until that's what we looked at. Yeah, there's not a lot. This is more teaser. Instead of when I posted this. Okay. Not a lot of leaks? Is there like... Reload time 2.4, hit radius 1 meter, range 200 meters? What? Oh yeah, sprites are gonna be gone. Fortnite posted like, I sure hope nothing happens to the sprites or whatever. Just focus on the middle of them. Oh. High security fortress. What in the weird cartoon map? Not even cartoon, it's like it's drawn. It's actually really cool. Hold on. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what other leaks there are. There's not really any. Oh, I just... Bro, so that win got visuals diminished in the top 4? That is... There's no way. I accidentally ready up the Fortnite. I feel like I might have. No,
Welcome back,
that's
everyone, to the
crazy.
FNCS. That last game, Visual, Raids, and a Menace get the victory royale. Now finding themselves in the top 4. Now remember, they already have a qualifying spot. That's fine. We're also playing for money here, right? Them finding themselves up on the leaderboard also potentially means we could be sliding one spot further down for a potential
Koyo,
qualifying
visuals
spot. Either
in
way, though,
4th.
to take a look
Only
at
by
these standings,
only by 3
with
points.
2 games left to go. Look how
King in the top
insanely
10.
close this
There's
is.
no
So
clicks.
let's just
Oh
break
my
this up
god.
from 10 to 8.
Donnie moves up.
Only a
Okay.
4-point difference,
Only
right?
by
From then
okay.
8 up to
8 through 10
7.
is kind of
Now we're
like
looking
all
at,
around
like,
the
a
same.
bigger disparity, but then just kind of
Let's just actually pause this. So yeah, Acorn Pollo winning by quite a bit now, almost 40. Peter. Yeah. Visuals, Braids, and Image. That's crazy that they went up that much. I mean, Aviv, G Money, Rise, kind of like right there too, and it kind of just drops off. Booga, Threats, Craze, Muzz, Shadow Sphinx. It's still decently close. Like there's like groups. Like 8 through 10 is really close. I don't know what's under that, but 1 and 2 are kind of close. 3 is kind of like in its own little realm. 4 and 5 are close. 6 and 7 are close. 6, 7.
Give one of these
But, like,
trios an opportunity to really climb up the
It's kind of just in
leaderboard.
groups
And
of like
for the
2.
first
It's
time
weird.
this weekend, Vivid, if I'm not mistaken, we
It's
actually
like that
have a little bit
every
of
time because
a
people keep
ritual
winning.
Solo clutch, although maybe not as many points as Cold or Peterbot has gotten. Ritual still able to hold out strong when he needs to provide points for his team.
Yeah, it's great to see him kind of put up that type of performance, right? Because if you take a look at the leaderboard, the difference between them and Acorn now, 39 points, right? That gap is kind of ever so slightly creeping up. And I gotta go ahead and put some importance on this game number 11 right here, right? Because if you imagine, what if that happens again, right? Peterbot, Cold, Ritual, they go down early. Acorn, Aegis, and Polio, they go into the late game again. They get another second place, and that disparity increases even more. And at that point, you only got 1 game left to go ahead and play catch up. That's not enough. So game number 11 is very, very important, not only for the championship of this major, but then also for those qualifying spots, right? When we come back to the leaderboard, paying attention to those, right? Yeah, Aviv, G Money, and Rise, they're sitting in 5th place right now, 518 points. They're 60 points ahead of Booga, Threats, and Craze, right? Booga, Threats, and Craze, they've got to have a crazy game to go ahead and keep themselves in contention. Game number 11, Zeke, it means a lot.
Dude, it's so insane. But just think, and to, like, you know, dig maybe a little deeper too. if any of these trios, like we're talking about just Peterbot falling, right? But if any of these trios between 3rd and 5th place fall, dude, we're gonna see going into that game 12, this be that much closer. That like the pressure is on right now, Kelly. If I'm these trios, they just have to be under such immense pressure. And I've just got to, you know, tip my hat to Kanata in this last game, especially. Once again, finding themselves these placements, right? They're not getting a ton of eliminations, but they're finding themselves these placements. Bolts is just nuts, dude. And then again, Kanata to be in this game,
I want to see the placements of like Kanata's teams. I feel like they've been finishing like the same every single game.
They are so close. They are right here. They are at the finish line. They just have to make it over.
Yeah, just like for Peterbot's trio, we finally got to see Ritual pull out a solo clutch. We got to see a little bit of the same from Kanata there. Usually it's Bolts that's able to pull out the solo clutch. But regardless, when you are a top player,
I mean, they're like they finish almost top 10 every game.
You have to be able to
like 11th. That's their worst placement, but like they're finishing top 10 every single game. That is crazy.
But just I mean, we're talking about these crazy clutch games that these teams may need. Well, if you look at our teams going for those qualification spots in 3rd, 5th, 6th, and 7th place, each one of them has a victory royale. Within those victory royales, they're able to get double-digit eliminations or close enough. So we already know that every single one of these teams is capable of a 100-point swing, and that might be just what they need, Vivid.
What is below?
I don't even know what to say, right? It kind of feels like we're going in the
okay, so click Sigziamzo or 11th. Still close. Like it's 8 through 10 are kind of close now. Then stuff below is kind of
statistically
sucks.
speaking, he does have the most solo points to the first 10 games with 49 himself, quickly followed up by Peterbot with 48. So those solo clutches making a huge difference on the leaderboard. Let's see if all of these trios can kind of battle it out, stay all 3 up, and make it to the end game, and we can have some crazy game number 11.
Oh man, 2 games left to go before we wrap up Grand Finals in North America. It's fine. Everything is fine. No one's stressed. We're all happy. Everything's great. Let's get ready for game number 11. Casters, are you guys great too? Oh.
I don't know, man. I think I'm going as same as you, Monster. You might be on a cool another level, but you have been in these situations before as well. And I want to shift this conversation. If Pollo continues to play how he's playing, I think that NA GOAT debate shifts from Peterbot to him.
Whoa.
Yeah, I mean, I dropped it in the middle of our commentary like 2 games ago. Acorn's team is the best right now, but remember, they also didn't change their strategy. They have been practicing the Demon's Domain all season long, regardless.
That is true. They didn't switch drops.
A couple weeks ago or days ago, really, with the shakeup that we, of course, seen. It's incredible times now, and game number 11 sounds like it's ready.
This might be the game that Pete lands on Pollo.
It's a big time right here, Jacob. We got game.
I don't know. After like doing all that, they might not.
What Vivid is looking to as one of the critical points here for the closeout of the tournament. I think he's spot on. Not only for, of course, setting up a potential catalyst for your global championship spot, but it's really a matter of the winner at Demon's Domain. If they walk away with things, they might just have a gap that's too big to close.
Yeah, right now it's only 39 points, and we've seen gaps like that close after one singular game, but that's when there's been a lot of games left. Game 1 over, the next one begins, 12 games throughout it all. I said it's a marathon and not a race, but at this stage in the tournament, it's turning into a little bit of a foot race overall between, I want to say, the top 3 teams in the tournament include Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts in that mix as well, because just one mistake could really change things up going into the final game of the day.
Yeah, they might be 100 points away, but again, with a game buffer, they could close that gap and then be in the conversation to close out pretty strongly.
See if Clicks keys
hands of basically a mistake, right, from Cold, Ritual, Peterbot, and Acorn's trios without anything kind of interfering with how consistent they've been. It's going to be tough to ask for anything more than that, but when you start looking at the points and the way the points are being allocated right now, I mean, this is one of the few times I think we've seen Adris, Acorn, and Pollo's team, I feel like, keep up in a way that they're keeping up right now. Like, we're talking like leading, or if not, basically neck and neck with overall eliminations, which is very hard to do when you have a Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual type trio dynamic, right? Cold and Peterbot, clearly the usual leaders with the Elim game, so I just feel like they've met their match, right? This is the first time on the region as a whole we've seen two such dominant trios run away and go head to head like this.
I mean, you
They're
did ask me a
chasing
question yesterday. You
braids.
said, who is going to stop
Nope,
this team?
never mind.
Who is going to stop Peter
Right.
Bot at the incredible run he was having? I said it. I said, looking at the leaderboard, there's teams that are fighting for a global championship spot. There's teams that are out of the running in terms of the leaderboard. I said it only man himself is Poyo, but you can include Agers, you can include Acorn, but let's give a shout out to Agers. 38 eliminations by himself through these 10 games
Crazy.
so far, and it's Poyo who's on top of the damage chart, so they have spots 1 and 2 in terms of eliminations and damage, firing on all cylinders. And we were just talking about Kanata's team, kind of just play it out. You don't have to do anything major, maybe average a top 8 placing. They're finding themselves in a similar spot if they can just have one more decent game here.
Yeah, we need to create a graphic that has like a stat card with all of their pros and cons and just let me see that, because we need to put everyone side by side, man. Agers, I feel like, is just not getting the credit he's been deserving all season long, but this major in particular, he really is showing out, and as has Bolts, right? And that's what's really cool about this. We're seeing the best of the best also shine through when it kind of matters on this global stage here, but this is in setup, of course, for the global championship. I know we haven't seen the best showing from, you know, maybe Clix's trio or even Muzz in his trio in the last game, but they are still in this conversation right now. Talk about
They're
Clix's
King
trio.
another team. They're King Pump Power, which is much smarter than King Pete, but
Yeah, it almost seems like they're playing with a little bit of emotion intact. Things haven't necessarily been going their way this tournament. They've been kind of switching up their strategy, trying to get Surge from the distance, lurking up on the teams, and overall just being aggressive. And now we're turning back to the aggressive.
yeah, I mean,
nature.
they're just
We
like,
always talk
they were
about
aggressive
how
last time. They
do you
teamed
close the lead,
Pete.
but not enough games left.
It's
You
just like,
have
I don't
to
know,
go
I
on
feel like
an
they're being too
elimination
aggressive.
frenzy. That's one of the only ways, especially 4 points per elimination. Poyo, Agers, and Acorn doing the same thing. They know this team lands down here. This time around, they're able to take advantage. Good damage, and they're keeping them close by, not letting them heal up, not letting them get any motion in this fight.
Definitely a good set of eliminations right here. Remember, they have to make up a lot of points, right? Like 30 points might not seem like much, but that is a good amount of eliminations in a grand finals type setting. And if you can get them early, this is how you start to pad up your standings here and really give you a run for the top. But also think about
Here's
where
the
it
leaderboard
positions them
mid-game,
on the
okay.
map, right? Remember, we've seen this before where they stop playing these outskirts and try to
Twitch
find
lag.
themselves, you know, kind of in the line of fire of Peterbot's team or vice versa. So for Acorn, Agers, and Poyo to start
Trading.
getting around, I think it makes sense, right? You
Bolts
gotta
killed
play
visuals.
fast
I don't
and
know if
move
they're
fast.
trading with them, but
Yeah, even though we
I know they were
talk
trying to
about
like
team just
look at them.
you don't want
earlier,
to
but-
too much. We talk about not wanting to make a mistake, but for a team like
Bolts
that,
gets
you
the full
know
kill
they're
on
gonna go
visuals,
for
they
it,
might be
trying to get
fighting.
aggressive. You know they're going to go for eliminations to try to take the win back. So only time will tell to see how this game closes out. But for Rise, Aviv, and G Money, we always talk about those global championship spots. Only 2 up for grabs in this major on Central. Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid, 589 points. They start this game over Aviv, G Money, and Rise, 71 points. But for them, they're in the lead over Booga's team by about 60.
Look at a quick replay right here at Superman Laser Beam once again coming into full effect there. This fight starting to come to a close here shortly. Cyclops, Vlex, HQ pushing down Zonda. Now remember, Zonda's team was fall into the hands of Acorn and stuff kind of earlier in the day, but it seems like they kind of mixed things up, but not exactly the best strategy here as they've just gotten caught off by a different trio instead.
But 4 eliminations so far for a team like this. Good start. Depending on where you place down the leaderboard, each placing grants you just kind of unlocks more and more money. Kind of start to build that chemistry, but Blue is just hiding. They don't know exactly where he was able to disengage from, but he's peeking through that cone. They make one wrong move. He does have the outlaw, so he will be able to down 1 in quick succession, but it's all about that second one.
Look at
King
Feed.
Cold.
Ooh.
There's big elims happening right now, potentially.
Why don't we switch to
as
that
well.
instead of teams that we don't know?
All that momentum can change in a moment's eye. Poyo, Acorn, Agers getting
Ooh.
active right now. Things are starting to collide here. This is a real desperate situation for a misform to
There's
start
a
coming
lot
up. They're
going
gonna
on.
hit the reset button
All the
here.
best teams are fighting.
crisis team here. This is just outside of the contention of multiple
Yeah, I'm with the
trios
kill.
now. I'm just looking
Pete,
at the map here.
what's
Everyone's kinda
fine? Peter's still
slowed
not in
down
first.
for a second. Right
No,
now,
I think
Acorn and
Poyo is
Agers,
right now.
What in the W key are we seeing right here? Are they trying to create such a buffer between them and the opponents? Maybe they're enabling a different strategy we haven't seen from Acorn, Poyo, and Agers so far. I feel like this is definitely a little bit more aggressive than usual.
I'm thinking right now. I'm calculating. I'm like a robot. Boop, beep, boop, taking in all the information. It almost seems like they're doing that, trying to isolate eliminations as Cold. Peterbot Ritual, we saw in the feed, they were able to pick this one up on the visuals.
That
Luckily
wasn't
for
very
him, his
fair.
teammates are still alive overall, but it almost looks like Acorn, Agers, and Poyo are looking for a dead side rotate. They saw the zone shift up towards the north.
They're
all the
going
way
towards-
the west. They know every
they're
team
going-
around their POY. All the
They're
way
going
towards
right
the
towards
north, including
Poyo.
the east side.
How do they
It's
know
that
that
edge,
Poyo is
trying to
over
quick,
there?
fast, and hurry. Beat all these other
And I've heard
teams
this
from
before.
it seems like Peterbot
Peterbot's
Ritual might
coach,
have that same plan.
Raz, is like going into replays and telling them
No, I think
where
they
they
have a
are.
different plan. It's not dead side. It's let's find Acorn. There's only so many places they could be. One little false look to the right, and they would have spotted them out.
Like I've heard like the rumor of like Razaru or whatever, which is their coach, like is going into replays and telling them where they are. Like
Seems like they might have actually spotted something out down there.
there's no way to know that unless there's someone in replays that are
It's kinda hard.
checking.
It's a tough situation to be in.
Like there's
I feel like we've seen this before in group stages.
that shouldn't be allowed. You can't just tell each other, like you can't just tell the team you're coaching where the biggest threat is. Like
Not as hard to get an exit, but they see exactly the direction they are moving in. So they might not try to beeline their direction right to them, but they are going to be hovering and hounding them the entire way through.
I was gonna say you don't really have to, right? All you gotta do is hold them out, get into the kind of their directional, rotational areas, and do what you need to do from there. But map knowledge coming through for Acorn and Agers, Poyo. They go straight to the other launch pad. They veer out even further, and look, they're just going pad to pad right now. I think
G-Money's
spider
fighting.
senses are kicking in for them right now. They're
G-Money
like,
Aviv and
there's
Rise.
danger nearby. We gotta go. G-Money, Aviv and Rise though. Still
Well, they
a bit
dropped
of a
them a-
scuffle over there as
they
Acorn,
dropped them
Agers,
a
and Poyo just
down.
trying to figure out how to live to see another day right now.
interesting.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. You see this? You see this, right? They dropped the medallion from Demon's Domain. They know it. You are exactly right, Monster. The hairs on the back of their neck was sticking up. They got the chills. They said, nah. This just does not feel right. And this could be a bait. I wonder if this could be a bait possible play. Either way, they are thinking outside of the box here. I'm hyped.
What is going on right now? He's going back for it.
This is
Either a
interesting.
misplay or some 1000 IQ big brain play to see if they can beat them into walking into some of their territory. But
I mean, Pete's just going
again,
right for him,
there's just so
basically.
much happening there, and you could tell that
Ritual is
Peterbot
dead.
was on to
Ooh.
their heels. But look at this. They
Ritual
lost
is
Ritual.
yeah, Ritual's not alive
What
anymore.
happened?
Uh-oh.
Oh, the tides might be turning here.
Ooh.
Oh, the 3-2-1. The team fire enough. Smiley and Salt just get
Sucks.
the elimination. And I would say, luckily for them, Monster, there is a reboot van just up that mountain. I think Peterbot is already gaining access to that. The biggest
good.
thing that they've lost right here is not only the time to rotate to the zone, but the Storm Surge, if any, that Rituals has. This might have put them in a peculiar situation when Storm Surge activates.
Oh man, I don't even want to know what the comms are like right now for them to just have the opportunity and then watch it slip before their fingertips. This might
G-Money
just
kills
be,
braids.
honestly, the play that sets them all the way back. Poyo, Acorn, and Agers likely just finding
Poyo fighting Oliver's
renewed
team.
breath here as they see what's happening. And look at this, pushing right through Oliver OG's team, not because they have to, but because they want to. They can just do that. They have the momentum, they have the lead, they have the points right now, they have the buffer room to work with, and the bigger they can build this, the more likely they are to give
13,613
themselves
damage.
another
Wow.
championship right now. Poyo's gonna put himself, what is it, into that 5x conversation, into that GOAT best of the best on NA conversation. It's just happening here and now, right before our eyes.
I'm just waiting for that montage afterwards of Pollo essentially saying, anything you can do, I can do better. You saw the stat, Pollo leading in damage with his team. They went and picked right back up their medallion as well, making sure to keep the entire loot of Demon's Domain intact, finding a couple more eliminations. And as you said, with Ritual going down, them finding more eliminations, they're putting it in a position to where, yeah, maybe Ritual Cold and Peterbot can win with an elimination, but how many eliminations?
You gotta be kidding me, bro.
It's almost
I
putting them
picked
in a
up
spot where they need
Adrian Morjan. He pitches 0.0 innings and has an infinite ERA and an infinite whip. You gotta be kidding me.
Keeping things interesting. Remember, this is only game 11 for the NA.
Does that even count as anything? I don't know.
Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts. We did all that conversation. We almost forgot about Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts are in the running here as well. But look, they're much more passive, right? At this pace, how are you going to close that gap? 710 points now for Agers, Acorn, and Pollo after all the effort they've kind of put in this round. It's just getting further and further away.
Yeah, you can see them just continuing
Peters.
to shots from the mountain ranges on the other side, though.
Pete's down. Cold is kind of low on health. I mean, he has a medkit, but still. Using a lot of his bird. He's getting full chased by... Ritual gets the reboot off, but Cold is going to be...
from the attention of Peterbot and Ritual, because you see them over towards Canyon's Crossing, nowhere in sight so far. You see him on the bottom of the mini-map trying to make their appearance, but he is getting pushed by an entire trio. Cold is going to have to do cold things here.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a tough spot to be in. But we've seen Cold already kind of playing in peak form, and you know what? I think he could do it again, but he's playing smart, taking his time here. It only takes one to be well out of place for him to go ahead and initiate something huge there, and that's a bad edit. He's gonna give away a spot. He's gonna call for backup, but he gets coned up. Look how quickly he pieces him and finishes him off there. And look at that, Aaron's also lit up too, so...
Oh,
wait,
no. Wait.
Did you forget a wall, son? That's a huge problem, and Cold is here to just do what he does.
1v3, come on.
On the outskirts, just a matter of time. Misform, baiting, buying more room, siphon to kick in, finishes off the team.
And that Ritual's there. Wow, bro.
Here comes Ritual to back him up, and then they finish it off. My gosh.
I didn't mean it. I didn't mean for him to do cold things. I know seasons ago I said he has ice in his veins. They call him Cold for a reason, and that reason continues to exist. And that's just amazing right now, because Cold, we saw him clutch in earlier games for that top 3 to keep things close, and he does it here again, because we know Agers, Acorn, and Pollo have been going on an elimination.
G-Money Rise of Vive over here, but that means Booga threats. Booga threats and Craze is over here too. I saw their name tags, and Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid were rotating behind him. Oh, Booga's gone. Never mind.
Excellence at its finest. Rise of Vive G-Money. They get the down onto Booga. And that's a big down for multiple reasons, not just the points,
Diminish fighting. Visuals, I think, got out to 1v3. Yeah, it's Raps. Visuals is dead in the storm.
Visuals just ticking away. Is there even gonna be enough time for the next one to go through? I don't think so. Wait, he had a make it. Oh, so close yet so far.
That's bad.
And you know, with them falling out, it's not really like they lose much other than big time prizing and overall, you know, effort, of course, as far as like getting this high quality.
Let's get to kill a W.
Setting themselves up for globals, but still, no one wants to fall. When you're inside the 5th place, you're making a run for
521 is what he's stuck at, and he's not at not a placement. Go down to the rest of the league work. No.
Less than 50 points now. Even though they've been slowed down just a little bit, I know they're going to be looking for key opportunities to continue to try to pick up the pace in terms of eliminations. Even Shadow is doing the same thing. Muzz and Sphinx are still in that.
Again, I did make predictions at the beginning of this. These are my predictions. Click 6 Ziamzo. Well, that didn't age well. I always put way too much stock in Click 6 and Ziamzo. I did in Pro-Am. That was Clicks and Lacy though. But in Pro-Am I put him way too high, and this I put him way too high. I keep putting Click 6 Ziamzo in like too high.
I would say the silver lining got to be in this situation.
But I mean, top 10 is pretty accurate. There's a lot of people that I think everyone is in top 10 except maybe Click 6 Ziamzo. But predictions aren't terrible right now.
Not out of it just yet, but I mean, it just seems like
See
things
where
are
it
going
ends
downhill
up,
since
but
that victory royale.
Gold
28
gets a
plays,
kill.
12 plays, which is, you know, pretty big end game, but you're missing out on the bulk of the points. So it's been pretty tough for Sphinx and Shadow to find their footing. See if they can kind of turn things around right now. But
Gallon chocolate milk
certain,
W. I know chocolate milk
they gotta
is
make it.
W. Muzz is down. Shadow and Sphinx going into Storm. 3 med kits though.
Jacob, they might actually
Chilling.
catch sickness because you know
That is
once
true.
Zone 7 turns in, if you haven't exited, I mean, that's it. You're cooked.
Going for the reboot here, maybe?
That's just unfortunate
No?
too, right here. I'm not sure if he was able to get the reboot card or not, but Shadow, Sphinx forced to go 2 separate directions. And it's Sphinx who's drawing the attention of Neko, Zabi, and Liam, just hoping and praying that he can
Ooh,
get Muzz
Peter,
back
Cold,
on
and
up,
Ritual
then
on
eventually he
high,
goes down
on
and
high
move
ground,
on
in
over and
zone,
get his
barely.
goal. But as we tune in, Cole, he did get another elimination onto Broken, bringing their team total to 6, and this is exactly how it happened, Monster.
Nice, I know.
Yeah, you
That'd be
like
weak.
hanging out in a surge base. Let's just see what happens when these guys start to target you. And then they initiate the fight. Yeah, they're kind of coming up. Looking for a couple more points here. Why not? Take a stab at it.
Aviv is down. Rise is low.
No G Money, Aviv, Rise.
It's like the only G money left. Who are they fighting?
Starting to build here.
Oh, everyone,
The real
apparently.
question is, will they crack? Aviv ends up falling now. Rise super hurt. Medmiss has to come out here. This is.
They have here. Rise has a med miss at least, so he's not gonna be at shambles, but
Look at that mini map. My gosh. That's a problem.
1,000 above.
Shavs.
only 3 kills.
Yeah, all the
Quite a
teams
bit of
that were
surge
thinking it was
trading.
continue to pull
Twix
towards
and
the
Yams, though, are
now
actually
have
making
to
an
try to make
in-game.
their
It's
way in, which makes that side of the zone pretty
first time in
congested.
forever.
You see it going down all the way towards the western edge, even a little bit towards the north. As Rise, G-Money, they're able to get healthy there in that situation, but you can see a huge loss in their resources overall.
There's so many
Their team
people on that
is
side of zone.
inside
Like, there's
of the
literally no
championship
one
qualifying bubble.
anywhere in
2
here.
games
Like,
left.
what is
Looking to keep
that? Everyone
attack
is
with
right
or
there.
without Aviv by their side. They know they got to get that job done. Acorn, Koyo Agers, even though they got to rotate, they knew that team was above.
Cooper gets a
Acorn
kill on
still getting
Joji.
vital information for him and his team as they go ahead and extend their position before rotating to zone.
What an end game we're going to be set up for right now.
Ooh, this end game. It's literally just at this little house right here. Because everything else around it is water. Ooh, this is gonna be bad. Oh, this is a bad rotate for Pete.
Cold and Ritual, who are now positioned up just across from them. They have eyes on what's happening here. It's gonna be all rotates coming soon.
Yeah, they're almost like right on that Storm Surge line. We saw him just moments ago, 26, using this elevation before rotation to try to get us
Elevation
Storm
before
Surge as possible,
rotation.
but with that bird's eye view,
Seems like
they're
a really
watching all of these
scientific
teams start to rotate in, inching further and
sentence.
further away, forcing them to start their rotation.
Yeah, they need
And you
it. They
see
need to
them
get
instead of
stuff.
just
They're,
beelining it in,
I'm
they're
pretty sure
continuing to
Storm
hold that
Surge
pressure
is
off the top of the
active
mountain.
too.
That's gonna give them a clearer picture of what
900
they're working with on that
above.
side of the map. But on the
G-Money and
side,
Rise
like
are
you
still
said
kind of
yourself,
chilling.
it's
It's
just
such a
so
far zone
congested
though.
here.
Yeah, Peter Boss
Wow.
is slightly below right there, but what
That's
happens? G-Money takes
unfortunate.
a huge shot. When they
Yeah, there's not a lot you
exit
can
out,
do there.
the finish of the team has to have been right
Rise,
on
nice
top of
kill.
them. Scary and Saul here. Now, Rise does
Ooh,
turn around,
92.
find elimination,
Nice,
they get the second one.
nice.
These
That'd
are
be
big
Rise.
and important points. Okay,
It's not gonna
it's
do much
everything in
though,
the
because there's
game,
so many more
but
teams
no
around.
misfortune.
Craze, I think, is
Here
the
to really
solo,
work
because
with.
it's
This is not good.
Craze is popping a chug
Rise
jug,
have
but
to play
still.
another siphon. You
Higgs
might as
goes
well
down to
do
Cooper.
something. Don't sit there
Craze
and
gets the
lose
kill.
time, and Rise might have just given away his global championship spot. We'll come back to check on the standings here later, but for now, Peter Bach.
Yeah, that was Rise. Rise probably
Getting
dropped
active.
quite a
Still
bit.
6 eliminations, but they picked up a little more damage now. Bobby's
Not
starting
good
to
for my
focus in on them.
predictions.
Outside
Unfortunate.
rotating, Bryce and
I mean, there's
team
not a
A
lot you can do. You're just
through.
getting full focused. Cold is about to be out of mats.
Wow.
He has a surfboard, but he's not gonna be able to use it. That is
Yikes.
that abrupted quickly.
Yikes.
Now Kanada's starting to
Oh,
get
that
full,
really can
full
be
lobby
said out of a
focus.
situation like that, they go down relatively early. A few placement points though.
Look at the mini map. There's no one over here because it's water. Everyone is literally right here. There's 38 people in that zone, bro. It's basically just land, like, or just like the land, just like this little bit.
Going to be Amazing. It's gonna be
Like,
better
there's no one in the
than
water.
Zema.
Honestly, if I'm like
Team
back
that
here, I
are
would literally
Rapid
just throw it all the way around in the water.
saw them
You'd
go
be fine.
down.
Nobody's like
And
that.
to enter into this game, it was only a 58-point deficit to overtake that second place spot. Obviously, they increased the lead with a few more eliminations, but there are so many placement points up for grab and the opportunity to get
Kanata, Bolt,
eliminations
and
to close
Rapid
that
are
gap.
just so consistent. They have gotten top 10 every single game, except for one game. That's it. They've gotten top 10 every single, like every game.
The irony if it has to end that way here for game number 12 if they want a chance to win this major. Now, knowing them, they might just give us the show we're looking for. But for Boyo, Acorn, and Agers, it's just business as usual for them. Because you know what? Deep down inside, Boyo has been the boogeyman. So why sign up for that too is what you have to think about. They're just playing so good right now.
Yamzo gets a kill on Craze.
Yamzo went down.
No.
Not before taking down Craze.
Oh, maybe he
And
did,
Craze was
yeah.
the one that got the eliminations on the G Money and Rise, trying to close that gap when it comes to
12 teams.
qualification
It's a good
spots.
rotate by
But now
Muzz.
it's
Can
Muzz, Sphinx,
run
and
side.
Shadow who are reaping the reward because with no Aviv that has the spot, no
Might get
Booga
back
who's
there.
in front of them on that leaderboard, this is their chance.
I mean, at
to
this
start
point,
to
would you
join
even
that
shoot? Like,
conversation
I
that
wouldn't even
seems
shoot
fair
anyone.
going into
Rapid,
that final game
Kanata,
of
and
the
Bolt on
day.
high ground.
Look at high ground,
Oh.
Bolts, Kanata, and Rapid. They're looking to not just be a part of the conversation, they're looking to steal the show.
Aviv, G Money, and Rise had a 60-point stretch over Booga starting his lobby off, and even further for Muzz's trio. So that's going to be huge for Bolts, Rapid, and Kanata. They need a lot more eliminations, so this is a great start for them to start earning
Let's
some
go
points and
down
at
to
least
the
taking
lead.
advantage,
Who else gets there?
putting themselves in the conversation for maybe even a second place here.
King is top 10. It's like the first time we've even seen King the entire day.
Benefit potentially if Peterbot's team takes down Acorn. Who knows what the last game's going to yield, but one thing's for certain.
He has the palm
whoever
too. He's
wins
going
this
off.
game, if it's Kanata's trio,
Zen
that's going to
is-
shake things up. If Acorn's team doesn't
Cooper
make
Reed Curly on the
decisions,
low ground, kind of
Cooper
chilling
Reed
down
Curly
here, just in the little midsection
on the
of
outskirts
the
right
low
now.
ground.
Definitely a wild factor here. in
Kanata
the
Bolts
lobby.
Rapid on high ground. I mean, if they win this game, they'll be in second place, maybe. Well, no. I don't know. Pete did die early. Pete has been in second, and Poyo is definitely going to be in first after this game.
Team out of the lobby. They see so much chaos going down around. They're just trying to peek and
I mean,
find that perfect opportunity to get more.
Bolts,
As Bolts
Kanata,
are Rapid, because so much
Rapid,
is
I
going
mean,
on in and outside of the different layers on the
they
low
might be
ground.
able to,
They
like,
had a chance to feel comfortable enough
I don't
to
know.
up. The one team that would, Agers, Acorn, Poyo, they're on that ultimate low ground. They're building space and they're trying to claim it as their own, but Bolts is still going on the hunt. You talked about eliminations being needed. Well, he heard you loud and clear.
Yeah, he definitely has to do something. But look at this, Agers.
Really good aim by
Boyo
Bolts.
still standing here, earning placement points ever so slowly.
Nice,
They
got
did
that.
everything
I
they
mean,
needed
Bolts is
to
getting
do
a lot of kills.
the
If they get a lot more
elimination,
kills, oh my
so
god, bro, Bolts is insane.
Bolt is
I was like
still
back-to-back
getting
max
active, though.
bumps.
Few shotgun shots. He has to force his way back to the top of that med miss or miss form just to buy him a little bit more time. And
Ooh, Agers
finally
got
now
cracked.
pressure comes
He's
from
fine
the
now.
low ground here, forcing Agers up and out, but
Acorn and
Bolts
Poyo are
have
still
to
alive.
they're doing an excellent job
Both
rotating
Kanata
there.
and Rapid still on
Bolt
high
sees
ground.
what's
Kanata's on ulti high.
You have to
Bolts
target
and Rapid are
something that
on
you can't get
on
them
high ground, but Kanata is
comfortable, and here it is,
all the way
exactly
high.
what
Bolts
you
drop
need.
down.
Might just happen.
Yeah, and they know exactly where they're at because of the hot
Bolts trying to get more kills. Ooh, ooh, nice shot on Poyo. 5 teams. Got the medallion. Josh goes down to Curly. Curly's still alive. Agers, Sphinx, and Shadow are still alive. Yo, this is a crazy endgame. Sphinx, Shadow, and Muzz are still alive. Both Rapid Kanata still alive. Ooh, both get the kill on Bleaks, whoever that is. Now they're back on high ground.
This is why I absolutely love the misform in the end game as well.
Acorn is in the storm just healing while Poyo is in zone just absolutely fragging. Acorn flying down to his teammate. Poyo's still alive, he has 4 builds. Curve on, is that Curve? Is that Curve on high ground? It is Curve on high ground. And the zone pulls back. That's actually really good for Curve. He's only a solo though. Poyo popping medkits. This is a very long in game. Ooh, Curve. Not the play. Unfortunate. Kanata's back on high ground. Poyo's playing Storm. He doesn't have many heals. You got the bird. Yeah, Acorn goes down. Ooh, that's not good. Bird. Yeah, it's nice. It's a 3v3 now. Ooh, it's a 3v3. Mud Shadow and the Sphinx. Oh. Nice bolts. Sphinx is in Storm. Wait. Wait, Sphinx wins this. Sphinx has no heals. Sphinx has no heals. Unless Kanata has heals. Well, Sphinx. The switchback. Okay, well, whatever. Doesn't matter. Kanata with the win. Cinema. Cinema.
Talk about a big game to keep them in the running here.
Wow.
Now. Overagers, Acorn, Boyo.
That was quite the end game.
Taking full advantage of
quite
the
the end game.
opportunity that was nearly gifted to them because of VG Money Rise fall, Booga Threats and Craze fall, Visual Brazen and Minish out of the competition as well, and all of a sudden now those that matter are stepping up when it matters. Jacob, that was a great game. And talk about a way to kind of set us up, right, for the finale here to come.
Bro, Bolts is insane apparently. Like, I don't know.
They know everybody down below has been through the ringer, and they just calm, cool, collected, just get these eliminations and even dive down to pick up the loot like you're watching Bolts here, and that just reinforced their position up above. But we talked about it throughout the course of the game in terms of Peterbot, but Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts, they need eliminations to close the gap if they want to take that first place.
Man, that was
guess what, Monster?
quite the end game. Bolts is...
This game with double digits.
Yeah, they got a lot of kills. Like,
14 eliminations after taking down Sphinx here for the victory royale. That plus the 65 points, 121 point game for a team that's all but clutched their spot to the global championship. But with one game left, Monster, we got to throw it to Zeke, Kelly, and Vivid to break down all that actions and lead us to the promised land.
what a game.
Production, I'm so sorry. I need the highlights of those final few moments of that game. Oh my gosh, 14 elim victory royale, and essentially the tail end of the competition.
Stop looking at the leaderboard.
Man,
wait, we're going to it.
Oh, on the standings too. Okay, Zeke, focus. What an insane game from the trio, right? What an insane game, Kelly. They have height, and in those moments, and again, I cannot like talk enough about this trio. Again, pressure is on. We're trying to qualify, and Kanata's not thinking, I just want to qualify. I want to win. Bolt is right there with him. Rapid there to support beat after beat. I'm blown away. I'm at a loss for words. It's crazy.
I mean, after yesterday's games where we saw Muzz get 13 eliminations, I was like, there's no way we're going to see anyone get any more than that. Even Peterbot has peaked out at 11 eliminations, but to get 14 elims in the 11th game of the final grand finals.
I mean, Bolts absolutely went off. He got a lot of kills. He might be in second now.
House was Kanata yelling at the top of his lungs, and with Bolts, Rapid, and Kanata playing exactly like how they like to play. This was their game to win, and they did it with flying colors.
Yeah, I mean, Bolt's just playing on the edge of danger at every single waking moment, right? Constantly dropping down, of course, the misform to kind of back up that type of play style, but just making sure that he and his trio had enough materials to kind of hold that high ground, apply enough pressure. The amount of times we kind of saw him dip down, pick up some of those mats, fly back up, make sure his trio was healthy, and then at the very last moment as well, Jacob kind of called it out, kind of using the misform, returning back to Kanata, dropping the misform so Kanata had that little bit of an extra boost in the heal of if he ended up needing it. Oh, just crazy stuff happening on NA. Game number 11. I told you it was going to set us up big for game number 12.
Oh, dude, just the tech, that's what blows me away.
Subconquest.
Bro, he's just think in the moment, you're like, I have a misform. It has 2 charges. You could, if he just used both to try and find that player, find Sphinx, track him down, I would be like, yeah, He misforms up to Kanata and drops him the final charge. To just think about the implications. Kanata's like, oh shoot, something's wrong, misform. Gotta go find some, gotta go, you giving me time to go look. Oh my gosh, bolts are nuts. Okay. I love Fortnite. We're gonna go to a break. When we come back, we're gonna take a look at these standings. Your little mind's gonna be blown, so is mine. Get ready, gear up. One final game, Fortnite fam. We'll see you real soon.
Alright, let's look at the item shop. That is crazy, bro. The comeback. What am I talking about? I wanted the comeback, but like, that's crazy. My controller's not working. Okay, let's just do this. New emote. Okay. Core, not a lot. Crystal. Okay. I like the style, yeah. I'm an honor. I didn't give away. What? No? Other one? It's not the best star one. Not a very good star one. Is this like all that they changed or what? In the battle pass? I don't even do giveaways. What? Apparently someone wants the battle pass and wants something in the item shop. WWE stuff's back? Okay, this item shop is just, what did they change? Okay, well that wasn't a lot. Why is the Pro-Am over here, bro? What? Aussie W. That's all the way over there. I'm not gonna look at the leaderboard on there. I don't wanna. Oh. That was crazy. Crazy win. What a game. I'm ready to see these standings, bro. See how my predictions are holding up. Probably not great. After that, Kanata might be in first, bro. Like, I don't even know. No, I doubt it. Hoyo's still in first, but Kanata might be second. Here we go. Let's find the leaderboard. Let's go.
Welcome back. I've been sitting here trying to contain myself. It is great to see you. Welcome back to the FNCS. I have not. One game. Thankfully, we go to break so I can yell into the ether and you guys don't have to hear that. That's what's great. We are one game away from concluding NAC Grand Finals.
Oh, man.
All right.
Let's see.
This last game, Rapid Kanata Bolts get themselves a 14 elimination victory
Four.
royale. Let's take a look at
That's
the
a lot of
standings
points.
to see how close this is. Now, who's in first place? Of course, it's still Agers.
Kanata
Look
goes
at the
to
gap.
second.
It's only 60 points because of that last
There's
game.
only 60 points.
Okay,
Oh,
now.
oh yeah,
Obviously,
glitches and
Poyo's
10th.
going
Let's
crazy.
go.
There's a ton of things. We have a minute and a half. Rapid fire me right now, okay, guys? I'm going to talk to it. You guys are going to pick it up. Poyo versus Kanata. Who could look to win? Could Peterbot decide to land on Poyo right now and say, you know what, Poyo?
That's what I've been saying, bro. That's what I've been saying. Peter is gonna land on Poyo. Oh my god, the cinema. No, he's not. But that is. But like,
separating either trio from that final qualifying spot.
if Kanata wins
And
this
of
game,
course, if we
he's
go
gonna
down
win
one more place,
everything.
Booga
Like,
is 49 points behind Aviv. He'd have to get 49 points to basically tie it up and then look to fight for those spots. Guys,
I'm gonna wait for them to show the
There is already so much that has happened over the last 2 days, over the last 11 games, where players have changed up their drop spots, changed up how they're playing
Show
the
the
game,
leaderboard again. I
and
want
made
to
those
I want
little
to see it.
differences.
I want to
And
watch the
honestly,
leaderboard. Yes.
right now, I
Let's
think
see the
that's what we're
leaderboard.
going to be seeing, and those little differences could be a drop spot change. But are you going to make that risk? It's high risk, high reward. Peterbot going over to Pollo, landing on Demon's Domain to have this final argument of who is better, who can win the off spawn fight, and what better way to do it than the final game of Grand Finals? But is it too little too late? I don't know.
Just a couple of games ago, we were at 1 point difference between Acorn's trio and Peterbot's trio, and now it's completely flipped the script, right?
So the
Acorn now
leaderboard
being chased down by Kanata. Kanata went.
Okay, so everything is so close now. Like, it's honestly so. Okay, so 7th and 8th, that's kind of, 100 points almost. 5th and 6th are tied. Muzz and Visuals are literally tied right now. Aviv, not up by a lot compared to the 5th and 6th place. Booga is still kind of in that talk, so kind of 4 through 7 are kind of all here. There's a big drop off there, but all of the 8 through 10 and probably under that are all kind of there. Top 3 can go any way, honestly. I don't know. Ritual Cold Peter need, like, that's 100 points. 100 points? That's a lot. They have to land on Pollo, right? They have to.
For any of these trios, right? Pollo's trio,
Oh, man.
Kanata, Peterbot, Aviv, Muzz, Booga, any of these trios could either play for the win or play to qualify for the Global Championships. This is it. The last ride. Casters, take it away.
Monster, I feel right now coming into this game 12 that these players are the gladiators in the arena, and I'm looking out in the distance watching everybody at home, and I got one question: are you guys not entertained? And that entertainment continues because the final game of the tournament starts now.
Oh man.
Game 12 has
Is
arrived,
Peter-
and we have ourselves that three-horse
Peter
race
conning-
that we were waiting for. And talk about
Peter conning,
a better
Pollo.
time to make it happen here and now.
Oh, boy.
With Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts hoisting
It might happen.
themselves straight into the
might happen.
competition. But you know what? Agers, Acorn, and Pollo, my gosh, talk about absolute masterclass performance so far here. Just perfect execution.
Oh, it's happening.
Day
Oh my
in,
god,
day
it's happening.
out, and we are gonna
Oh my god,
get
it's happening.
what we want
Oh my
to
god,
see
it's
go down
happening.
here.
Oh my god, it's
Ring
happening.
that bell, ding, ding, ding. Let the match begin. All season long, watching on
Peter with the good
stream,
shot. He gets the
30
shotgun.
something, 30 something, all for this fight here. Cole gets the gun. He's able to chase
Cole gets the gun. Aegis goes down. He gotta go shotgun. Peter.
He's gonna fall. Peterbot and Ritual are the last two alive in a situation that they could revive Cole, leaving Acorn all by himself.
Just like that, the tables change with a pickaxe and a
Oh
swing. The
my
support
God.
system comes through for Peterbot. Ritual, Cold, and Acorn, you can run. But buddy, I don't think you're going to be able to hide for much longer. They're making sure they have no odds at losing this one. And Acorn is just hiding out here down in the
Oh
low
my
ground.
god.
I think something's going to happen here that's going to give away his position here. But it looks like the real kings of the Demon's Domain will be Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual.
Oh my gosh, and already you see that lead be diminished.
Wow.
In this one game, Peterbot takes matters into his own hands, is able to drop the first, get the elimination onto Agers, who was the difference maker with the weapons, save Cold, and take down Acorn. This is exactly what we wanted coming into Major 3, and I hope everybody is happy because we got that treat.
I absolutely hate that I was grinning just ear to ear watching this all go down because
That was-
Agers, Acorn, and Boyer
that
were
was
so deserving, but
insane.
at the same time, it just makes you wonder, what can you do to stop Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot? It's like when they want something done, you have never seen a team in Fortnite's history just go out and take it, right? And they're doing it here, and like you said, the point gap now starts to shrink. For Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts to have a chance to race to the finish line. They really genuinely do. Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot, that might be the momentum and honestly the mood shift that they've been looking for, because the last couple games, Jacob, we have had a somewhat out of the ordinary performance from them, right? You know, 14th, 15th, that's not usual.
Looking right now at the points, a 30-point deficit to second place right now. And with those eliminations, they already dropped it down to, I think, 18 points behind Kanata, Rapid, and Bolts. But you know, I know, everybody at home knows who's had their eyes peeled on Fortnite competitive. He's not fighting for second place, so he has to do one of two things. Drop an historic elimination game to not only take the spot over Acorn, Ages, and Poyo, but pass Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts if they don't go down. Or they're going to have to go on another hunt. They're going to have to figure out where Rapid, Kanata, and Bolts are at, take them down, and finish off this game with a win over the game.
Yeah, none of those are easy ask, right? You got to go across this entire map. You have to be deadly accurate now. And, you know, again, yesterday we talked a lot about this. There's contingency plans for teams like Acorn and company, all right? They've been planning this the entire year, but not necessarily a contingency plan for, well, what happens when Kanata's up there? What happens when G Money Rise and Aviv are running things, right? Like, these are just, you know, unforeseen circumstances. And, you know, this last game really is going to be up for surprise. But we know for certain that Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid surely have downloaded what just happened. It's all starting to process here and now. And we're going to get to see if they can actually perform under pressure when it matters most. I know Bolts has been here before, Kanata and Rapid as well. However, it's been a while, right? It's been a while since you had this opportunity unfold here.
Just want to take this moment to say congratulations, though, before this one ends, for Kanata reaching his 28th consecutive FNCS finals. His point lead is so far ahead. You know, he has that one locked in, which kind of leaves only one more spot up for grabs. And you're looking at other teams when you light down that leaderboard. Aviv, G Money Rise, Muzz, Shadow, Sphinx, Booga, Threats, and Craze would be those top 3 teams to look at. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. The lurk, the sneak, Magma's gonna be first, box to box, already Bolts is there, trying to chase down, that could be another elimination if they get this other wipe. This is 12 more points. They're going for the win here.
I like this. This is exactly what they need, because if you don't, you know what's gonna happen.
Wow.
Everyone that's right behind you are gonna start running their way on up. Kanata, Bolts, Rapid, playing as sharp as ever. Front side, Kanata kind of leading the charge here.
I mean, Peter's gonna key Kanata. That's the only way he wins.
He is. Don't forget what he's capable of. Yeah,
Kanata needs to get out of there.
For quite some time, but there's a reason he made it to the top. It was off of his mechanical skills here. Where's the backup, though? They gotta end this one quickly so they can get a move on, because this is deviating away from their usual strategy, sitting up in big bases, right? Going for exchanges. This is definitely a stake at earning points. Trying to play fast, and we all know when you start switching stuff up, Jacob, bad things can happen.
Ooh, just a tough angle right there, exactly that. There's too many risks going down right here in this fight. They do have the elevation advantage, so they're trying to smush that team further and further down. You see Kanata take another approach, going on their layer, and he's trying to just funnel them into one direction from the ground up this time around. Sees the footsteps, no scares towards the left, causers as well. Positions are not going to be hid, but they spot out Kanata. They land that first shot. Not going to be a game changer, but that one surely is. Kanata has just gone down. Bolts and Rapid need to figure out if they want to stay or go.
I'm seeing a little bit of the hesitation from Bolts. I didn't want to call it out too early, but he was only down 20 HP, and he's stopping the Chug Jug, almost leaving Kanata out by himself. I have questions about what I just watched go down. This fight should have started and ended so much sooner, but I think we are watching championship jitters on Rapid and Bolts. I'm not even kidding here.
That could quite well be a possibility, because we have not seen this in 12 games so far. This is the first time they're just keying over from Crime City, knowing that, honestly, you can't just expect these players to have a bad game. The only reason why Agers, Acorn, and Poyo are even down is because of contested fight versus one of the other grade teams on the region. So they're trying to just keep as much control underneath their own hands as possible. Unfortunately, Kanata goes down. Bolts immediately used that launch pad to disengage, but because he did that, Rapid stayed, and that full team is leaving. And so Rapid will have a chance to get the reboot card. This is not the last we've seen of this full trio.
Crazy to think they get to count their lucky stars, you know, to just kind of stay in the running right now. Because if it was any other team, they might have just finished the fight. They might have actually had just enough awareness to recognize, wait, there's still one player left. We actually have this. But
what's going on with Clicks? What's Clicks doing right now? King is on the island.
we get to see it continue to go down. Damage, we know for sure they're going to be way behind on
Cold,
that.
Pete, and Ritual
this is
are
only
at
looking better and
Foxy
better
Floodgate now.
for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. And by the way, I guess we can solidify here. Well, I guess we can't say for certain yet if Oyo won't be the 5x, but so far so good for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual.
And they're literally getting everything this game. They got Demon's Domain. They got the off-spawn eliminations. They got the
Pete
Spire,
is...
Island spawning, or
Bro, this is the
respawn
script,
right there,
bro. Like, Pete is gonna win with like a 15 kill win.
Not everything.
Nah, they're gonna win with like a 10 kill win, and they're gonna like win somehow. And then all of my predictions are gonna be right.
There is different amount of rotation here that's naturally in the form of a launch pad. Just trying to wait and see where this next zone goes. I do believe it is going to continue to pull towards the north side of the map. The rise of Eve and G Money. They are currently in second place when it comes to that global championship spot, and they're not trying to lose control of their own destiny. Great elimination onto Noxy. That brings them from about
G Money have even rise.
to 21.
It's a big deal.
Donnie, Seek, and Joji are just sitting behind a wood little box, and they just got shot at.
Oh, they only get the full team Elam. Look, they only get 4 off of this, so I was under the impression they might have actually gotten a full finish, but this might be the same kind of song and dance we just watched play out with Bolts and Rapids team, where, you know, you get in those positions where the finish line is right there, and you're like, wait, maybe not. Maybe let's not take this fight. You do something a little different. You play a little more passive. We'll see if they end up regretting it later. Not going to finish that fight. Not only for the damage they'll probably need here in the last game, but the points. Those points are going to matter.
Yeah, well said. And you're kind of seeing it affecting their game plan right here. Just traveling towards the whole eastern side of the map. The slow rotation where they're hoping they're not having to run into too many teams. Hoping that the surge they were able to accumulate is going to be enough. But as Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual go and contest the Demon's Domain, that leaves Brutal Boxcars free as can be. Spire lands over there, and when teams in the feed see the eliminations, they know
Higgs clicks in the Omzo over there, and your Supernova. Actually, no, they're at Brutal.
Higgs back to what they practice when those teams were actually contesting each other, fighting for the Brutal Boxcars, getting the Spire, getting a huge upgrade in their loot. And
Mesh Braids and Visuals, though, goes back into Academy, which is where clicks came from.
Those ranks definitely make a difference. We've seen them.
Rapid and Bolts are just chilling in Crime City. Pete is so gonna key them.
So Bolts, Rapid, Kanata, again, a little bit of a rocky start, you know, but seems like they've recuperated themselves. They've kind of got themselves back in the game. I'm looking at.
Just need to watch out for Pete because Pete is close.
Pretty stable, but we know for certain all this time spent back here at the Crime City means they haven't spent time farming damage. And that's going to have implications here in the coming moments. It may not right now because it's the last game, so things are moving a little quickly, but it will end up coming around eventually.
Yeah, I feel like this tournament's been a game of inches for a lot of these top teams here. Playing for the competition. They're also
Bro, I'm just gonna see like 3 arrows like right here on the side of the screen. If they keep going that way, it's gonna be Pete, and they're gonna get full keyed.
Their spots because they're so far back behind the curve.
Craze threats and Buka though at Pump Power.
Threats another team on the heels of a global championship slots, and so far they've made it a focus for them to rotate out of Utopia and go to the north side as possible, so that way they can get their position and worry about Surge as a secondary as opposed to first like they normally do.
Yeah, I'm just continuously glancing at that standing, just trying to see who's where, how far do some teams have to go, how consistent have they been, is this a good day, is it a rough day for Booga, Craze, and Threats? They haven't really got to touch that end game, not in the way that we've kind of seen them do in day number 1, where they were breaking top 5.
Muzz, Shadow, and Sphinx over here near Flooded, where Reek, Curly, and Cooper are.
Muzz, Sphinx, and Shadow trying to do the same. They just came off that second place. They got that first place win. Have they managed to break that mid-game curse they've been battling with so far?
If any game is going to be the game to kind of break it, is going to be this one, where they get a favored zone towards the north side of the map this time around. and battling through so many different trials and tribulations throughout this tournament.
Rise G Money and V fighting Donnie, Joji, and Seek, and Seek goes down to a V.
Non-contested, contested, uncontested. The mind games teams are playing on them, but for them to be able to hold tough throughout each and every one of these moments, putting themselves
My predictions, no.
honestly in the right spot inside of that bubble when it comes to the
Both Rapid and Kanata
for global. This is Bolts, Kanata, Rapid. Once
fighting
again,
I
find
Lost the
themselves
Plot,
in a tough
Rebels
spot on the edge
Mason,
of
and
the
Madeline
zone. That's
Klein.
golden. That's
Click
Mason.
60 and Niamzo. Oh,
That's Chip
well, they're
as
running
well,
actually. I
rotating
think.
right in front,
Never
and
mind.
then a whole nother trio trying to beat him to the punch. And this is what we were talking about, Monster, when we're saying going down early. Even if you're able to get that healthy reboot, you lose a lot.
Good shot by
It's Clix's team that's off in a distance there, trying to get the lead to the front side of the brutal boxcars
they're
right
leaving.
now. And you can see them just about to.
Where is Pete? Can we
set
switch
up
to
and
Pete
boost
real
up on
quick
the
and see
outskirts.
where he
Kanata, Bolts,
is?
and Rapid likely read this positioning well and say, "Yep, we're not going to go that way. We're gonna have to break off into a different direction, give
There
themselves
we
a
go.
little room to work with."
Box guard still, okay.
Here we get an update from Peterbot's team up top.
Close
They're
to
not
Kanata.
too far off. They could just end up clashing here with their immediate competition. And if we know anything, we know they probably have been doing their research.
I mean, look at
Yeah,
Cold
trying to
Sleep,
figure out
400 Chug
when
Jug.
and where Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid are going to make their appearance outside of the zone.
Cooper gets a
They
kill.
see the first team. I don't think it's them.
The green
But
team
for
now.
them,
They don't know.
no matter who it is, that's a possible 4 points per elimination. That's a 12-point swing right there if they're able to take down the full trio. A whole nother team making their way in towards brutal boxcars, but you see the marks on the minimap. Bolts, Kanata, and Rapid are not too far away from what is going on here. And if they hear the noise, you know as well as I do, they tend to get a little noisy, seeing what the third party is. How can they use that to their advantage?
You know, they're thinking about, okay, why is this team playing so passive, right? Could this be Kanata's trio? Obviously, you know, these guys are trying to decipher every little read possible to see if they can just get a hint of who's who and where's what. Even those skin details will play a factor in them determining what team's what. So for now, you might have seen enough to recognize that's not the trio they're looking for. Bolts, Kanata, Rapid now on the move here, though, back inside the building of the boxcar. Trying to get back situated here in this game. This is a desperate reform here as the map is pulling pretty further away. They will end up crossing paths with Clix's trio and Peterbot's trio here shortly. I do think that's their team off to the right.
Uh-oh.
And there, they might have spotted them.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm locked in on the colors in the mini-map. Orange for Peterbot's team, green
Why
for
are we
Kanata.
switching?
As soon as I see those colors come in close contact with each other, I'm thinking
Luga
it's
threats
on,
and
it's
Grace,
game time.
though.
They might not
But
know
yeah,
how close they actually are, but it's
Peter,
definitely going to be a scary situation. Bugha Threats and Craze, though,
Pete,
lurking
Ritual,
up
and
on
Cold
Buzz.
are
We
right
may
there
not know
beside
that's
Kanata.
exactly them, but that
Bolts
is the
and
team
Rapid.
that they
They're
have
probably
to go
about to
through.
start
One
fighting.
of two teams
Oh,
if they
man.
want to qualify for the global championship. And for Bugha and Threats, it's to remain perfect in terms of qualifying for these lands.
This is big. This is like their little global championship fight right here. We're watching it all go down. Oh no, Muzz. Okay. Oof. Jumps off the cliff there. Could have got 3-2-1, but that doesn't mean Sphinx or Shadow safe. Oh, Sphinx finds himself a little bit out of position. Threats needs to stop moving or they're going to give away the spot. Grace is going to end up opening here. There it is. They initiate, but they miss. Sphinx reacts super fast.
Man.
Luckily, he had dashes on standby, and he backs off.
Kanata, Bolts, Rapid. Oh,
The fight happening right here. Below the threshold for Kanata, Bolts, and Rapid. They haven't done enough. And that's all because of that kind of slow start they had, that initial knock onto them. They will be forced to take this fight right now.
Yeah, they changed things up so much. It's not exactly the change they were looking for. 100 damage below. One well-placed shot could change things up. But right in front of them, that's Golden. That's Mason and their trio on the other side.
Sub-Seer
This is
7.
where it gets tricky because now the lobby is starting to gain notice.
G-Money
They're
goes
starting
down.
to focus their attention in this direction. 280
Random
below.
280 below.
Further and further. This is the recipe for Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual success, but it's not going to come with
I
a
mean,
fight.
yeah,
Kanata makes his
they're-
way in. He gets the knock onto one, but he immediately goes down, and they're not even above the damage threshold. Another one's going to fall. Rapid is out. It's all up to both by himself, and it's Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. They're the ones shooting on over, and they get eliminated. Now this is just a one-horse race.
Of course, it's Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual there to answer the call when it matters. And now all they have to do is ride their way to an end game and earn 80 more points. Now, that is not easy, though. Let's make this very clear. This is a big game they're going to need to put up still if they want to be the champion.
Oh, man.
Do have an
Unfortunate.
opportunity to
Unfortunate,
still
Canada.
hold the line here.
I was rooting for Canada.
Mathematically,
Hey, that's better for my
one
predictions.
elimination and a win. One more elimination
Okay.
and a win. Obviously,
Just
they
win.
can close it with even more eliminations there. But it's Peterbot, it's Cold and Ritual. What they have been doing so far,
Looks like he's
I
in
feel
the-
like
in the arms are
not
red.
very many
I don't know.
players can say they can do
Rise
that
of
exact
Vive and
same
G-Money.
thing. And the ones that say they
500,
can are
that's
probably
not
out of
right,
this
right?
lobby already. G-Money, Rise and Aviv. They realize
500
what's going on in
below.
the lobby. Timing is of the essence. Eliminations are being taken away.
How
and they're
are we
almost
500 below?
500 damage above the threshold. What is this last game?
Yeah, they have a long way to go. They need to finish this whole entire team, get the wipe here. And he's only got 21 builds, so this is much more than just a fight. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, though. Pressure coming in as well for them. They have face-checked the Yamso. Clicks and Higgs' trio here on the side. And now Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual do have a track record. They have a historical record. They love to win the last game on these major-type tournaments. So I'll keep them in the...
G-Money and Rise go down. Aviv is the only one, so 1v3, and Aviv goes down. That's not good for my predictions.
Just like that, their spot's now up for grab for Mud,
Wow.
Shadow, and Sphinx to potentially overthrow, or Booga threats and Craze to jump even higher.
You know,
Look at this rotate.
Lebanon EU is probably saying this right now. Cinema. This is cinema at its finest. Aviv and them 546 points. I don't know what they're currently at, but starting this game, Muzz was at 521.
Yeah, my
Starting this
predictions
game,
aren't
Booga
gonna
was at
do a lot.
489.
It's ahead of Aviv, G-Money, and Rise in
This is
fourth.
truly coming
But
down to the wire. A
Oh,
mere
man, it's gonna
elimination,
hold.
a placement point could play the difference in somebody's FNCS continuing and somebody having to sit at home and watch it all with us.
And this is crazy because it's an end game on the top of a mountain, right? So naturally, it's going to favor the teams that get there early. Peterbot's team just literally positioned up on top of one of those predetermined bases that was already up there. So they're actually setting themselves up for the victory condition. I think they're noticing all
this
they need to
zone
do
is
get those
another
points. They
mountain
walked
zone.
out
Oh
top
man.
east base. They could either go for the fight.
Where did it pull though? Oh, I kept pulling towards the mountain. Yeah, it's on the same zone. Looks like in the Yamza we're actually doing decent right now. Hold on, this is rare. Oh, their king, Curly and Cooper. Cooper goes down to Clicks.
Just a little bit of an offset as they push off Reet and team.
Much better position than
Clicks
we're in
finally
some
locked
previous
in.
games.
10 games too late.
500+ damage above the threshold for them. Just trying to close
going
out
on? Why is it
strong.
lagging?
They realize it's about finishing strong and go next. They got the global championship in their lines of sight for now, but still a comeback is needed. Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, 3 eliminations, 500 damage above, and you can kind of see it right there in the mini-map. I know there's a marker and a bunch of other players in the way, but they have pulled zone as well.
Yeah, they have.
This is it.
I mean, this is the script, bro. Literally
Pressure.
perfectly aligned to the script. They pull zone, they kill Kanata, they kill Poyo, and they pull zone. Like,
They have been just
Bruh.
that all day long, all weekend long, challenging their immediate competitors. Really trying to take fate into their own hands right now. The combination
Again, threats
of
go
units
down.
are
Hold on.
here. The zone's not going to be forgiving to anyone here. It's going to start pushing its way off the mountain, down towards the lake. And that's going to mean you need a lot of material. This is going to be a matter of, can you go the distance? Do you have the stamina? This is a marathon, not a race here in these types of end games, but for Ritual, Cold, and Peterbot,
bro,
they
this
have
is...
options. It's not going to be easy, though.
Clicks, Yamza and Higgs are rotating with the bird. Peter has the pistol. Buzz.
Being
Ooh.
able to make it out alive and pass Peterbot. Luckily for him, he slides into home plate. He's safe for now, but there's more innings to go in this game as 500 damage. That might not be enough for them as they
Heavy
spot
baseball
out
knowledge.
with braids and a minute toward the backside of the zone. Begin to make it their focus, and this is where teams have to watch out for. He does have the exotic pistol, the shockwave effect, the first and last bullet in that clip. The way Peterbot uses it, shoots one, reload, so he constantly has that shockwave effect out.
All right, we're in that position now. This is
Pulls back up the mountain.
Points will be given to others that have managed to stay alive. Shadow, Muzz, and Sphinx. Global championship opportunity on the line right now. Visuals, Brazen, and Minish are one of their immediate competitors, but they've already made it. So this is just
They are just getting lobby focused. I mean, this is.
Minish, Braids, Visuals, kind of on the edge of the zone here. It's gonna push back over the mountain. This is
And Peabot, Golden Retro are on height. Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be?
Them a lot of time to go and work with it.
Oh man.
But there's so much congestion beneath them. Look, there's no real opportunity available to them yet for eliminations. Finally now, everyone kind of has to come out of those burrow shells. And they have a chance here to earn some points.
704 placement points continuing to move in. Visuals gets one on the vert. Blue goes down, Sonetto as well. We talk about the prize money, and that's exactly what some of these players down below. Every elimination, every placing could be 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 more dollars in their pockets. But they just have to continue to survive through that chaos that's down below. Meanwhile, they're up above, unchallenged. You talked about the different elevation change that's going on with the zone.
Higgs gets a kill. Muzz gets a kill. Hold on. It's turning around for Clicks Higgs in the Yamzo. Higgs with another kill. Ritual, Cold, Peter. Ritual goes down, tries to get kills. Reek gets a kill. Zeke dies, no. RIP Zeke. 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 Clicks Higgs and Yamzo going around front side at the bottom, getting low ground. This is probably the play. Braids a Minish. Still behind him. Sphinx goes down. Muzz is about to go down. Muzz is down.
Pressure you faced in your life, but it does one or two things. Pressure either bursts pipes or makes diamonds. Now is your chance to shine bright like one.
Wait a second, Peterbot just hit himself back into the storm on accident. They're running low on material. This is the first time in a long time we've seen them not earn any points this late into an end game. They might not have enough. They need to win the game and get a single elim or get a lot of elims. And right now, we're not seeing elims add up. This verticality is working against
They're not on high ground anymore. King and Phaser, they get knocked down. They connect though. Phaser gets shockwaved off. Oh my god, bro, this is. Clicks Higgs and Yamzo. I can't say that name. And they're on height. And it pulls back the mountain. This is the script, bro. We're just following the script. What is this, bro? He goes back up the mountain. There's no way. Clicks Higgs and Yamzo. Oh. Well, actually, we're good. They're just going up. They're not even worrying about them. Everyone is below. Oh my god. What am I good? Shadow's still alive somehow. I didn't even know that. And visuals. King or Phaser goes down. It's just King on the low ground. Clicks Higgs and Yamzo. Bro, I'm 3v3 against Cold, Ritual, and Pete. They're still alive on the low ground. Yamzo, Clicks, and Higgs on the low ground still. Peter has no mats. I think he just dropped them, actually. They actually got around. They got around that side. Oh my god. Oh, Cole drops down, tries to get some kills because he needs some. Higgs goes down. Clicks is gonna go down. It doesn't matter. He still got the kill.
They just need to win out, and when the only healthy teams left in this game, minus Cold, of course.
Clicks and Yamzo are still alive.
Just kind of baiting here, but Cold is very, very weak. He's gonna go and initiate things down below. Minish, kind of that
Minish.
Factor here. That's a
Cold goes down.
Cold's gonna fall. Peterbot's hit.
Pete is low.
Oh
my god. Yamzo.
The jump shot. He's invisible. Peterbot can't be seen. Can't be tracked.
He's dead.
Misses the siphon. Yamzo's still in the game, but Ritual stands and wins the game.
What in the script is this, bro? What in the script is this, bro?
Oh my god, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, and what they can agree as probably one of the hardest fought FNCSs of their career. I I cannot believe what we have just witnessed. They realized where they were at in terms of the leaderboard. They realized who was in their path, and one by one, they took down first place. They took down second place. I know I called a point estimate, but now I'm even able to second guess it, Monster, because did they do it? Did they complete history? Even now, I'm starting to doubt myself.
I mean, when you end the tournament with a win like that, and the elims start to add up, it has to feel like it was enough. But only time
what a grands, bro.
Game 12. One thing's for certain, Ritual, Cold, Peterbot,
hey, they finally won a game.
Themselves once again as one of the most legendary trios NA has ever seen, Jacob.
I just couldn't believe it. I know we talked about that threshold for them to win, but what was the point difference? So many times, Monster, we've seen teams talk about taking it into their own hands. They just did it. But that's going to do it for myself and one of the greatest commentators ever, Monster D-Face for Major 3. Next stop is the Global Championship. But Zeke, we need to know who's going there.
Fortnite fam, did you just watch the game that I just watched? What the heck just happened?
That was crazy. That was a cinema, bro. Yamzo, Clicks, and Higgs actually did something in the end game.
We could have absolutely got so many questions that just kept on adding up as the game went on. I thought that we would have our answer once we saw that Peterbot landed on Poi over Demon's Domain, but when it comes down to it in the final moments,
that game was insane.
Separating them.
Peterbot landing on Poyo.
3 points.
Let us know.
Difference of 3 points. Here we are.
3 points?
Once again, a difference of 3 points. Your Major 3
and Peterbot
champions. Peterbot, Ritual, Cold. 3 points separating them from
bro,
first and second place. What an insane
that was
tournament to think. Vivid to think all year long. We've been watching these guys go head to head, and then they decide, you know what, in Grands, it's not gonna happen. For 11 games, we're not gonna land on you. Game 12, Vivid.
I knew that was gonna happen too. Like I called it earlier in the stream. I knew that was gonna happen. I knew Peter was gonna land on Boya at some point.
How is this the storyline? Absolutely crazy. Throughout the day, we had a moment where they were 1 point away, and then it seemingly felt like the gap was too big. They couldn't catch back up. Acorn was sitting pretty upon the throne, but the throne, the real one that needed to be claimed to go ahead and take the
see the leaderboard. Let's look at my
was the one over
my
at
predictions.
the POI that they both tried to stake a claim at.
I mean, Clicks actually did good that last game. I mean, it's not going to be as high as I had him, but
Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual do the unthinkable. They make the call, Kelly. They go ahead and contest them off spawn. And not only that, not only does it come down to game 12, it comes down to the final elimination. We did some math beforehand. We knew that they needed 7 to go ahead and secure it. They had 6 right there. And the final moments, they pick up the last one. 3 points, Kelly. They win by 3.
So many people were trying to stop their run there. There was so many opportunities for them to go down, but they refused to fall short, having the players from Brazil try to steal height away from them, and it looked like they were gonna do it, but Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual said, no, this is our game, this is our region, and we're going to show you why. Once again, the back-to-back Major 2 and Major 3 champions, Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual, prove to the world that they are the best team. And now they're gonna go to Globals in a month's time and prove it all over again.
I cannot believe
that was a crazy
the
game.
games we got today. I am just blown away. Congratulations to Peterbot, Cold, and Ritual. Wow. We can't forget though, obviously there's still 2 spots going to the Global Championship. Who has qualified? Who secured one of those spots? Well, I can go ahead and confirm. Kanata, Rapid Bolts, they made one of the 2 spots, but who made the other? If you look on 4th place, Visual, Braids, and Diminish, they're already qualified. We go down one more placement. Oh, wow. Muzz Shadow
actually did it.
are going to the Global Championships. We won! We did it, Muzz! Let's go!
To being grieved, to going through last chance qualifier, to being contested, and now finally going to global championship.
Let me look at the leaderboard on here so I can look at the predictions I got wrong. Alright, let's see this. Alright, so I got 1, 2, 3, right? That's right. Visuals, Braids, and Diminish. I had him at 8th. No. Yeah, clicks, just whatever. No. Alright, so I only got one team wrong that was out, and it was Seek, Joji, and Donnie. But really, if they just swapped spots with King, then I would have been fine. But yeah, so King, or Reet was right too. So top 3, Reet was right. Where's Booga? Booga was 7th. Had G-Money, and yeah, I was like, I had most of the top 10. I was only one team off from having every top 10. It's just the spots were different. But man, that was quite the grand finals. By 3 points, bro. Oh my god. Kanata bolts though, W. Wow, that was quite the game. That was quite the game. I'm going to end stream now and go to sleep. I'll be live tomorrow. I think, probably, most likely. I don't know what I'm gonna do. We'll see. But anyway, Peterbot won again. I'll see y'all in the next stream.